걱정하지 마. 경기 우리가 잡을게.
이거 루미 잡고 싶어서 루미 잡고 싶어서 루미 퇴근할게요.
아니
봤어. 아 조금 더 빨랐어야 했는데.
FN 세종도 이제 경기를 찾으러 가는 거죠.
자리 먹는 게 낫지 않냐? 모르겠네. 이거 CNJ랑 해서 이길 생각하는 게 나아.
그리고 반대로
와레 렌즈? 못 봤다 생각하고 그냥 자리 먹자. 자리 지키면서 했더니 넘어온다. 어차피 우리 여기서 유지만 하면은 헬리 팀이 분당 쳐줄 거야. 오케이 그럼 위로 하자. 아무도 없어? 반대에 있나 본데? 한 팀 올 수도 있으니까 일단 포기하지 마라. 일단 최대한 분탕 잘해볼 생각 해봐야 될 듯? 이거 밑에 잡아. 얘네 낑기게 밑에 잡아.
들어보려는 거죠.
네. 인천 돕니다.
헬리 위쪽에 있어. 일로 하나.
이거 딱 터지기 전에 안전으로 한번 돌긴 하는데.
근데 금지구역 시간이 너무 없긴 하거든요.
자 일단 오른쪽은 경기네트의 승리로 끝날 것 같고요. 3대2 교전이었고요.
야 이거 왼쪽으로 뺄 생각. 가자. 야 천천히. 이런.
그게
좋다.
안전이 겹친 게
아씨.
이게 좀 스노볼이 굴러갈 수 있거든요.
가자.
야 지금 밑으로 그냥 가야 돼. 금고 빼게끔 만들면 돼 그냥.
아 근데
시간이 없어.
난좀
내가 쓸게.
자, 밟았는데.
야 밀자. 야 죽어. 싼다. 사등군 봤어.
야 터졌다.
나 공 없어. 미쳐.
야 이거 나 스피드.
피스메이커 없고요.
자,
기적출은 이제 생겼고요.
천천히. 얘네 금구 좀 많을 거야 그래도.
근데
자, 근데 시간이 없잖아, 인천.
힐링 스프레이 받고 이러면 유지력 차요.
그래.
해야 돼 얘들아.
CNJ 잠시만요. 이건 진짜 다 왔거든요.
자,
아 쳤다. 천천히 봐. 해줘야 돼 일부러. 여기.
야나 진짜 갈겨야 돼.
타자 이거 아티 없어요. 여긴. 해야 돼 나 이거.
자 들어가.
하지야만.
하지야만.
스킬만 피해도.
버버.
시간이 없어서 1초 세한테 터지고요.
나이스. 진정해. 할 수 있어. 오케이.
안 맞았다. 미안하다.
오. CNJ야? 아 이거 CNJ 좀 빡셀 텐데 좋아.
경기 응원해보자 한번. 방금 태호가 경기거든.
아직은 가능성이 남아있긴 해 이러면. 진짜?
나 기도할게 진짜로. 나 예수님 믿는다.
경기 질 것 같은데?
아마도 조합이 너무 불리해.
아니 잠시만요. 진짜 승리를 위한
여기서
플레이였다고.
근데
여기서
CNJ 글자글 잡고.
양 도는 거 조심해봐.
자리 잠깐만. 타야 돼. 위코 타야 돼.
CNJ 팬들은 다음 판 보고 싶지 않습니다.
그렇죠.
그 경기 이네이트는 만들어줘야죠. 지금 6팀의 팬들이 경기 이네이트를 외치고 있어요.
나머지
해보자. 할 수 있다. 아 괜찮아. 할 수 있어.
잘하고 있을 거고.
이거 일자로 뚫는 거 의미 없다. 일단 날아요.
일단 날아서 건물 안으로 들어가자.
야 이거 이렇게 오는 것도 마지막에 조심을 해봐봐. 얘 비할 수 있어. 이거 앞에 혼자 있으면 박을게 이거. 무조건 위아래로 나눠올 거야.
그랬어 일단 3명이야. 그랬어 3명이야.
내가 보기에는 그냥 프리로 하는 게 맞는 것 같긴 한데. 프리로 할게 프리로.
자 일단 밸류는 뭐 더할 나위 없이 좋은 경기 이네이트고요. 하지만 여태까지 보여주는 그 한 방에 그 CNJ의 플레이가
그렇죠.
정말 큰 변수를
자,
만들 수 있겠다는 생각이
이번 시즌
들고요.
파이널
지금
올라가니까요.
테오도르 위치 보세요. 테오도르는 절대 안 죽겠다. 난 얀한테 각을 안 내주겠다는데
그 어중간하게 뚫으려는 것보다는 그냥 한 턴 쭉 빠져가지고 일자로 잡아서 하자.
혹시 몰라서.
뒤에 있는 거
혹시
아니야?
몰라서.
스피어 위쪽이에요. 야 이거 위로 갈 테니까 양한테 와봐. 위쪽으로 갈까? 일단? 징갈까? 확인하게 해야 돼.
근데 그래서
자,
좋겠다. 크게 들어도 돼. 이거 하면은 내가 여기 잡고 있다가 이쪽으로 빠질게.
자 이거 근데 경기 이네이트는 앞쪽을 뚫을 힘이 없어요. 이건 뚫는 조합이 아니라 지키는 조합이고
다 낮춰야 돼.
이거 옵스택 쌓을 수 있는데 너 한 바퀴 돌아도 되고. 가볼게. 얀 여기 있어요.
오케이.
싸워봐요.
이거는 마이를 때리면서 스택을 쌓는 겁니다.
천천히 봐요. 자 근데 결국에는
카메라
급해지고
10 스택.
모일
아니라 14택이야.
파란 오브 쓰고 나갔다 오자 그냥. 이거 안 터질려나?
근데 안전 때리면서 다시 한번 10 스택.
우리 파란 오브 쓰고 파란 오브 돌려봐 이거. 없어? 얀 찾아줄게.
아래로 와봐. 와보라고.
얘는 흥거 없다.
안전오브.
오케이.
천천히 이러다가 모여있을 때 진호 선수
측면쪽 돌아도 돼. 할 거야.
탄에
이거 프리아가 앞선 서줘. 나 마이 공 봐줄 테니까 여기 조심해. 여기 있다.
야네 위치.
야, 살짝 여기 와볼래? 이거 얀 봐봐. 양풍. 다시 뺄 수 있어? 확실해? 뺄 수 있어.
흘리고
계속해봐. 니가 계속해봐. 계속해.
시간 진호 시간 4초 3초 2초 1초.
나이스.
만들어요.
우승 체크메이트 CNJ e스포츠 드디어 만들어냅니다.
진짜
와
승리를 위한 단 하나의 가능성 바로 8라운드를 가는 것.
전 세계 CNJ 팬들이 울고 있을 겁니다. 함께
그렇습니다.
눈물 흘리고 있을 겁니다.
가장 먼저 세 팀과 함께 체크포인트 팀에 올라왔고요. 끝까지 가서 트릭스터 때부터 한 번도 해보지 못했던 파이널 우승을 드디어 해냅니다.
와, 백 선수 표정이 드디어 진지해졌어요.
드디어
네, 이 우승컵을 들어올릴 자격이 충분합니다. CNJ e스포츠 시즌 A 파이널 우승입니다.
누가 이들을 분탕의 왕이라고만 칭했나요? 이젠 아닙니다. 이젠 당당하게 트로피를 들어올릴 수 있는 명실상부
와.
이터널 리턴의 왕.
시즌 파이널 진출 자체가 굉장히 오랜만이었어요. 300일, 304일 만이었나요? 그런데 이 오랜 세월 끝에 결국엔 축적해왔던 힘의 크기가 너무나도 컸습니다.
네.
쟁쟁한 모든 팀들을 물리치고 네, 챔피언, 시즌 8 챔피언.
실제로 KCW 선수가 한 번 팀을 떠난 그 순간에도 다시 돌아올 걸 또 믿고 있었던 그 두 선수가 굳건히 자리를 지키고 있었고,
그렇죠.
돌아오고 나서 같이 이 세 명이서, 물론 이제 오상커 선수도 너무 고생했지만 다 같이 만들어낸 이 승리가 오늘 너무 값질 것 같고 평생 기억될 것 같습니다.
마스터즈 파이널 MVP 누구일까요? 한 번 더 포마 호크 스킨을 보여줘야 될 것 같습니다. KCW! 만세 한번 해주세요. 만세. 순위표 보시죠. 자, 시즌 8 마스터즈 우승 CNJ e스포츠.
You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. WD Black. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game.
이제 진지하게 가보도록 하지. 온 힘을 다해 덤비도록. 탐색전은 이쯤 해둘까? 뻔한 기술은 안 통해. 카이키스크, 훌륭한 사였지. 올곧은 정의와 신념, 그리고 그것을 관찰할 시간. 다른 차원의 인물이 아니었다면 스카우트하고 싶을 정도. 그 녀석이 좀 본받으면 좋을 텐데.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Eternal Return Game channel at the correct place at the right time. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day today for the finals of phase number 2. My name is Shuvi Senpai. I'll be your caster for tonight alongside, of course, the infamous, the glorious Superior. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I am doing fantastic, and I'm excited for the set of games today because looking at all the teams who did make it here to the finals, it is going to be quite the lobby for today.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a fun one. This entire weekend so far, including the last weekend, has all built up to this. It has been quite a long time that you and I have been watching phase number 2. A lot of up and downs, I would have to say, for this phase specifically. These teams that got here worked hard to get here. 100%. I would put it a different way, but I don't want to throw some bad words on stream here. Try to keep it as family friendly as possible, as much as I can. But yeah, these guys worked extremely hard to get to the finals. This is genuinely one of those finals that deserves its title, Super. So I'm super excited to be able to watch this today. A very, very fun format that we have, you and I, have no idea how long it's going to last because of the checkpoint format. We'll talk about that a little bit once we start going into the overview for today. But just do know, all of you guys in the chat, it is going to be a fun series throughout the entire course of the night today.
Yep, that 65-point checkpoint format could be 6 games, could be 7 games, could be 8 games, could be even 9 games. You know, we don't know exactly how many games it is going to be for today. It's just going to be dependent on how this lobby plays out and how these teams end up stopping each other when they do end up getting to that checkpoint breakpoint.
Exactly. Let's talk about the overview once again for phase number 2. If you've been around for the past few days, you know exactly what's been going on. But we are done with all the days on that schedule, save for day number 6, the finals, right here today. End all, be all for phase number 2. Prize pool still up for grabs. 10 million Korean won available for our top 8 teams. Goes from the range of 300 Korean won all the way to 1,500,000 Korean won. Alongside, if you actually win the checkpoint format, you get an additional 1,500,000 as well. It's going to be a very, very competitive set of games here tonight.
Yeah, it should roughly translate to about, I think, 1,500, something about. It's usually like 1,000 to
1,200 right now,
ratio.
probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And yeah, the format is here for you guys. We are all the way to the very right side, the little golden box, final stage, 65-point checkpoint format. And again, these teams are going to have to get to that 65-point threshold and then have to win the next game when they do get there. So we could see some funny business going on like we did, you know, in some previous seasons and in some previous finals. A lot of these teams know how to play into this checkpoint breakpoint now, so maybe we won't see that just because, you know, I think a lot of teams are going to be playing more consistent. You guys can see which teams have made it from which knockout stage, and look at that, knockout stage 4. There's 3 teams making it all the way from one of those lower knockout stages. It just goes to show you, you know, how strong of the knockout stages there were for this this phase.
A brutal beginning to the middle of the knockout stages for this entire phase. Super. Knockout stage number 4, as you said, 3 teams continuously moving on the moment they joined us. Daejeon Auto Arms, Gwangju Slasher, and Busan Vespa will be our teams inside the finals. Alongside Team Unchained, who joined us in knockout stage number 6, a very exciting team that we watched yesterday alongside Furze's Kenneth. So I think today is going to be one of those days where unless Team Unchained is going to be put into the ground, well, you're right. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that consistency from a lot of these guys because we know what they're up to. These are National League teams for the most part, including Shadow Golden Light, who is also a very, very good team despite not being a National League team just yet. It's going to be an absolute fiesta today, Super. Really good gameplay. I think there's going to be a lot of good macro coming out from these guys. And of course, the pacing on item transitions is going to be off the chart. So you need to focus down today. Make sure you know what you're doing. Play your own plan. And make sure that the others cannot.
Yeah, Shadow Golden Light always in Chun, Youngie Innate, and Sangnam Rocks, you know, having a really good showing in the group stages. Well, I'm going to have to see if they can bring that over to the final stage here, as these other 4 teams, you know, from the knockout stages are going to be joining us. It's going to be a tough road ahead for all these teams. Who is going to take the trophy here for phase 2?
I have no idea. Realistically speaking, with the amount of results that we've been seeing from the teams even coming up to the knockout stages for the finals, I don't know. It's been such a while since we've seen the teams joining us today for the first time in this entire phase after the groups, that can they match up to the amount of experience gained from the previous hellish knockout stages that the teams had to endure and actually get through? That's the biggest question for me today. We have the 4 teams coming up from the previous knockout stages, 3 from knockout stage 4, 1 from knockout stage 6, all of them have fought through absolute hell to get to this finals. And a lot of them are already good enough to a point where we would normally expect them in the finals, but they had to fight through regardless. It tells you how hard this entire phase was, as you mentioned earlier too, Super. I just have to question whether or not the teams in finals are ready to receive all of that experience, or if it's just going to be one of those things where teams in the finals, they're here because they belong here.
Oh, 100%. And I'm very curious to see, the picks and bans that is going to be shown through this knockout stage, just because we know these like higher end National League teams, they all play the meta picks, they all play, the same comps. Maybe we'll see a lot of duplicate picks coming out. Maybe we'll see maybe 4 bans, every rotation. I think we did have one finals where there was a character being banned every other game. The second an ADC gets banned, everyone swapped to the other ADC. So at one point we saw, I think, like 4 or 5 characters being banned out for the lobby, and I feel like I have a really good feeling that's gonna be the case for today as well.
Yeah, 100%. Today is going to be one of those situations where with all the teams that are actually playing here today, we will most likely have consistent bans going through, and probably to a certain degree, ones that we can predict, right? There are a couple of teams that will throw the wrench in that consistency, like Team Unchained, like Team Shadow Goldenlight, and Team Always Incheon. But for a majority of the teams that are actually going to be playing here today, we know for sure they're mostly going to be locked in towards these meta-defining compositions that we've seen time and time again throughout the entire history of Eternal Return Masters. It's not going to be that big of a surprise if we do see these meta picks, or even if it might not be meta in solo queue, competitively meta picks specifically.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see exactly what type of meta's going to be taking place here. Maybe we'll see the Merca again coming out for a team like Team Autoworm, Sigma being the one playing that character. Maybe we'll see the triple range coming out from these teams as well. There's a lot of options, I would say, for these teams to kind of play around with, just because the meta has been changing for so long, and there's been so many different team comps that these teams kind of find, and they always just bring it onto the big stage.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time today just to see what kind of compositions these teams are going to be bringing to the table. And another thing that we have to remember, especially for the teams joining us now for finals specifically, is that we're playing on a different patch than we did in the group stages, right? We actually transitioned from the 9.5 patch that we played during week number 1 into the 9.6 patch that we're playing on right now. So there are a couple of things that the teams joining us for finals might have to swap around, because we know that nerfs went through, we know that buffs went through during the patch. It's all about adjusting in the end for Eternal Return Masters. Korea has a really good tendency to figure out what will be good for the patch and what also will not be good for the patch. That middle of the ground usually is not going to cut it for a majority of these teams. So we'll have to see what the decisions are going to be made outside of the teams that we've already seen, because we know what they're going to play.
Yeah. The teams coming up from the knockout stages, I mean, we know at least for a team like Team Unchained, they're going to be playing the Kenneth Hyunwoo Lenny, but these other teams, maybe they swap it around with the whole patch change, because there was a decent bit that did end up coming through fruition. So we'll have to see. Jumping in here very shortly here, I think we are going to be able to jump into the lobby in a couple moments to see exactly what characters we're going to be having for you guys.
Another thing that I'm actually worrying about today is whether or not weather is going to be a factor, because if you remember, a lot of you guys were here yesterday too, there was that one moment in the alley where One Circle lived just by a hair, and I have a strange feeling, I didn't go back and check this yesterday now that I think about it, but there is a possibility weather may have also affected the amount of healing that One Circle was receiving. So we'll have to take a look. A lot of different factors.
A lot of fellas.
Oh my god, a lot of different factors are going to be at play today, but we are already seeing one of those factors at play. Cecilia ban already off the bat with the first pick rotation.
A lot of Priya.
Not surprising.
Everyone's playing the same comp. It's the same thing.
Yep.
Everyone's Cecilia, Priya.
Oh goodness
1-2.
gracious.
Cecilia, Priya off the table already, and yeah, it's exactly like I predicted, right? I everyone going to be playing very similar team comps. You know, we're in the finals now, so everyone knows
Oh
exactly
no!
what's up.
Oh no!
Everyone's on Nadine as well. Okay, everyone playing the exact same team comp. Shadow Golden Light, Sagna Brox, and Busan Bespel all playing Cicella, Priya, and Nadine. I think just recognizing, you know, how strong and powerful this team comp is going to be.
Oh
we do
my
see,
god!
Monkey Inne and Auto Arms also sharing similar ideas with the double Merca Kadia, and then it's going to be rounded out with a Mage. So is Celine and a Haze going to be the only difference between those two teams, and Always and Jun also going to be picking that Priya. So Priya will be gone for 2 games, and Cicella and Nadine going to be on for 1.
This is the first time I've ever seen 3 teams picking the exact same composition, and also, by the way, the very similar style of augments as well, right? Let's take a look. Blink Red Sprite, Blink Red Sprite, Blink Red Sprite, check. We have Protocol Violation Sentinel, Protocol Violation Sentinel, Protocol Violation Sentinel, check. What is it? Adrenaline, and we have the Electric Shift, Adrenaline, Electric Shift, Adrenaline, Electric Shift. Crossbow, 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 everything lines up. It's the exact same setup for all 3 teams. This is probably by far the only time I'm ever going to be able to see this. It really does go to show you that this kind of a composition, the triple DPS that has really gotten a lot of steam in the past couple of seasons, it's really on full toe now. So let's see how it goes, folks. Game 1 is now underway for knockout stage number X, because we are in final stages. There we go. I said knockout stages. Haha. It is the final stages, the first game of many. We have no idea how many games we're going to be able to see tonight, but this is going to be the first out of all of those.
I have a feeling all these teams that are playing this comp are going to swap to whatever Auto Arms and Young Yene are playing right after this. I have a good feeling they're all just going to swap to Merca or Mai, like front to back. So we'll have to see. You know, with the Kadia as well, just because, yeah, I think we have like two differing ideas, right? We have the Merca Kadia team comp versus the Priya, you know, front to back, or Priya triple backline team comp, and I feel like since one of them is going to be banned, or yeah, since one of them is being banned out and going into game 2, I think everyone's probably just gonna decide to swap over to the other one.
Could definitely be the case, but we did see in the past what a team can really feel like when they're uncomfortable on something like the Merca, right? We saw that with Evan Sejong. They tried bringing out the Merca in the last game of their own knockout stages that they got relegated out of, and it felt awkward, right? A little bit on the uncomfortable side for that kind of pick, but we've had a couple extra days to experiment. Tejan Auto Arms knows how to play this. We've seen it before. Korea in a Holy But Trouble is just going to have to pull back over onto their Monkey Wire. Will get taken down. 2 early kills for Team Tejan Auto Arms inside of Forest. Will be maintaining their lead on this game already, as 3 kills going in their favor. I guess they found one somewhere else too.
Yeah, great start from them. I think they ended up killing, it was the Kenneth. I think Unchained ended up going down there. San is going to try to get away there. There is a great bubble there to get themselves to safety. Blitz is going to connect, but it's not going to be enough. Sniper skills are coming out. Can they get the kill? Ooh, the Wolf blocks both of the shots. So the kill isn't going to be there for the side team. Auto Arms on the other side, looks like Yene was able to pick up one as well. Golden Lake getting sent down by the side of the team. Always in jump. Both pre-ults are coming down at the same time. A lot of damage is being exchanged. It looks like Youngkoi is going to be forced to back themselves on out of their blaster. Not going to be able to find anything on that Tazi, getting completely zoned away from the Echoes of the Earth. So they will just go down as well. Shadow Golden Lake picking up another kill for themselves as well. X-Boy on the other side, though, going to be able to pick up one, as Dramatic is going to fall. As Gun is going to be able to find the Cell as well, so nice 2 kills for their side of Team Slasher.
It's bloody. It is a bloody start to the game. It's what we've been seeing for pretty much the entire weekend so far, and it will continue for our final stages as well. The real big question is, which players amongst all of this is going to be able to at least get out of this slightly unscathed, right? We've seen too many teams during night number 1 get braked. That is not what you want to see, especially early on, because in a lobby like this, you do not want to lose any pacing. All of your team members being down and not actually accessing the map for 15 to 20 seconds. It might not seem that long, but it is a lot for these players. So let's see and hope that none of them get broken throughout the course of the night. Another pick over onto Senefina's. The Priya is going to get taken down for Team Always Inchan. About a minute to go until day number 2 is going to pop, so there's plenty of time before these players are going to be in any real danger. for contesting these objectives. But with Hyungi in a little bit of trouble, the rest of the team is going to join on in. Blaster missing a couple of those glass shards will be in trouble himself. Kyungkwae walking back a little bit will have to sacrifice his life in order to let his Tazia get away.
Yeah, and always Incheon kind of in shambles here, not able to win out on any of these early game team fights. And they're just getting caught as a 2 or a solo, so yeah, not able to win out into these full teams here. But it looks like archery completely uncontested, so they're gonna just place for those wolves on the top side there. Slasher looks like I don't think they're gonna check the bush here. And the Mai is just gonna get focused down. A lot of damage is being put into the Mai over here. Here is the environment coin is gonna connect, and they do actually connect onto Rheumatic. And Jay was going to go down as well. Nice 2 kills for the side of Team Slasher. Huge win for them as they'll be able to contest for this Meteor, but a lot of cooldowns invested for the side of Team Slasher. No Rhythm Vampire Queen going to be there, so the Meteor actually going to go to the side of Team Unchained. Completely uncontested, or not really uncontested, but yeah, Slasher is going to have to give it up there.
Yeah, really good call with the exclusive. It does allow everybody from that team to get away, but of course, losing out on the meteorite is never going to feel that good. But considering you lost a lot of utility and a lot of cooldowns going into that fight, definitely not a bad result for those players. But this is not a situation you want to be looking at all. Sartabi about to get taken down, Gun about to get taken down as well. He will get taken down in the end. The pitcher's mound, not enough to save him. Verze trying to jump on over towards Curry, but he doesn't have the blink. We saw it being utilized earlier inside a stream right before that meteorite was taken, so no real gap closer for the Kenneth. It's all good and dandy.
Yeah, Santa Marok's able to pick up a nice 2 kills. I think it was 1 kill on day 1 and 1 kill on day 2, so 1.5 points. Not too bad for them. Exploit going to be the last member alive on Slasher. Going to be forced to spread it out here. But yeah, a little unfortunate for Slasher. They just got caught out farming, not having the fireballs ready, so yeah, just going to get completely out DPS by the Nadine. Unfortunately, William has the highest CPS in the game, or one of the highest CPS in the game when you do have everything you know, in your favor. But if you don't have any of those fastballs, your autos are not doing much damage to these other AD carries.
William probably doesn't have that much DPS if you don't have those fastballs going. It is such an adrenaline rush for that William. If he doesn't have it, it's going to be a little bit rough. Another fight on towards the western side of the map as Ing9 gonna miss out on his ultimate, but there is a bit of pressure on the backside. Look at this. Blaster just getting completely blasted by Gino. He is pumping out the auto attacks one after another. This is one of the problems dealing with Akadia as of late. She just continuously deals auto attacks to you, and by the time you realize, you're already dead. And that's exactly what happened to Blaster. Down goes the Tazia, down goes the Maya. 2 for 0 in favor of Team Kyunggi and 8.
Yeah, it's just a great way for the Merca to kind of make space for their team using the ultimate and just setting it up behind them so they actually can't push and they can't run away here. Looks like we do have the jumping over the wall here, but a lot of damage is being exchanged by Romantic, and the ultimate, the Cell ultimate coming down, is able to finish off Youngman there. And now Ozzy is going to be forced to run away, so great pickup for the side of Team Busan Vespa, able to get the 1-up onto the side of Team Shadow Golden Light in the mirror match.
During all of this, one team has remained quiet throughout the entire course of the game so far. It's going to be always Incheon sitting on 0 kills, unfortunately, for these players. Bit of a rough road ahead from the looks of it. Everybody else in this game already getting good transitions, getting really good fight value out of this game already. And we're going to go into the rifts. Let's see how it goes. Gwangju Slasher versus Team Unchained on one of them. On the right side, it's going to be Always Incheon versus Hungnam Rocks. Can Team Always Incheon find their first set of kills for this game, or is it going to be a failed set of dimensional rifts for this team? Paradis already goes down on the ground for the right side as the left side has already broken out in a fight. Double Twins Rush coming in for the Debbie and Marlene, but the damage output is just way too good on their side. I say but it's not a but, it's a and. Great fight from Team Unchained. They're going to take out Gwangju Slasher inside of the Dimensional Rift as Team Always Incheon in a bit of trouble themselves. Single seconds of timer for Tongkwei. Mai is still going towards the backside, but I don't think it's a good idea for him to die. The Executioner bonus comes in. There's way too much gap closer that needs to be done by Always Incheon. Timer is how Team Songnam Rocks wins, and once again the Cecilia Priya and the Nadine combination makes it impossible for these close range initiation teams to actually have any value.
Yeah, the problem with Always Incheon, because they spend so much time just you know, probably resetting because they're getting poked down by the side of Team Songnam Rocks there. you just have no time to look for the engage because a character like Mai has to go in for that taunt, or you're just not going to really get any value as you're just going to get poked down by a team like the side of Team Sagnum Rockster. So a little unfortunate as they do just end up losing out on that battle zone. Can lose out on a lot of tempo, but have to see if they can jump back into this game here. Gyeonggi Innate looking for the side of Team Shadow Golden Light playing this Priya team comp as well. Here comes the ultimate as well from Merca. A lot of damage. Oh, and the ultimate from Merca does end up connecting. A great pushback coming out from Ing9. Huge play coming from the Merca. Able to just get so much value on that character. Able to land that ultimate and get that CC on that pushback as well.
This is one of those situations where something like a Merca actually has the access to the backline, right? Because you can't target her while she's in her ultimate, making it really annoying for some of these triple DPS backline squishies to actually deal with a Merca when she decides to just pull the trigger. Really good fight from Team Gyeonggi Innate. They do end up losing out on one, but obviously it doesn't matter at this point. But with that, Team Shadow Golden Light will be the last set of teams that are going to be able to capitalize on the self-revive. Starting from now on, unless you take the Rift, it's going to be -200. So teammates in the chat, everybody, you're going to have to start spending your credits for this. Still, Always Injun on 0 kills for themselves. This is really, really bad for a team that likes to get that engine rolling at the beginning of the series. This is not good for Zardavi. He's in a whole heap of trouble. Mai's going to get jumped on immediately, and the Merca ultimate there to even further follow up on this. Pulls back immediately.
God.
Fable taking down a half HP though out of nowhere as Gun just pumping out auto attacks one after another with these fastballs. Work on the backside trying to pressure out the William as much as possible, but the William is doing so much damage. The crowd control though is there for Gun, and a snipe down from Ballistic advantage. Cinema just completely obliterates Gun, making him malfunctional. Oh my god.
Not just Gun, but the whole team, I would say, of the side of Team Youngju Slasher. They're just able to catch them eye, able to push them back, and that's the combo that we see time and time again from this character. If you land the Q stun, you're able to just combo it into a true combo with the pushback as well. So just very nicely played by Cinema there, able to just utilize his passive just really well. Yeah, just able to just gets just the layered CC there, because the combo is basically if you land the ultimate and you get the bar, right, because you get 50% of your bar, you're able to land your stun, your Q stun into the pushback, into the knockback from your E as well. So you're able to just get so much damage while also pushing the enemies straight back into your team. Here comes the ultimate coming down from Cinema. They're trying to look for an angle in, blinking on forward. They're actually able to just get so much value. But the exit turret is going to be there to split away the team, but Cinema just full chasing. Unfortunately, not going to be able to chase fully into the side of Team Sagnum Rockster, as yeah, it's really hard to chase into a Priya and a Sicella. I think they want to look for another fight back in here, as the side of Team Sagnum Rocks are fully healed up. Good pull there coming out from Staten to get Fable down to about half HP. So now Auto Arms going to be in a little bit of trouble. Cinema is going to be forced to jump away, but yeah, the shielding coming out from the Priya is just providing a little too much value for that team there. The ultimate exit there is going to come down again. Gun going to get some damage, but the damage is going to be, or the focus is going to be set onto this Mai here. The Mai just taking so much punishment on the side of Team Slasher. I think they're just going to go down here. Gun trying to find an angle and jumping on forward. They're actually able to get a lot of value, but is going to get hit by the combo from the Tazia, and they're just going to go down. Always Inchun going to be on the board, going to be able to get one kill, going to be able to find exploit probably as well, as they do end up going down.
Really big value at this point in the game too for Team Always Inchun. Really well done, as another person is going to fall down. Night 3 is exactly where that turning point for this game is going to go through. Pretty slow start to day number 3, right? We had a couple of teams just kind of ego checking here and there, but until then we didn't really have any fights. But as soon as it turns night number 3, objective contests all over the place. So many players dead by the end of all the conundrum. So many -200s going towards a bunch of teams, whereas the ones that really didn't fight, look at the items on these players, right? We just saw Nadine sitting on some insane items for the side of Team Shadow Golden Light. One of the few teams that didn't fight, getting massive value, as look at this, Tejan Auto Arms sees Busan Best Buy. They want a little bit more blood, but doesn't want to chase into the red just for the time being. Romantic still eating timers. Huns are still eating timer. We won't have temple opening for now either. This is going to be a lot of timer and gadget points spent by Team Busan Best Buy to keep the Sicilla alive. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. They don't have another safety gadget. That's a -1 going over to Team Busan Best Buy early. Not the greatest of lucks for a team that has been looking pretty solid throughout the course of the knockout stages.
Yeah, that is rough. Here is the engage coming out from Ignite. Not going to have the full bar this time around, or the pushback, but I don't think Saradobi is going to be able to get away here. Actually able to get the double push away. Cyber Skills is going to come out as well. I think we're able to connect any of these shots here. No. Can Ignite finish the job here? Dollar Q's, Hammer Skill is going to connect as well. One more.
No!
Yes, auto attack is going to be there, and Slasher is going to go down, unfortunately, in 8th place here. Ignite is going to use dashing controls on out of there. And yeah, I mean, the chase value coming out for the Merca as well is just going to be there to finish the job from the side of Team Youngju Slasher.
That'll be an early terminate going over towards that team as well. Not an unfamiliar look for this team, unfortunately, throughout the entire course of the Nikon stages. Once again, feeling the pain of it in the finals. That is really unfortunate again for Team Gwangju Slashers. These guys just don't have the items once again in this lobby. Another fight inside of Forest going in towards Chapel. Blue G-Work in a little bit of trouble, but he still stays alive. The problem is Blaster on the backside will be able to find the kill over onto that Puria, finally catching up. Beautiful exclusive from Konkwe to pull that Tazia back in closer and look for that kill. Sunser in a whole heap of trouble himself as well. Down he goes. Busan Best Bet down 2 members, but the third party is about to come on in. Can Fancy find one? No, he cannot. Romantic takes that jump pad and is probably going to be looking for a rift, but are there any open? That is going to be not risky. The ping's going to go down. It's Songnam Rocks are going to respond to that. Yes, they are. Look at this. Everybody from the Priya side is going to start running down too. Look at Chapel right now on the minimap. Priya is trying to deny the team from taking the rift, and I think they have Romantic in trouble. He's going to get taken down most likely. The flowers are there. They don't want to chase, but look at the time left for Romantic. This is so bad for Busan Vespa.
Can he go back? You think he's looking for the rift still? Maybe he can jump on forward, but is going to get caught by Youngie, and I think Romantic is probably going to go down here. Click on forward, and that is it. Straight into the bullseye. And Busan Vespa going to go down in 7th place, and they're gonna have him at -1, so it's not the exact same points as Slasher here. Merca gonna use ultimate to get themselves on out. I don't know if they got the items or who has the items here. It is the Merca that has it, but they're just gonna get chased down, and it's gonna all the items are gonna go to the side of Team Shadow Golden Light.
That sucks. And look at the items and look at the credits on Team Gyeonggi, and they just all called items, so there's no credits to call back any of the members right now either. Maybe just one.
No, only one. Yeah.
But now we're going to have to wait until, what, maybe night number 5, just looking at the pacing of this game, for this team to even have a chance to get another call. This is really bad for Team Gyeonggi and 8. It was a very solid game. You can see their items are looking really solid too, but losing 2 members with no credits going into the end of night number 4 is not the greatest of looks at all for this team.
Yeah, I think just getting a little too greedy there for the work line and get punished for it. Shadow Golden Light just pick up the buff and the items because it was donated to them by the Merca there. Now Gyeonggi and 8, yeah, just in a rough spot, able to get 1 res here, but the credits aren't going to be there to get the second one. I mean, about 50 credits away. Lumi is wrapping around, so they could maybe sell an item here from this Merca to get the res, but there is always Incheon that is going to be in the fray here. Yep, the boots are coming off.
They're trying to sell it.
To sell the arm piece. Oh, I guess they just had an extra one as well, so it looks like they will be able to get the res with only losing 1 item, which is actually pretty good. That's actually really, really good. They just need to just probably buy up an item here, craft up an item, and then I think they should be in a decent spot still, because tank items don't really matter as much. But yeah, still sitting on those shoes. There's a team in the zone, so they definitely need to craft at least purple shoes here, because the movement speed, at least for these boots, matter quite a bit, I would say.
Yeah, school doesn't really have too many materials for you to build up any usable boots for the.
We got the
we got the slippers. Yeah, this is still gonna be a bit rough. We'll keep track of what item the Merca decides to build up eventually. She has finished it, a purple item over towards the Merca.
Okay.
We'll have to see what it is.
I actually don't know what builds out of repaired slippers for tank item. I kind of forgot. Is it no, it's definitely not. Maybe it is tachyon brace. I'm actually not too sure.
Could be. CDR is pretty useful on Merca.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. VLS is going to be used to get themselves to safety. They don't want to contest a Wake team, especially a triple DPS Wake team. So it's going to use it to. Oh my god! Jinho with 1 second left, able to use the safety orb just in time. That was a little scary. I didn't even realize Gyeonggi had just had no timer, so they're gonna have to look for a fight here. Oh, it looks like it was the hiking boots there gonna be made for that Merca, just for that extra tankiness. I guess already having enough CDR with the other items, and kind of just gonna have to slam any shoes there at that point.
Merc has
We have
some
a lot of
really nice
teams here.
scalings with max HP, so I do respect that.
Yeah.
I give boots.
You have a lot of teams here though, down here in Chapel. 6 teams still alive. There's the finals lobby
Oh,
here.
no.
Oh
My
no,
God,
we're
that
gonna face
Wilson.
check here for the side team's always in trouble. Wait a
Wait,
second.
what?
The engage coming out from the Maj, able to just instantly kill G-Work. G-Work gonna go down a little too, or not G-Work, but Hyungi gonna go down a little too early on the side of Team Sungnam Rocks. And now Sungnam Rocks gonna be down a member here. Auto Arm's gonna be here for the third party side, gonna be forced to blink on away. But where is the side of Team Sungnam Rocks gonna go? They don't really have anywhere to go. They're gonna try TP from hospital.
That's
I don't know if they
way
have
too
enough
much
time. They have
yeah.
to go back. Yeah, they're just gonna wrap around. Do they have a safety orb as well? I'm not too sure, but I do like this play from Sad. Gonna try to sneak into this corner here.
Oh,
to
if he
wrap
misses
in
it.
extra couple placements,
Okay, nice.
and okay, he's gonna be able to get over the wall. And for us, we do have a fight between Team Unchained and Youngie Ine here. A lot of healing gonna be there. For the side of Team Unchained, a great spring trap gonna be able to pull Merca, but Merca's gonna be able to pull one back into their team.
Nice.
A lot of damage being exchanged. Oh my god, Ferze is able to just get on in, and
man.
the sustain from this team is just way too much for the side from Youngie to handle. And Unchained gonna be able to get a 1-up onto one of our National League teams here, getting a nice clean wipe. 3 kills going into the side of this team, and a couple more placement.
Unchained doing exactly as their name states. They are Unchained, the kill and the point leaders of this lobby so far. 11.5 team score for this team. A beautiful fight against Team Gyeonggi and 8 inside a forest as well. The Merca pushed up way too far, and who is really good at intercepting that? Well, it's going to be a Kenneth, easily punishing that Merca, knocking her up into the air multiple times. Debbie and Marlene on the backside too, with the continuous paint rotation to make it really difficult for that Merca to stay alive. She eventually got taken down, so she's not as unkillable as you and I think she is, but this one might be, because Cinema is not the main focus for Team Always Into, and the wall is going to get dodged out by Team Tej and Auto Arms. Blaster knocked up into the air, but where is the support? Doesn't exist just yet, but the triple pushback and the knockback as well, but there's just no support still for Cinema. The massive plays, a double stun coming in again, and another pushback. Centipede on the backside is really good too. There's just no damage up towards Fable or One Circle whatsoever. Blaster still trying his best to stay alive. Shields are good so far, but there's just no damage exchange between these two players. Kyungkwae taking down a half HP, completely isolated, blasting away into the atmosphere. Down he goes. Dejan Auto Arms making this look easy.
Cinema on this Merca is going crazy, just going in by themselves, able to get these 3-man stuns. It's just a masterclass from him on this Merca here. Cinema just going in by himself, he's able to tank so much damage, able to get so much value. And yeah, the CC on this character, that if you are able to just land it, is just way too much. Another double pushback again.
They just can't
the
push
damage.
past the Merca.
And yeah, you can't walk past this here, and it's just gonna be an easy 3 kills for the side Team Auto Arms. Cinema just playing out of his mind.
It's so disgusting how long she's just able to stay alive, right? And the problem with Team Always Inton's composition is that you don't really have a way to just burst through the health bar of a Merca yourself. And I like the idea of what Always Inton was doing, was just trying to mitigate the damage from the Merca as much as possible while still turning your focus towards these squishy backliners. But the miss on the wall on that door frame completely turned the entire fight in favor of Team Digital Auto Arms. It's why they're sitting in the final zone right now against Team Shadow Golden Light, up against a team comp that this team is all too familiar with. Tej and Auto Arms fought against this for Busan Vespa. Can they do it against Shadow Golden Light?
Okay, Cinema having the full bar. They're just gonna send it here, and that is the combo that we know and love. And but wait a second, One Circle gets caught here. He's gonna get hit by the pole, and it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Cinema gonna jump down forward here, gonna try looking for something, but is just gonna get kited back. And this time there is gonna be an ADC on the other side. Cinema just gonna get chunked down here. Looks like Youngman's bodies are being dragged back, so they're gonna have to look for something, because they're just gonna try looking for the res here. Fable is gonna be able to get some auto attacks down, but there's that that you have to watch out for.
Attack range advantage
up here. He's gonna get tagged up, so the rest is gonna be cancelled, and Fable is able to dodge on some damage, jumping on forward there, but
nice
the Dean jumping on forward is gonna be able to grab it. Wait a second, the ultimate is gonna be here. Can they get the Zella? But the pull, so well played by Fancy, and it's gonna be Shadow Golden Light gonna be the one to come out on top there with 19.5 points, able to get the 1-up onto the side of Team Auto Arms. So very nicely played, and that's gonna be a pretty close, I would say, lobby 1 here. No team having more than 20 points.
Once again, the man, the myth, the legend, not in chat, allows for Cecilia to win the game as well. GG's to Team Shadow Golden Light to take away the first game of the night. A really good way for them to start off the evening, especially kind of being able to show Busan Vespa how to actually operate this composition. But I will say, One Circle getting taken down that early into the fight is definitely not what I had on my cards, especially with the start of that fight too, because you caught out the Priya. Echoes of the Earth was there. How was One Circle so far back? I'm assuming he ate the Wilson and the play with us, just like he did yesterday for Busan Vespa to take him down. So it's the same story as we saw yesterday, just the zone over. Well played to Shadow Golden Light for not panicking, and a really great play also from Dozy to actually punish the Claudio for jumping in trying to kill the Cecilia.
Wait, I'm looking back at it. That is actually crazy. So they pulled the Priya in, the Priya used Echoes of the Earth, and the Cecilia pulled, but One Circle blinked and blinked into the pull, basically.
Oh,
so it was like a prediction. It was like a prediction, I think. Or the Cecilia just missed, and then the One Circle just blinked to do it.
One in a million.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even blame them then, because like One Circle tried to dodge it, I guess, but and then ended up getting pulled into it. It was either just really well played by the Cecilia, or it just was a coincidence, and it was nice by them. So
let's be real here. It happens to the best of us, really.
I want to say this Cecilia predicted it, honestly. Like looking at the poll, because the poll was so wide, from where it was supposed to be aimed. I think they actually just predicted One Circle's blink there. So just really, really well played from the side of Team Shadow Golden Light. And yeah, that's the difference, right, between Shadow Golden Light and Always Incheon. The Shadow Golden Light has that 80 carry to burst down the Merca.
Yes.
Right, the Merca was just able to live for so long into a team like Always Incheon, because they don't have that consistent DPS with those auto attacks. And tanks sort of fall down when you do have that 80 carry just pelting auto attacks into you.
With that, Shadow Golden Light is going to keep themselves in first place, starting out the series strong for themselves. 19.5 points for a lead against Daejeon Auto Arms, 5 points for that. Although, we can see Daejeon Auto Arms actually has the lead when it comes to the kill score, so a very productive game for Daejeon Auto Arms, which is not something that I would really have expected coming out from game number 1. We've seen this team.
-3 because they should have 17.
Yes, and I'm actually trying to figure that out as well. There was somebody in chat that actually mentioned it. I was going to hold off until I had a little bit more information. Daejeon Auto Arms did start off with a -3 today, and I'm not sure just yet because I haven't gotten back from Nimble Neuron on why that was the case.
That's probably why the lobby took so long to start.
Did it take that long? I don't think it took too long.
It did.
Really?
It did. Because usually, because usually, it starts within like 2 minutes of when we not 2 minutes, maybe like 5 minutes when we open. But I think it went to like 10 minutes. So
okay, gotcha.
I think they're probably the ones who made the delay. So yeah, that's probably the reason why they're -3 would be my guess.
Could be the case. I'm gonna ask, maybe ping somebody on Nimble Neuron to see if I could get clarification for that. If I get answers for it, then I'll let you guys know in chat later down the road. But because of the way that game number 1 went, this is actually kind of unique in that for the past couple of phases that we've actually watched for Eternal Return, and I'm not even only including Season 9, but I'm also including things like Season 8 and Season 7, usually there was 1 or 2 teams that dominated the entire lobby, so the point gap was pretty massive, and the team was very close to getting into checkpoint off of game number 1 already, right? We remember in in phase number 1, I believe there was a team that was nearly halfway to checkpoint after the first game in finals. This time around, it's a little bit different because we have 2 to 3 teams that were doing pretty solid. We had Unchained doing pretty good in terms of kill count, Daejeon Auto Arms doing pretty good in both the kill count and their placement, and then Shadow Golden Light taking away the first place spot. So it's a very distributed scoreboard. Nobody's really threatening that checkpoint just yet. We might be in for a pretty long series.
And there's, I think, 5 teams with about 10 plus points. So I think it's either going to be long, or all these teams are going to get into checkpoint at the same time, and we're just going to end probably at around like an average time, which is going to be like game 7 maybe. I think that is usually when teams start getting into that break point there. But Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for Auto Arms because you know, if we see them at 62 points or 60, 63 or 64, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck.
Is it going to be another one of those situations where the curse of FN Sejong just follows one circle? It's always him, too, that always has to deal with this kind of shenanigans. So if Daejeon Auto Arms does have to deal with it, well, they are a team that is pretty well practiced in those kind of situations. A long-lasting team with all the players dealing with several situations in Eternal Return. Maybe it won't be that big of a deal, I don't know. But for now, let's take a look at the character selections for game number 2. And if you can take a look at the bottom right, you're absolutely correct. We actually do have the 3 bands that we were talking about in character select for game number 1. Nadine and Cecilia, I apologize, there we go, banned out for this game specifically, whereas the Priya will be also banned out for game number 3. We'll see her in game number 4. That means all of these teams are going to have to pick away from those 3, so everything has to change for some of these teams.
Yeah, it looks like Young and Auto Arms is going to be playing the... Oh, no, wait. One circle. Yeah. Oh, wait. They're going to be swapping over to the Mai for Auto Arms, at least over from the Merca, which I'm surprised because I feel like Cinema was just playing so well on the Merca. He's able to provide so much value. But maybe just opting to swap because of the previous game. And we're going to have a Kadia lock-in as well. So, a lot of Kadias. So 4 Kadias. So Kadia going to be off the table for 2 games. And we're going to have... I think a My Band coming for 1 game as well. Anything else? We got 2 hearts here.
2 Lennies. I think that's it. I think you got it covered with the Kadia.
Mai and Kadia gonna be off the table. So Kadia, we'll see Kadia back in game 4. And for Mai, we'll just see them back. No, Kadia will see them back in game 5. Kadia will see them back in game 4.
This is nothing too surprising for you and I, though, right? Especially if you've been playing Eternal Return in Season 9, you'll know that Kadia is definitely one of those characters, as I mentioned earlier, that you really don't realize you're dying to one until it's too late in a lot of cases. Her range has been really annoying to deal with for a lot of people, and her damage output right now, especially with the Sharpshooter giving her a burst of movement speed for a few seconds after actually landing it, it hurts quite a lot. She can stack up her adrenaline very, very fast. Electric Shift gives her even more range, so teams are going to have to be wary about it. Let's see how it goes, though. Game number 2 for finals is now locked and loaded. After this one, teams will have a break to catch themselves a little bit of a breather and actually discuss what went wrong. But we'll have to see how this game goes, because with all of the bans that came in for game number 2, so many things are going to change. I think even the aggression levels for the first day or so is going to change in comparison to game number 1, just because everything is now off the rails. Nothing is the same as the last game.
Yeah, we'll have to see, just because, you know, of all those bans. Sangnam Rock is actually playing in Arda with this triple backline team, which is something we usually don't see often, because Arda is usually paired with, you know, that dive team comp, just because of that Nimrod's Gate. So very excited to see how they do utilize it, because Arda, I mean, still has that Nimrod's Gate for safety for the team. They're going to be able to use it to maybe reposition, and still has some lockdown with their dice. So we'll have to see how they do end up using that here, as looks like we're gonna have a little short scuff. There's some little team fight in between some of these teams here, and I don't think anyone really wants anything to do with it. Blaster is gonna get caught, though. Great double spring trap coming out from Xenophine, as they are gonna be able to get the speed gate and maybe get themselves out. Wait a second, rotating back in like that. Might get themselves caught. Cinema gonna go down here on the top side, though. Looks like the Sangnam Rock, as they are gonna be able to pick one up. And yeah, nothing else gonna really come out of that. So definitely a lot more of a quiet game in game number 2 here.
Exactly as I would expect. You have a lot of teams that are going to be playing the basic front to back, in which a lot of cases you're going to be missing out on some damage sources pretty early on. This down here obviously makes sense. We have 2 damage dealers versus 2 damage dealers. One small mistake will cost people's lives. Shadow Golden Light loses out on 2 members for their side. Really good stuff for the side of, I think that was Team Sangnam Rocks on the south side of the map. Other than that, you're right. It's a very slower game than the one we saw in game number 1. Honestly predictable. We're going to see another fight in here. Dice is pretty good. Cube not bad. Let's see if Hyungi can find a little bit more. He does have the Unleashed Power. Does he land anything? Yes, he does. Right over on his Honzar, another cube and the dice. It's just so easy for Hyungi. Perfect landings on those crowd control stacks. Now another fight. It's this time a big team fight between Gwangju Slashers and Always Incheon. Can we actually see Always Incheon picking up a kill early? Yes, they can, as Gun will get corralled into the bridge and taken down. We should see Sardabi falling down in a moment here as well. There we go. Finally an early game for Team Always Incheon in game number 2.
this early on, you don't have enough damage on this William yet. And oh, looks like 2 kills going straight into the hands, I think, of Team Autoworms over there. And Yogi is going to get caught by Shadow Golden Light, but Shadow Golden Light is just getting completely run down here. Ing9 able to just get in the access into the back line. The ultimate is going to come through. Can they land this? I don't think the boom speed is going to be there just yet, but the slows from the sniper skill is going to be there, and the great pushback coming in from Ing9 going to be able to secure another kill for the side of Team Youngie and 8 there, sitting on 4 kills already. Have to be feeling pretty good about that. 2 points already this early on.
I am worried about the Tia in this one. I know it's Youngman's Tia and everything, but what we just saw there of the full swing getting dodged out by the Merca is something that you're going to be probably seeing for quite a long time tonight. A lot of these skill shot characters have a tough time landing things on Merca because she has some mobility skills that's going to throw off your sense of aim really bad in cases where your cooldowns are probably going to be longer than the Merca's rotations, especially towards the late stages of the game. So let's see if Youngman learns from that one specific occasion and gets anything more done. For now, always Incheon looking for a fight once again. Over towards Hyungi. Can he get the kill? Yes, they can, but traded out for Seraphine. Blaster still eating auto attacks from Curry. It's the same story from earlier. Tazia just eats way too much Kadia damage. Will end up getting taken down once again in the exact same fashion as we saw them earlier in game number 1.
Oh, and Shadow Golden Light getting caught once again. Looks like the Kadia is dying somewhere else, and both Youngman and Fancy going to be forced to just retreat there. Shadow Golden Light just having a rough start to this game. Maybe not comfortable on, not their main comp here, playing this Tia, Kadia, and Justina.
Day number 2 hitting, a lot of teams still looking for advantages, but there's a lot of split members, right? In comparison to what we saw yesterday, it might be actually even more now that I think about it. Yeah, because there's another pick over onto X-Boy. We saw so many split members on the side of archery range. There's even more split people over here too. Furze, can you find a kill over onto Fancy is the question. Half HP with the Ghost Light activated towards the player. Fancy still trying his best to run away. Does he have the Astro Burst? No, he does not. Down he goes. He doesn't actually invest it. He did have it though. You can take a look at Shadow Golden Light's Justina's cooldowns. He did have the Astro Burst, just didn't have to use it.
Yeah, I think maybe thinking, I mean, if they do end up using it, they technically just dash out, and then it's kind of just in a rough spot anyway. So a little unfortunate for Shadow Golden Light there. Autoworms looks like they were also split farming, so Fable did end up going down to the side of Team Young. But yeah, it looks like in this game a lot more people are just opting to split farm for some extra credits here. I mean, kind of what usually happens when the game is really quiet is teams will just slowly start to split away to try to look for some extra farm if no team fights really going on here. We do have a fight though between Unchained and the side of Team Always Incheon. Looks like the damage on Youngway is gonna be quite a bit. There is the Strider coming out from Osu there, trying to get as much damage as possible there. Now the members of Team Always Incheon are split away, and they find their angle onto Lenny. Great knockup coming out from the Dema as they do end up getting that kill. Huge find coming out from Unchained, getting the 1-up once again on the side of Team Always Incheon.
Great split of attention for Team Unchained because Always Incheon's comp is actually one that Unchained deals really bad against. You have a Debbie and Marlene and a Kenneth, two very slow killing bruisers in this game, trying to deal with a Tazia, but as soon as the Tazia was isolated, you saw them turn their attention immediately over on towards the Lenny. That's the target you need to look for on Team Unchained. They found it instantly. Really good fight for those guys on the side of Factory. Should be able to control that right side of the map for quite a long time at this point too. We're going to night number 2 soon, so Factory might not have that much value, but we have to see where these objectives are going to spawn. A purple box inside a beach is what Team Gyeonggi Innate and Daejeon Auto Arms is going to be looking for contesting against. Ingu eating quite a hefty amount of HP, taking down to 2/3 already, and the blast wave has been sent out too. That's a single stack bomb. Ing9 trying to jump towards the backside, but a lot of his initiations were completely whiffed, and there he goes. Merca will get taken down, so there is punishment for Mercas that do end up missing out on their initiations. Well played from Team Daejeon Auto Arms.
Yeah, I think just recognizing it just because, they're also really familiar with this Merca team comp, so yeah, just able to dodge out on that. America's engaged. Very nicely played by the side Team Auto Arms.
Should know the exact range of initiation. That's what we were seeing them kind of play around with all the time. Got baited for Ing9, so really good plays there from Daejeon Auto Arms. But now we have to look at the Rift. Always Incheon versus Team Gwangju Slasher. I believe it was Gwangju Slasher that ended up winning it out last time. Let's see if they can do it once again. Seraphine on the backside. Exclusive is there to try keeping the Lenny alive, but it's not going to happen. Gun is just untouched. throughout the fight. It's the exact same combo, the exact same rotation of the fight that we were normally talking about with Gwangju Slasher. Expo uses Reign of the Vampire Queen. Everybody's too busy dealing with that, while Gun is just pumping damage with the fastballs. Nice combo
Yeah,
and nice
William
rift.
William having those 3 items now, just able to just dish out so much damage on this William. Both Lennies looks like they're trading some damage into each other here, as looks like always Incheon's team is gonna be in the fray, so maybe they can look for an angle here. And yes, there is. Able to stun and lock up Tassi here, but wait a second. Great spring trap and trumpet get themselves out, but the Mai is going to be there to intercept. It's going to be a killer going to the side of the team. Always in shot.
What happened to the honorable 1v1 there, Cenefine? My goodness, Talasi will end up getting taken down, and another person over on the western side of the map taken down too, as Romantic found out by his former teammate of One Circle will end up getting taken down in there, and that means at least for now, Digital Auto Arms has control over archery range, although I don't know what that really means going into day number 3. Osu in a little bit of trouble. Furze, he's trying his best to stay alive. If somebody on the side of Team Unchained is going to die, they're going to have to do it quick. Lenny's going to be coming up in a couple of seconds, but she doesn't have the full HP bar that you would normally want a Lenny to have at the beginning to the middle of this fight. Extra damage coming out. That's a lot over on towards Kyungkwae. The damage output onto the Mai is going to be successful. That's a night number 2. I think that was a night number 2 death for Kyungkwae. He does have the timer, but not for the Lenny.
Day 3.
Unchained completely turns around the 2v3.
That was a 2v3. Yeah, that was straight a 2v3. They were just waiting for the Lenny to respawn. They're just able to turn it around, and always Incheon just losing out on that. Just very nicely played by the side of Team Unchained, recognizing their targets and able to take down that Lenny just really early on in that team fight.
This is really incredible. If anybody has experience playing Devi and Marlene into something like a Tazia, you know that it is an absolute hellscape of a fight. You just don't do damage to her. She's going to get shields over and over again. It just draws out the fight for such a long time. But adding Furze onto that is what completely turned the fight. So much crowd control. And they turned their attention onto a Mai of all things, which is the craziest thing out of all of that. Such a weird situation Team Unchained has found themselves in. It's a really good way to show that Team Unchained, what we were worried about yesterday about whether or not this team is going to be able to keep up that chaos and actually thrive in it, my doubts are gone already from game number 2. This is looking like a series and a half already building up, whereas Curry just barely getting out. Oh my lordy. Just by a hair on everything.
Yeah, great reaction there coming out, just instantly jumping over the wall, able to make themselves and get themselves enough distance to make sure they're safe, and Shadow Golden Knight not going to be able to find anything, and you can see their items and their credits, they just weren't able to get their next couple buy-ins, so they're definitely in a pretty rough spot here, I would say, for the side team Shadow Golden Knights. Lobby leaders, but right now, it's not really looking too good for them in this game. We'll have to see if they can turn their fates around. Osu's going to get poked a little bit here. I think Young probably want to take this team fight. They do have that Merca, and Merca's going to just look to play for the peel game here. He's able to get the knock away from the Kenneth, but the blink going to be used from Zerojin. It's huge for the side team Unchained. There is the Flame Crush right onto the Haze, but oh no, the Spring Trap doesn't connect, but they're just going to send their sights onto this Merca.
There's a camera right here.
They should be able to see everything because they have the console, and Zerojin going to be the one to fall. An uncharacteristic mistake from the side team. Youngie innate there, and wait a second, Jino gonna go back in here, is gonna just get taken down. Just maybe thinking they everything. Maybe thinking they had a kill opportunity, but it's gonna be immediately paid a price for it. A -400 for the side of Team Youngie innate, unless they could find a rift. But at this point, if you don't go now, you're not gonna be able to get into one. I don't think so. That's just really unfortunate for the side Team Youngie innate.
And 9 in a whole heap of trouble himself. Does he even have the credits to get the res is the question? Yes, they do. So that's at least one thing going in favor towards that team. But yeah, fighting under a camera usually not the greatest of ideas, especially if you don't have control of that. I believe that team should have known about it. Kyunggi and 8 still in trouble as Unchained finds them again. Oh no, another -200 for that team. 400, I apologize. This is a -800 for Team Kyunggi in a blink of an eye, whereas Dead and Auto Arms finds Team Gwangju Slasher is able to deal with the combo of this team. Signature Fireball out to keep Gun alive.
Fourth score, I think, right?
And
Slasher did end up getting it. Oh no,
I think Gun's dead. Yeah, he can't really get away from One Circle because there's gonna be a blast wave soon.
One blast wave to push him back into him. And one QW.
Oh, the One Circle can also be in a bit of trouble. No, he sees the ping. He sees the ping.
Yeah. Oh no, we got 3 feed here. Busan Bestmo just gonna be able to join the fray. One Circle chasing a little too far. Gonna get punished for that. A little unfortunate for the side of Team Auto Arms there. But yeah, I mean, a great play. I don't know if you saw that, but the spacing coming out from Auto Arms is just immaculate, right? Just making sure they're not in range of that Reign of the Vampire Queen, even with that White Lily. I think yeah, X-Boy just thought he had an angle because they would have been caught by that White Lily, but they just spaced so well. They knew about that White Lily the whole time, and they're just avoiding that Reign of the Vampire Queen engage here. We do have a fight.
Oh my God.
We get a lot of poke damage here onto the side of Team Always Inchan. Always Inchan. I mean, we saw how much credits they minus here in a really bad spot. Great combo coming out from the Tia, but wait a second, they find an angle onto Young Man. There's going to get instantly taken down. A huge find from Always Inchan. Just taking down that Tia. Looking for some more here. Can Blaster get anything going here? Cenaphine, maybe.
Good target choice here too.
Yeah, for the Tia and the not the Tia, but the Kadia, but a huge buffer coming out from the Kadia. I don't think they can get away though. As the movement speed is going to be a little.
This is not the right place to do it though.
Able to get on everything. Wait a second, the AoE damage isn't going to be enough. The ultimate coming down from the
no. I think that's a terminate.
Shadow Golden Light, I think, gonna get taken out here. Wait a second. It can get away. Oh no, the ultimate connects. And Shadow Golden Light, 0 points. Wait a second. Now Always Inchan are gonna get punished for this, as X-Boy gonna be able to get the ultimate here. Blaster gonna get chunked down, but wait a second, Blaster gonna look for an angle onto the William, and I think they're gonna be able to find it here.
Oh,
down to 1 HP, and yes they do. They're able to turn it around in the red zone. As Slasher gonna be the one on the back foot now. They're gonna be forced to TP themselves on out. I think that ultimate being invested for that kill from Gun, not having that mobility to dodge out on that Tazia, so you know, they ended up getting punished for it because they invested a little too much for that Justina.
This is also one of the teams that has one of the easiest times rotating from one fight to another, because it's not a team that really depends on a lot of ultimate cooldowns. Exclusive is probably by far the only big cooldown that this team is always looking for, because Paradiso, Blaster doesn't need it. We've seen a lot of Tazias using the Paradiso as more of like a zone control than anything else. If you land it onto 2-3 people, wow, it looks super cool, but it's not the main source of damage coming out from Tazia's composition. So it's just a really unlucky situation for Gorgeous Slasher, as now they're going to be in trouble again. I don't think X-Boy was able to get any reses off. Nice use of the White Lily. Ing9 unfortunately was not able to take it with the Bianca, so X-Boy will stay alive. Oh no, catching the end of the shotgun for Satan, and the third party comes in. Oh no, the Arda with the fear, he stays alive. He takes Nimrod's Gate right at the end of that fear. Oh my goodness, will keep himself alive. He's the last one alive on Team Songnam Rocks with so many credits on their side. It's all going to go to waste, but they're still alive, and that's what matters, because Shadow Golden Light can't say the same for themselves.
Unchained getting the win completely uncontested here. They're looking so strong right now. 9 tournament score already, and they're looking for some more here. We do have a lot of teams just corralling here up in Police Stations. Little crowded up here with 7 teams still remaining. Only Shadow Golden Light being the team that is going to be out. Slasher still down there. William, and not having enough credits as well, so it's a little tough for the side of Team Youngju Slasher there. We do see Team Auto Arms just slowly zoning away the side of Team Busan Vespa, but there is going to be that fire station zone reopening, so they might just rotate around, try to get that VLS. Actually, is going to be used for the side Team Busan Vespa to get a better positioning here.
The problem?
Oh, okay. Thought they were gonna land straight into the middle of Temple there. I think it would have been pretty bad, but
they might have gotten to the right timing. Oh my god! Again,
once again getting caught. So unfortunate, as they're gonna lose out on another 2 members. They're gonna have to res again, but I don't know if they have enough gadget energy to get the kiosk down, or if they have.
She is so dead.
Yeah, they just got caught by Unchained, and there's the ultimate coming out, and that is going to be it for the side team. Songnam Rocks going down in 7th place with 4.5 points. I mean, it's something, but it's definitely not what you're looking for here.
Really unfortunate, because Hyungi actually managed to just slip away inside of the fight of Police Station, but misery still awaited for Team Songnam Rocks. It's going to be Team Unchained, the ones with Wick, and again, the point leaders of this lobby after the kill over onto that heart. 12 points for that team, half a point in the lead up against Team Always Inchan. This is awesome. Unchained is having a really consistent performance again today in the finals. One of the things that we were talking about, it's probably going to be really difficult for this team, but they're holding their own.
Yene is really weak here. You can see Hayes only sitting on 2 items.
What happened to this
so
team?
I think yeah, all these teams just probably want to take the team fight, and I think Young Yene know how weak they are, so they have to just play for that third party angle, sitting in these little corners here, trying to just play for some more placement. We do see the engage coming out from Slasher here. Rematic a little far, a little caught away from their team. Is going to be able to use ultimate to try to get some value before they're going down here, but it's just going to get taken down.
was late.
The damage coming out from Gun is just going to be way too much. G-Work trying to look for something here. I don't think it's going to be enough. But wait a second, the Haze, can they get enough value? Can they kill this
Gun's so
William?
smart with this.
Gun not jumping to their fire, to their balls to bait out the Haze here, and Slasher going to be the one to come on top. And nice 2 kills for their side of Team Youngju Slasher. Into the side of Team Busan Best Bun. The res is going to come through here, but Auto Arms maybe here at the very end, but not going to be able to find anything. And I think the Haze is caught here. Auto Arms straight into the hands of Team Auto Arms here, and I think that is going to be it. Busan Best Bun going to go down in 6th place.
This is so brutal for a lot of these teams, right? Because Busan Bespa is not the first team that has fallen down to a situation like this right now. Songnam Rocks completely got taken down by third parties with a rat remaining left, getting found out by another third-party situation, and they're stuck in the middle, monkey in the middle for a lot of these teams. Busan Bespa, same thing for that team, trying to run away as the rat got found out by another team. Now Gyeonggi and 8 very weak, but it's Team Unchained. Oh no, the Merca's gonna get pulled back, but at least it's a Merca. Ultimate canceled, and he has no timer. Ignite trying to do what he can, but canceled again for his ultimate. Down he goes. Pop goes to Weasel, and that's also gonna be Jinno going down to Lassie. Oh my goodness, these Centipede, what is it? These Lady players are absolutely bonkers. Another fight as a third party's gonna come in. Tejan Auto Wars with a double. Root and a oh my god, it's just so cooked. Gun in a whole heap of trouble. He's got those balls to jump towards. He does just barely manage to weave the needle through. Will keep himself alive, but with the Bianca down, I don't think there's anything he can do. Zero just gonna get taken down too. Unchained. Looking good. Tejan Auto Arms looking good. We might have a repeat of the final zone from last game at this rate.
Yeah, 17 points for the side of Team Unchained. Looks like all these teams are just gonna give Team Auto Arms their zone completely uncontested here. Probably thinking, you know, we're not gonna give more points to this team here. We would rather give it to Unchained. But Unchained looking in prime position here, and a great stun. Oh, and a huge
I mean,
spring
this
trap
is
to
just
deny Gun from jumping away. Very nicely played. And actually, Team Always Inshan actually want to contest for the Team Auto Arms here. And I think I agree with their decision, because Unchained, I think, is a little unkillable on this team comp for, I would say, a team like Team Always Inshan.
He's escaping. Good call.
Yeah, Slasher just gonna look to opt to escape here. I think, is there enough time? Yes, there is enough time. Just gonna deny the 1 point for these other teams.
Great call from Kwangju Slasher. Fantastic timing on that too. Just barely escapes the recon drone and picks up the escape car key. So yep, you're right. Completely reducing that +1 possibility for any of these other teams, not losing anything in return. Maybe other than a placement point, but that Mai was cooked to begin with. So I genuinely don't think there was anything lost for that team. Always in turn trying to do what they can. Seraphine trying to keep their team alive too with the positioning. Luckily doesn't end up getting taunted on the backside, but Fable creates the space up against Kyungkwae. This Kadia just pumping out the damage once again over and over. Seraphine doing what they can, but it just doesn't work. Pull back in, but Fable has the back away again.
Oh my god, he's just dodging on everything though.
It's just so rough killing this Kadia. I hate this character sometimes, man. So hard to lock down, and again Fable just keeps himself alive. How short is this cooldown on E? I swear to god he used it, and then throughout a Lenny rotation he has it again? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Kadia just able to just dodge out on so much there, jumping over the walls, and just nothing for Always Inshan to really work with there. Just so hard for them to find an angle onto one of these backlines, and exclusive wasn't even used the whole time, so Auto Arms just really safe there. We do have a fight between Unchained though, and the damage on this Mai. This Mai already getting chunked down to half HP, so it's all up to Unchained to try to find an angle onto this backline here, and Auto Arms just gonna rotate around, try to find a better angle in here. A lot of damage. It's really up to the side of Team Unchained to try to find an angle on this backside here. One circle, maybe. Getting a lot of damage onto the Mai though, and a huge spring trap actually gonna connect.
Fable again. Fable, wait, here we go.
The ultimate's gonna be there.
They get it? Yes, they can. It's Furze again off the back of Furze. Furze, you magnificent creature. Oh my goodness. Finally, Fable gets caught, and Furze on the Kenneth. This monster of a player. Are you kidding me?
I mean, such an uncharacteristic mistake from Fable, just getting hit by the spring trap allowed the Dema to get in as well with the ultimate, and then the follow-up Verze able to just get the blink ultimate, just able to lock that Kadia down, and it is an unchained show today. 2 wins in a row from a non-ERM team.
I think that was a 27-point win too, man. Are you serious? Yeah, at least the final 2 finish. 2 games in a row from a non-National League team, right? They might have lost against Daejeon Auto Arms in game number 1, but they for sure showed them who's boss in game 2.
Yeah, such a great showing from them, and wow, they're well in their ways to hitting that checkpoint breakpoint. Maybe even in game 4 if we have another great performance from them, and their characters aren't being banned away.
Yeah. By the way, you know what's the craziest thing about that fight? The thing that I can critique about what Daejeon Auto Arms did there is such like a minute little difference that literally in 99% of cases it won't matter. But in that fight it did, because I want to hear your opinion. What was the biggest thing that Daejeon Auto Arms did there that was wrong? Maybe you and I have a little bit of difference. Okay, that's definitely one.
I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him get hit by one of those. So yeah, I think as soon as he got hit by it, he was forced to use his cooldowns to jump away, and then he was kind of cooked.
I think the bigger problem there was actually the miscommunication between Fable and Cinema, because what ended up happening there, one of the reasons why it's so hard to catch out the Kadia in this composition, and the reason why I think always Incheon also had problems down in Fire Station, is because there's so many ways that this team is able to instantaneously move the Kadia in a random direction, right? You can choose a direction for your E to go through so that the Kadia goes the other way. You can do the electric shift in a completely different way, so you gotta kind of go in like this weird zigzag pattern. And then if that's not enough, the Mai can also use her exclusive to bring her all the way to where she is, and that's an instantaneous distance jump as well. There's a lot of ways to keep the Kadia alive, but the problem in that fight was that the exclusive was used for the Kadia when she was right next to the Mai. There was no distance gained from the exclusive, and I think that's what ended up forcing Team Daejeon Auto Arms to lose the fight. But let's be real here. How do you plan for that kind of stuff? You can coordinate all you want, but it's in the thick of the situation. It's like such a minute thing that caused Daejeon Auto Arms to lose the fight. But it's like, I can't blame them for it, because it's just human nature to try reacting to it.
I mean, Cinema was really a little far forward, so it's kind of hard to pull the Kadia like farther. It was like some distance made, but yeah, just getting hit by the spring trap, especially, you know, as a Kadia, right? It's
should never happen.
It shouldn't happen, right? Because you have the buffer as well with your E. You have the E shift to dodge out on it, especially from a character, from a player like
Fable.
From a player like Fable, right? Like it's just something that you never see. I don't think I've ever seen him get hit by a spring trap. I think that's probably like the first time I've actually seen him get hit by one, and it just cost him the fight there. So
yep, it's the reason why Unchained is going to be in first place, overtaking Team Daejeon Auto Arms. What an amazing play! But even more so, I think an even greater play from Talasi, right? Because a player like Fable getting hit by a spring trap is not luck. It's going to have to be set up, whether it's vision denial or just placing it correctly. Talasi made it work, and the rest of the team was able to follow up on it. So really great decision and decisive gameplay coming through from Team Unchained, which is exactly what we wanted from those guys. But folks, that was game number 2, and if you want to see more of what Team Unchained is able to bring to the table, you'll have to do it after the break. So catch yourselves a little bit of a breather, because we're going to need it as well after those 2 games. Grab some water, go grab a snack, and go take a stretch. We'll see you guys back here for games 3 and 4 of the finals, which are guaranteed.
Take care.
임시 안전지대를 활성화합니다.
잘 하자. 오늘이 제일 중요하다.
말해봅시다.
오늘은
괜찮지?
텐션 높여서 한번 해보자. 어차피 다음 경기 같은 거 없으니까.
아 근데 이거 내가 보기에는 초반 도전을 그냥 도전을 해봐야 된다 일단은. 다지면은 멘탈 나가거든. 그래가지고 초반에 교전에서 좀 더 집중을 해보자.
CNJ e스포츠 제키로 굉장히 재미 많이 봤죠. 그렇기 때문에 오늘도 제키, 얀, 리아 조합입니다.
근데 체코 전까지는 그냥 혈팩 본다 이거 없을 거야. 그냥 저점 높이게 하자 무조건.
무조건 동수아 많이 먹어. 오케이.
그래서 무조건 우리 돈 다 쓰고 게임 할 거야.
그렇게 하자.
맞습니다.
자, 경기 준비 완료됐습니다. 저희와 함께 루미아 섬으로 떠나 보시죠.
활약이 계속 드러나고 있는 것 같습니다.
이거 얀 봐야 돼요. 얀 10팩이거든요.
자, 옆에서 하지만
네, 가본다.
시간이 길진 않거든요.
저기한테 블랙으로 KW.
딱 맞았거든요.
자, 여기서 리아의 게임 월드 깔리고 3격으로
하여튼 블랙 빠졌고. 네.
떨어집니다.
자, 이건 아델라도 마무리가 될 수밖에 없었고요.
CNJ 스포츠.
오빠 더 해볼게.
못하게 정말 빠르고 날카롭게
이거
이니시에이트를
마무리하기 위해서
찾고 있는데요.
자, 일단 확실히 위쪽에 있는 키오스크 쪽으로 갈 게 뻔하기 때문에 한번 날아서 내려왔는데
차트 여기 있어.
네, 오케이. 아래 재밌긴 해.
대장이다.
자, 이제 아래쪽에
소방사 키오스크 소음기 들고 있죠.
오토함도 있어요.
이거 오토함지.
자 나가자 승부야.
이거 CCTV 시야가 오토함지
자,
건데요.
이거 맞았는데요.
자,
근데 오함이 봤어요.
리아가 마무리. CNJ 스포츠가 대구 수성 가디언즈 전원을 처치합니다.
우석 시켜드릴까요? 아니 들어가서 제가 시킬게요. 아니 혈팩 봐야 되나? 아니 혈팩 보지 마.
플레이어는 FN세전 쪽에서 챙겨갔고요.
자, CNJ 스포츠 그리고 올웨이즈 인천이 균열 전투 연구실에서 만납니다.
잠시만요.
둘 중 하나는 가요.
3차 밤이에요.
가다.
10등이에요.
원래 인천 조합은
근데 10팩이
모여 있어야 되는 조합이야.
그래도 기적치료 너무 좋았습니다.
그런데 니아의 게임월드가 이제 펼쳐졌고
자, 아트팩트를 버팁니다.
자,
이거
안쪽에 있는 타지아는요. 못 나가는 잡았어요.
갈면서 해.
3대2 구도로 만들어냈고요.
다시 한번 10팩입니다.
자, 이거 천.
나 또 간다.
괜찮. 안 죽어.
그냥 진짜 여유롭게 CNJ.
CNJ.
만들어냈습니다. 두 번의 터미니티를 자신들의 손으로 직접 만들어낸 CNJ 스포츠.
우리가 두 팀 닦았어 그냥. 두 팀 다운 해버렸어 이거. 너무 되잖아요 그냥.
하지만 넘어오는 이런 과정에서 카메라에
되나?
할만한데 이거라서 그러니까 우리 일단은
계속 움직일 필요가 있겠고요.
하는 해도 괜찮지 할 때도 한데.
와볼래. 와봐.
만만치 않거든요. 마이를
와,
달고 있는데.
KCW 진짜.
자, 이스피아 게임을 들어오는
이거는
습격.
터졌어요.
버려요.
아까부터
메모리까지도.
보여주는 저 그냥 토마호크 스피드.
CNJ.
살리는 거 막아야 되는데 살리는 거 막아야 돼.
자, 제로진 이거 자신에게 네. 나랑 놀자를 본인에게 썼습니다만
여기
아래도
갑자기,
위험해요. 아래도 위험해요.
싸우고 있고요.
갑자기 1대1대1.
서로 다른 마이.
자, 그래서 루미가 왜 멈춰있지?
CNJ가 또 와요. 또 CNJ가
위에서
옵니다.
경기네트 있고요.
그렇죠.
이게 그러면 이제
CNJ 속으로.
무엇을 의미하냐면 위쪽
자,
아래쪽
CNJ가 먹었어요 지금. 경기는 킬캐치 성공하고요. 자, FN세종과 오토함즈 위쪽에는 CNJ 스포츠.
나 좀 천천히 해봐. 나 좀 멀어. 오케이. 거기 막고 있어 그냥.
오른쪽으로.
얘네 근거 없다.
오버 한 번 있나?
오버 한 번 돼.
막아.
나 오버 안 돼. 나 오버.
가야 돼 이거 가야 돼.
얘네 우리가보다 더 적거든. 우리 섬이 먹었잖아.
센즈 있을 수도 있어. 나 수렴 쳐줄게 일단.
자, 여기서 시네마이 선수 시간이 3초밖에 남지 않았습니다.
네, 그리고
너무 모여있지 말자.
니가 궁 없을 때 한번 지금 밀어보자. 이거 얘네들이 먼저 밖에 하자. 유도하자 이거.
그래도 경기 네이트 쪽 공략하러 가는 게 낫거든요.
자, 그리고 생각보다 오함 조합이 좀 어려울 수 있거든.
얘네 박을 수 있어. 빼자.
나 시간 근거 없어. 빨리 가야 돼.
그럼 올라가는 게 낫지 않아?
가다 올라가다가.
그럼 바로 막아지긴 한다.
얘네 우리랑 할 생각 할 거야. 한 바퀴 돌아. 여기 위로.
안쪽으로 쓸까요?
네, 서.
자, 그래서 오토암즈도 CNJ도
오토함즈 위로 갔구나.
네.
그렇다면 우리 CNJ C를 노린다.
우리한테 박으라는 높긴 하다 저거.
여기 안쪽에 숨어 있을래? 아예? 여기 이거
스테이크 쌓아놔.
오케이.
이거 빈색 잡고 있으니까 마지막에 그냥 여기서 파란 오브 한번 써가지고 아예 꺼트리고 가자 그냥.
나 실스택 간다.
유지할 거 없어 중간에.
마이가 4초밖에 없어요.
자,
4초밖에
그리고
이거 걸 것
10팩을
같아요.
기다린 거거든요.
걸 것 같은데요. 이거 이때 안 걸면 못 걸어요.
근데 보였어요. 10색이 보였기
자,
때문에
이제 초기화 됐고요.
대처를 합니다.
이러면
나 방패 들었어. 뒤로 쭉 내려와. 치밤에.
안쪽으로 치밤에 잡아내고.
자, 익스플로시브를 빼냅니다.
이러면 CNJ가
뒤에. 야 개피야. 후치만 하면 돼.
박을게.
썬더.
이번 졌다.
빼봐.
괜찮아. 천천히 나가봐.
천천히 해야 돼.
근데 1킬만.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the break. Hope you guys had a good one because it's now time for games 3 and 4 of the finals, which, again, for us are guaranteed. There is no team in checkpoint just yet, which means it'll at least be 2 games before we get to a point where a team can even remotely be considered safe and potentially be a winner, which means at least for right now, Game 5 is also guaranteed, right? Because there is probably no way that a team is going to be able to get 30-something points at this point, just with how the games are going. Although it is still a possibility, the chances are going to be low. Although, I guess I should say one more although. The team in first place right now with 39 points, I believe, is Team Unchained. So that can also change as well. There's a lot of things that can go crazy in the next game, Super. So let's take a look at what's going to happen.
They did win 2 games in a row, so we'll have to see if they can continue this streak. We are going to have, I think it was... Which 2 characters are being unbanned? It was Cicella and I think Hearts? Or no, Cicella and I'm kind of forgetting the other ban.
Nadine.
Nadine, yeah. That is going to be back on the table here. And we're going to see some Nadines being locked in already here. I don't want to Merca pick. And Xenophine. Oh, you're right. Locking in the Abigail. Oh my god, with the Charlotte here. So it's going full dive, looking for, you know, anything. And looking at the picks here, looks like Cicella is going to be banned once again, this time with the Heart. As there's going to be 3 triple backline teams. G-Work Adela is coming back here for game 3.
Okay, well, this is going to be a pretty fun one. Heart banned for 1 game again. Cicella banned out for 2, as we're going to have 4 Cicillas in this game once again. Fancy, Zero Jin, Satan, and Sonsar. We have ourselves a series on our hands, my friends. There are definitive meta-defining characters, like we said at the beginning of today as well.
One Circle on Haze as well. You know, I haven't seen One Circle on Haze in forever.
I know. I think there was one season where he won ERM, and it is a Haze. I might have to go back in the list of the winner emotes, because I could have sworn there was a season where One Circle just exclusively played a ton of Haze and won.
I mean, he was one of the originators, right? Back all the way in Solos era, playing the Haze. Coming back, pulling it out here on the big stage. I like it. We're gonna have to see, you know, how it does work. They're kind of taking a little, you know, team comp out of Team Youngie N8's book here, as they're just playing. And they're swapping the sleeve for that Haze.
Indeed. Well, here we go, folks. With all of these changes, all of the bans for game number 3, we are now going to get started for it. A couple of extra bans coming in the next one. We're going to actually have 3 characters banned for the next one again. So it's just this nice rotation of 3 characters being banned over and over and over again with varying differentiations.
There's always that one character.
There we go.
There's always that one character every round that gets banned for 2 games, right? It was Priya, now it's Kadia, now it's Cicella.
Yep.
And then there's and then the other 2 characters are just being banned. So this is pretty cool because it kind of creates an interesting dynamic of these teams having access to characters again, like Cicella, the Kadia being, you know, available, and then they're kind of having to go on the fly, make a new team comp because they don't have that, for example, that Priya pick that they had, you know, in the game where the Cicella did end up getting banned away. So we're gonna have, you know, a lot more unique comps, like all these teams swapping over to the Heart instead of that that Priya.
Yeah, this is really awkward for a lot of these teams too, because when you have situations like this where the picks that you want are not coming up at the same time, it throws a big wrench into your game plan. Your playbook is just completely thrown off. So
okay,
Xenophine getting knocked up into the air. G-Work is going to be able to land that Nightfork. A lot of marks still remaining for the Xenophine to get, but it's not going to go through. Abigail, it's too early in the game for her to actually knock down any meaningful health bars in the 1v3.
Yeah, Checkmate is going to land there, and looks like Curry is going to go down the backside. Padawan wasn't able to grab that kill, so it's going to be Shadow Golden Knight going to be able to pick one up. Shadow Golden Knight desperately needs some points again. You know, they were the lobby leaders, and they got sent all the way down to 4th place, so going to have to look for something here. As in the previous game, they got 0 points. We do have Fable getting some good damage here. Fancy and able to get or zone away the side of Fable, and Cinema kind of by himself on the top side here is just going to get focused down and is getting bursted down by the side of Team Shadow Golden Light. Not going to be able to live for any longer. Now, One Circle and Fable going to be trying to be on the retreat here. I think One Circle can probably get away with this jump pad here. Can Young Man find anything? The ultimate is going to come down, not going to be able to connect.
Nice.
And One Circle should be able to just get themselves down into Warehouse.
Really good stuff for Team Shadow Golden Light, as they're just seeming to be the ones that really throw a big wrench into Team Tejon Auto Arms, which is really annoying for those guys. So here we go, more fights as we're going to hit night number 1, even more combat. G-Work in the thick of things, trying to use a lot of his close range combat as he lands another Night Fork. G-Work, who needs queens, man? I swear, you just have a pawn, Night Fork, knock people up, and then you do your full combo on them. It's just so easy. G-Work is one of the few Adela players alongside, what was that one Adela player you really liked again? Goodness gracious, I'm forgetting their name. Yeah, Seiko. Yeah.
Seiko was Adela, right?
Seiko is another one of those players that is able to just consistently land these Night Forks in the middle of fights. Xenophine, oh my goodness, even with the Siphon Maelstrom, is not going to be able to stay alive. Down he goes, G-Work again, landing queens left and right. All the crowd control in the arsenal of Adela. He just lands it so frequently. This is one of the threats of Adela, and G-Work is able to just capitalize on every single aspect of it.
Yeah, very nice boost on Vespa with 1.5 points already. Sitting in a pretty good spot here. Unchained, already 1 point as well. They're inching closer and closer to that checkpoint, breakpoint. We could potentially have them getting into checkpoints into game 4. They need a 25.5 point game, which sounds like a lot, especially you know, in a finals. But you know, in the previous game, I think they had about like 24 or something. So actually, not 24, but it was like 20 something. Could be doable, but we'll have to see, you know, how many points they can rack up in this game, or you know, if they'll even get another first place at all. Oh, we do have a lot of teams in this zone here, though. Cinema actually going to jump straight to the hands of Team Jinchun, but just going to back themselves on out. The random Drama Queen is going to be used, and oh my god, Gun jumping into the backline here is going to be able to take one. One Circle going to be able to trade it away, though. So Dobby is going to look for One Circle. Is going to be on that Luke. Should be able to just solo down on this haze up to One Circle to dodge out on these Luke skill shots here. Is able to dodge out on that clean sweep, and now Auto Arms going to be have the advantage here. X-Boy gonna try looking for something. One Circle able to get the stun, but Dobby is able to land the clean sweep this time, and now One Circle gonna be forced to retreat. Does unfortunately use auto attack onto his
so clean
camera, and now it's gonna be Auto Arms gonna be the one that is in trouble here. I think Fable is gonna be able to respawn, so they should be able to get themselves
that
out.
cancel.
Oh, great cancel on the ultimate there. And now Auto Arms just left with their Rio, so Fable just has to rat it out here, make sure they don't die, because you don't want to get sent this early on into the game.
Yeah, this is so brutal for Team Tejon Auto Arms, but really nice play from Kwangju Slasher, right? We were usually doubting on this Luke a couple of days ago when he brought it out into the knockout stages, but it's seeming like it's a pretty solid pick for Kwangju Slasher, at least for now, right? A lot of Luke's combat powers comes through in the early to mid game. He will struggle quite a bit in the later stages, as we are not going to really have the mainstay tanking abilities like we would normally expect from one.
Yeah.
But if his early game is good and they snowball off of it, it could still be one of those just brute force and overwhelm the enemy with transitions that you have, because we're already seeing 2 on the William. This is good pacing for Kwangju Slasher.
I think this is one of the only team comps where I think the Luke would be okay, just because, yeah, it is, it's the only team comp where, you know, you can run tank Luke and then you kind of just make space for your team, right? It's the only team comp where you just have 2 divers that just want to do whatever they want, like the Bianca and the William. So you just need to make sure you get in there, you soak up damage, and you make space for your William and your Bianca to just jump on in.
Yep, G-Work in a little bit of trouble. He's still getting chased down by Ing9, but G-Work just taking that White Lily for himself inside a police station will keep himself safe and also steal away a little bit of farm while he's at that as well. Kwangju Slasher is positioning against Team Unchained inside of Hotel, as it's going to be a fight over the Alpha. Once again, Gun is on really good items. He's upgraded from 2 transitions to 4, but it's Furze again trying to lock down this William. The problem is they just don't get enough of it. He's pumping out the auto attack, still untouched throughout the majority of this fight, but that's a lot of utilities gone from the William. Signature Fireball gone, and now Osu is right on top of this William. He's in a little bit of trouble. A lot of damage output over towards the William. He's completely out of the fight. On the backside, Sir Dobby is still doing a lot of damage, as Osu is going to get taken down. Furze in a whole heap of trouble. He gets taken taken down as well.
Oh no!
Blazer is going to land over onto Delassie. He's trying to get away. White Lily is going to get cancelled out. Delassie is a Lenny, very slippery character to try running away, but he uses the blast plant. Oh, and he gets locked down. No, he auto-attacked the plant. It happens to the best of us, but for Team Unchained, the worst time, the worst place, and the worst situation. Delassie, a classic mistake for Eternal Return veterans happening on the grand stage.
Yeah, that is so heartbreaking to see. You know, that just happens. You're clicking downwards, you're right-clicking downwards, trying to make sure you get away, and then you accidentally right-click onto the plant, and your character just stands there, auto-attacks it because you clicked onto it, and you just lose out on so much of your distance that you made, and that is going to be it. Unchained 8th place.
If he didn't.
I think he probably would have been able to get away there, but yeah, Unchained 8th place. 1 point to their name. They're the lobby leaders, but that's going to change up everything now.
Yeah.
It's going to open the door for Auto Arms to jump up, always Incheon to jump up as well, and yeah, they're not going to be able to get any points into this game. Still going to need like 24.5 points to get themselves into that checkpoint breakpoint.
What an absolute shame for Team Unchained as well, because the fight actually started out really nice. They tried to look for an angle over onto Gun, and it was really close, right? Unfortunately, the Twins Rush missed just by a hair, and by the point we saw the initiation coming from Furzy to follow up on it, it was too late because Gun still has all of his cooldowns available. He didn't get crowd controlled at all since he didn't get knocked up into the air by the Twins Rush. The the Flame Crusher also just barely missed by a hair. By that point, you've already used a lot of your initiation, a lot of your gap closing tools that William is going to be untouched for the remainder of the fight. Really unfortunate for that team, but we do have ourselves another fight. Now, Centipede on the backside, getting jumped on by Cinema. A lot of damage dealt over on towards the members of Always Incheon already, but remember, this is a Tazia jumping on over towards Fable. It's going to get eliminated. Hayes can't get away from this either. The Glass Shard on the ground, does he have the reset? Not just yet. There's one, there's two. White Lily's going to take him only so far away. One circle in a whole heap of trouble. Does the Merca fall down too? She seems a little bit safe. On the backside, getting chased down by Xenophine as well. He doesn't have the reset. He doesn't have the dash reset.
Jumping over the wall.
Oh, no.
Jumping over the wall. Just barely able to escape with their lives. Auto Arms able to escape there. The problem is if you're just able to jump over the wall, and Abigail can't follow up unless they have their jump, but you know, they have to be in range. If not in range, you're not going to be able to get that follow-up. So yeah, Auto Arms is going to be able to get the res here, but minus 400 this early into the game is definitely not the luck that they want. And look how many people are in the zone here.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, Fable.
Oh, they get pulled. Oh wait, oh wow. Oh my god, they're all out because I think Team Busan Vespa, they have to be a little careful, and they're going to get punished for this overextend. I think Romantic is going to go down here too. That's a sell-all, and Busan Vespa yet another minus 200 that we have to eat for this game.
Oh yeah, Hyungi on the Bernice, another old pick that we haven't seen in a long time, trying to duke it out up against Kyungi and 8, but the range disadvantage actually allows everybody to disengage from that fight. Another one is Tejan Auto Arms looking for another chance against Team Always Incheon one more time, and this position looks a lot better than before because Blaster doesn't have an easy angle on towards the backside. Knocked up into the air, it's going to be the Tazia triple push. Unfortunately, it's into the ultimate of the Charlotte on the backside. One circle is going to get taken down, and again down goes the Rio. There's the reset mark. Cinema left alone again. Minus 800 for this team to go in about 10 seconds. The rift is going to open, but this is a really bad look for Team Tejan Auto Arms.
I mean, they have to get into a rift or I think their game is cooked, but if they take a rift, they're so weak, right? They're so weak. If another team goes into the rift there, I think they might be going to be really hard. Shadow Golden Light getting terminated. Oh no. God. But this team is also not that strong. So this is a pretty even battle between Busan Vespa and Auto Arms here, but it's a day 3 rift. Another team going to be off the map. 5-3. It's going to go down to 5 teams this early on.
Yeah, I'm worried for Busan Vespa because this is not a team that can easily deal with a Merca. Merca's going to be able to kind of just jump in towards the backside, and unless G-Work is there to punish this, I don't really know if there's a way easily for them to kill this Merca because of all of the mobility she has. Like just now, she dodges out on the queen and doesn't really lose too much for it. She gets a shield, everything just goes in favor. Where is the punish for Cinema walking up like this? There's nothing. Ultimate's going to be activated. He's looking for somebody to at least punish. Nightfork is going to miss because of another dash, and the backside of this entire team composition is just completely thrown awry. Although that's a really good combo. One circle on single digits of timer. What is happening? What is going on right now? Smaller field of play for this team. They're trying to do what they can. G-Work has an easier time landing everything against this. Cinema on the backside. Checkmate is going to make it even more difficult for this team to walk back in. 2 seconds left on One Circle's timer. He's doing what he can, but eating a Wilson straight to his face. Can he land anything? Yes, he can. Cinema gets a kill on the backside. 10 seconds left on Fable. Gets another pick. Oh no, G-Work finds one on his own. Timer is so close between these players. 10 seconds left for Fable. 10 seconds left for G-Work. Cinema is in the chrono field. This is so awkward for this team. G-Work, do you have a safety drone for yourself?
Oh my God,
do you have a safety drone? Do you have a safety drone? No, he does not. And it's a -1. A -1 in the Rift. Are you kidding me, Busan Vespa?
They had it. They had it. They just
no.
they had so much extra timer, but they just go down. Auto arms just coming out and bringing the game back into their hands here. So well played and winning out on that zone, gonna be able to get a force for themselves. There's Young coming down, and oh my god, the damage coming out from Santa Ross is gonna be way too much. Young Innate gonna lose out on 2 members, as it is just gonna be Zerojin, the last member alive, and just so many deaths and so much minuses for these teams. And One Circle getting caught once again. Wait a second, teleports on in, but wait, Auto Arms or not Auto Arms, but Always Incheon is just a 2-man right now. The VLS is gonna be there coming in from this Abigail. Now, Auto Arms. Oh no!
She beat the distance. Senfi can't catch up here. What was?
I think they can.
Oh no!
Another -400 for Auto Arms, and look at their credits. They don't have it right now.
This team's eaten -1200 this game.
Yeah, that's really uncharacteristic for a team like Team Auto Arms, and I think Team Always Incheon know that this America has to be somewhere. Oh my god, Cinema missed the White Lily, but it looks like they're okay here. Oh, they spot him. They spot him.
Oh no. So the Fiend, he can't really do an easy raw jump on this. Yes, I mean, Cinema is really hard to catch for Cenopine, right?
Yeah, they have ult as well. They have ult as well, so they should be able to just ult over this wall. I'm pretty sure you can ult over this wall.
See, here's the thing though, for Cinema, it's so brutal because they've lost the same team for those 1200 credits.
I feel like they're just gonna go into another rift.
They need to. Wait, can you even? You won one. I don't think you can take another one.
You know, I actually don't know.
I don't think you can. I remember hearing something about this quite a long time ago. If you won a rift, can you take another one? Especially if you won a night three.
Cinema getting caught by the Luke here. The blink is gonna be used a little too early, and Luke's gonna be able to get themselves on it.
No, it's too easy.
It gets cancelled. And Auto Arms out in 5th. That's our 2nd place team, only 5.5 points, and this is gonna shake up the lobby entirely here. All these teams gonna be able to start closing the distance between our top 2 teams.
Yeah, this is also really bad for Team Always Incheon because they just sent both of their DPS ultimates. Blaster Paradiso down, same thing for the ultimate. Dimensional Cleave not available anymore for the Abigail. Just gonna have to back away and give it over to Kwangya Slasher for free.
And the easiest leash of Slasher's life there, as they just get it completely for free. And yeah, looks like Slasher's in a really good spot now. Getting that, oh my god, the Chaser for this William. They're going to be able to deal so much damage. And Young Innate, they're looking pretty weak. I would just send it here if I was inside of Team Slasher. I think they recognize they press tab. They recognize their item difference, and they're just going to full send it here. And Team Young Innate running straight to the hands of Team Sangnam Rocks. Sangnam Rocks is another team that's really strong, but Sangnam Rocks, they recognize they're running from something, and they're definitely running from Slasher here. Cyber Skill is going to come out. Can they get anything here? A lot of damage going to be exchanged. Young Innate going to be in a tight spot now as Sangnam Rocks are going to
get out. They can't stop this.
Can they get a kill?
Yes.
Oh, Curry gets one.
Oh, wait, what?
Very nice from Sangnam Rocks. They're able to pick up a kill before they end up using the white, or not the white, but the VLS there. And yeah, there's not too many points to go around left. 4 teams alive. This is, I think, the least amount of teams we've ever had going into like a wick line.
Almost feels like a rank game.
Yeah, it kind of does, honestly.
Yeah.
4 teams It was like 4 teams when Wick spawned, I think. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like the map is just so open here.
It's going to create a lot more open space for these players to play on. We might not have that chaotic of a final zone and temporary zone we've seen for quite a while now. But the problem is for Team Gyeonggi Innate, Sartavi on the backside, he's just forcing this entire team to eat damage even before the Raid of the Vampire Queen, and X-Boy just lands the Raid of the Vampire Queen of a lifetime. Zerojin finds a pick, but I don't think he can do it anymore. And that's it. 3 teams at day 5. This is honestly a first. You know, you and I were talking yesterday about how some of these lobbies were going really fast because we don't have a temporary zone. We might not have one before we even go into the temporary zone phase. This is crazy.
Yeah, 4 teams left or 3 teams left this early on. I don't think I've ever seen this on the ERM stage before. It's kind of crazy. You know, it's more reminiscent to like you know a game from like a different region, but yeah, coming out here, it's just everyone's just getting wiped left and right here.
Yeah, this just really works for Team Always Incheon too, because look at the scoreboard right now as is. 3rd place for Always Incheon. This team is actually relatively close to our top 2 teams at the moment. One of the few remaining teams alive, especially with Shadow Golden Light, Taejeon Auto Arms, as well as Unchained going down pretty early. There is a good chance if Always Incheon wins this and knocks down the entire lobby with this composition.
Yeah, but
it's gonna be a bit tough, but you know.
Is Slasher and Xenomox's items?
They're disgustingly strong.
Yeah, Slasher 5 bloods. Xenomox also 5 bloods.
But I will say this, Super.
I don't know about Always Incheon winning this one, but I do think Always Incheon can at least I think they have a pretty good chance into Xenomox just because you know, they're playing that triple backline team, and Always Incheon can just instantly send it here. No, I like this play from Slasher.
Oh, they have no idea.
No, they don't. They're not able to get them, but the ultimate's gonna go down here, and the support is just split away from their team, and there's no full send it here.
What a
Look
play.
at the damage coming down from the side of Team Slasher, and they're gonna be able to pick up another 3 kills, and we're just gonna go straight to the final zone. There's only 2 teams left. This early on, Slasher, a dominating performance, 25 points. Can they make it a 31-point banger here? That is gonna be the question, but it's gonna come down if they can. It's gonna come down to if they can beat Xenomox, but they are playing that Bianca into a triple backline team. There is that heart though to counter it, but you know, once the damage comes down, it's gonna be easy to clean up for the side of Team Xenomox, or not Xenomox, but Slasher.
This fight all comes down to Satan, because you can deal with the Reign of the Vampire Queen using the Peacemaker, exactly as you said. Sardavi, yeah, he's a threat to some of these backliners, but there's a decent amount of damage chunk over onto these players because you have a Vernice, you have the Heart, you have the Cecilia. It can pretty effectively nullify the amount of sustain that a Luke is going to have. The one thing you don't have a resource for and the utilities to deal with is the William. But the one way you can actually catch him out is going to be through the Cecilia. So I think this is all going to come down on whether or not Satan has actual value coming out from this character. And of course, pretty good reason too, right? We've seen 3 to 4 characters picked for the Cecilia through the past couple of games. There is high value on this pick, and for a good reason of the fact that you can just outrange everybody if you do Wilson into a play with us. That can catch out Evas, that can catch out Kadias with Electric Shift, that can catch out William sitting on the pitcher's mound. Anything, as long as Satan plays this fight well, there is a chance that Songnam Rocks will be able to overcome this even while eating a 3-man Reign of the Vampire Queen. All the balls, the court is on the side of Team Gwangju Slashers, but Songnam Rock still has at least 1 turn on the offense for this team.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can make this work here. Who is going to come out on top? Will it be Slasher with 31 points for themselves, or Songnam Rocks with 19? Both these teams desperately need these points as they're both on the bottom side of the leaderboard here. If Slasher wins this one out, they're gonna have about 47 points, so they're going to be in a really good spot going into game 4. Maybe even being able to get in checkpoint to game 5 here.
Okay.
We'll send it here, but it's just going to get sent back, and there's the ultimate.
There it is! It's Satan, as I said, Satan just pulls people back.
There. Unfortunately, I think X-Boy just didn't get the blink with the ultimate, right? You saw him trying to blink, but the ultimate already getting placed down. A disastrous mistake for the side of Team Slasher, as it's going to be just going to be an easy cleanup for the side of Team Songnam Rocks to pick up those 3 extra kills there and get those 3 extra placements. So it's 19 points for the side of Team Songnam Rocks, and that is going to shake up the entire leaderboard. I think everyone is going to be relatively close at about 40 points here now, and it's really going to be anyone's game to get into the checkpoint for the final game.
Yeah, this is the way that we're going to go into game number 4. Everybody going to be really close. Top of the leaderboard, not that many points. Bottom of the leaderboard, getting a ton of points. If anything, I think it's a really good situation for pretty much everybody in the lobby right now that it was that team that ended up winning. The 7th place team getting the win instead of Gwangju Slashers. Because if Gwangju Slashers won that game, oh boy, the score sheet would have been overturned on its head. But at least that was nullified. It's okay. The series is still ongoing. A lot of the teams might have a decent amount of points, especially in comparison to some of our maybe 6th, 7th, and 8th place teams going into game number 4. But it's still a possibility. Nobody's in checkpoint just yet. I don't think anyone's threatening it as of the time being either for the immediate afterwards for game number 5. There's still a chance. There's still time for you to come back into the series. And we've seen how competitive this lobby has been so far. Every team has a chance.
Yeah. 100%, and we're gonna have to see which team it is going to be to come out on top here. And yeah, I mean, Slasher getting 26 points, Sagnam Rocks getting 19. I think it's definitely going to shake up the scoreboard now.
Gosh, that fight though, I was talking about how Cecilia was going to be the crucial part. Satan should have been the crucial part, but it wasn't in the way that I thought it would have gone. Because I thought it was mainly going to be Satan trying to get a pick over onto Gun with the Cecilia, but he actually ended up canceling X-Boy's combo with the Reign of the Vampire Queen, which completely caught him off guard and put him in a situation where in the middle of the ultimate animation for the Bianca, Reign of the Vampire Queen is quite long. He is directly in front of a Heart and a Bernice. Of all things, in the middle of the Heart's overdrive and Bernice just auto-attacking with all shots of the buckshots. That hurts, especially that late into the game with you not being in the coffin. So a great call from team, I think it was Team Seongnam Rocks. And a really great pull from Cecilia, from Satan to make sure that the full combo of Bianca was neutralized and shut down.
Yeah, and look at the scoreboard here now. Slasher in first place with that game, 42 points. Unchained in second with 40.5. Auto Arms in third, tied with Always Incheon with 37 points. And yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be able to get into checkpoint into game 5. But I mean, maybe Slasher has a 23-point game. Unchained could have a 24.5 game, but these 20-point games are a little rare. I think Slasher just having that pop-off game once again.
If anything, it's probably going to be Team Unchained that has a higher chance of getting there, even despite being below Gwangju Slasher, right? We saw them having 21 points, I think it was, off of game number 1, and they didn't even win the game. So Unchained is probably the one that I have to place hedge my bets on if it is going to be a team in checkpoint after game number 4, whereas all the other ones are just playing the slow game, making sure that all of their plans are set up correctly. The map itself is in favor of them if they're the ones in the dominating position. It's not going to net you that many points, but it's the safest way to get yourself up there. So yeah, it's just the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes when you're playing the game correctly in the tournament. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And going into the next game, we're going to have, more characters being unlocked again because of the bans being rotated and more characters being banned away. So we'll have to see how these teams do adjust to the new restrictions gonna be placed on this lobby, and we'll have to see what team comps these teams will be swapping to. And if we'll see like a team like Team Auto Arms, who did unfortunately go down in like 6th place with only 5 points if they're going to swap their team comp entirely. A team like Team Unchained, I think, just had an unfortunate 8th place there. They're probably just going to be playing the same team comp. I don't think we have really seen them swap around too much.
One of the nice things about Checkpoint is the fact that we really don't know how long the series is going to go. A lot of these teams have only played 4-game series so far, because of the fact that knockout stages and group stages are just formatted that way. With finals, it goes longer than that, guaranteed almost in a lot of cases. We really haven't had a lot of times in Eternal Return after the checkpoint system has been introduced where the series ended after 4. Very rare occasions for good reason, which means we're going to have a few breaks for this entire tournament, or at least for the series alone, gives times for teams to really reevaluate and multiple chances to do it. So even for a team like Busan Vespa, who has been struggling a little bit in the points department, despite it looking like they've been looking pretty well in the gameplay aspect, they'll have time to discuss, they'll have time to re-strategize. We can potentially see Busan Vespa also climbing themselves out of that 8th place spot, because especially with the pattern that we've seen in the past couple of checkpoint formats you and I have watched, we usually go to 6 to 7 teams in Korea in checkpoint. If it's Busan Vespa in 8th place, there's a good chance we might have 8.
That is true, and I actually didn't ask you yet, but I mean, I know we're already 4 games in, or this is gonna be our 4th game. But how many games do you think we're gonna be having for today? What do you think we're gonna be stopping at here?
I think I have to agree with you with the number that you gave earlier in the cast. 7 games is what it's looking like today, because we're not going to enter with any teams early into checkpoint, but we're going to start entering into games maybe 5, 6 with at least 2, 3 teams entering at the same time. With the pattern of, again, previous CRMs, statistics don't lie to a certain degree. We should have about 7 games going in today with the pattern and the pacing of these lobbies so far. But of course, that's still up in the air. We'll have to see how that goes, as we're going to see the character select continuing for game number 4. A couple of character picks coming back into the fray again. There's the Nadine, there's the Priya coming back for game number 4. Anything else of note that's going to get banned out? I do see... Yeah, I do also see a Haze about to get banned out this game as well. Fancy, Zerojin, and Honser, so that's another ban going in. Do we have a third to keep up that pattern? 2 Bernices.
It's only Mai and Haze, actually.
Priya not going to get banned out either, huh? Okay.
Yeah, only Mai and Haze. Priya, Nadine, both not getting banned out here. As, yeah, very... I'm actually surprised. Yeah, it's only going to be, I mean, the Mai is going to be banned for 2 games, right? Again, it's always one... Wait, is Mai banned for 2 games? Yeah, 4 Mai's. So it's always that one character that's being banned out for 2 games, and then, you know, 1 or 2 characters being banned out for just the 1 game. So Mai going to be on the table for game 7, which is, I think, going to be the main game that these teams have to worry about, because there's going to be a lot of teams that do end up getting into that checkpoint breakpoint on game 7, because going into game 5, we're probably not going to have too many teams on checkpoint, or probably even no teams on checkpoint. Going to game 6, we'll have maybe 2 or 3, and then game 7, I think, is going to be that breaking point where most of the teams are going to be there.
Yes, sir. All right, well, let's take a look at how this game goes. Game number 4 is loaded in now, with a lot of teams changing things up significantly, right? Especially, I think the biggest thing that I'm looking at right now is actually Busan Vespa. We're playing a team composition with triple DPS that doesn't have a safety net whatsoever, because we see a Bernice, an Aya, and a Haze. Yes, you can make the argument that something like the Bernice Explosive Bola, as well as the Blink Cartridge coming through from the Aya, are safety nets for this kind of composition.
Yeah.
But you know, with these players, they're going to use that as an offensive tool. So it's a bit of a turnaround in comparison to what you and I are usually familiar with, where you either have something like a Priya, a Heart, or even like a Henry to create that spacing whenever these triple DPS compositions are in danger. But they don't have any of that for this game.
Yeah, that is, they're just going all in here, I think, for the side team Busan Vespa. Just playing their comfort picks as well, so hopefully, you know, it's going to be able to work out for them. And I want to talk about the team comp that Sangam Rocks is playing. You know, San back on the Hyejin. We haven't seen him pulling out this character for a while. And Curry on Laura? That is kind of surprising to see.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, Laura's one of those characters that you know, isn't really picked up much either anymore after, you know, her whole rework. But you know, she's still a solid character who's able to, you know, find these picks. Good fighter who's able to find, you know, angles onto the backline, especially with the Twilight Heist. But yeah, looks like they're gonna be able to get a nice pick here. Just the 2 of them, San and Curry, able to get a lot of value. But Gun on this William is able to dish out so much damage back in with these fireballs, but there's no more chase for the side of Team Lasher there, as the Speed Gates are going to be able to get the members of Team Sangam Rocks out, and another kill going to actually the side Team Sangam Rocks as Hyungi is able to find one.
Yep, more fights on the south side as Senafine in a little bit of danger. Fancy, same thing as well, but this is the problem with running triple DPS. You don't have that much of a safety net. The only problem is, for Team Always Inchan, it's just a Mai. She doesn't have that much damage just yet. Fancy will stay alive. It's going to be an extra kill going in favor of Team Shadow Golden Light, who's going to be sitting on 2 by the start of night number 1. Senafine just trying to walk in and try to steal the mutant chick, as I don't think they got it, and giving another kill over towards Shadow Golden Light.
Yeah, Shadow Golden Light able to play, you know, their comfort team. It's not just a sellout, but it is going to be that Haze instead, which is a pretty decent substitute, I would say. So Shadow Golden Light able to pick up a couple more kills. There's a totem, and the kill is just going to be going to the side of Team Autoworms. Autoworms going to be back on the bread and butter here with the Rio Celine. This time going to be paired with the Mai.
Okay, well, Romantic also in a little bit of trouble himself as well. It's a pick for Furze, but Sons are joining on, trying to find a little bit of revenge for his teammate. Can Furze turn around though? These grenade launchers are hurting quite a little bit. Rocket launchers also hurting quite a little bit too. Everything goes wide as Furze gets out scot-free. Murder, he gets away with murder.
Yeah, just dodging out. I think the little grenade is going a little too far and not connecting onto Furze, so yeah, just gonna be able to walk themselves on out of there. Busan Vespa gonna be teleporting on in for this meteorite down here in police station. Uh-oh, looks like Gun's gonna get caught by the side of Team Always Inchan. I don't think this William has any mobility to get themselves out. Is able to dash themselves around and try getting some damage back in, but it's not gonna be enough, as Zilda obviously is going to be the last member alive to force to run away. Autoworms is going to be able to get another kill. This time, it's going to be Curry. The ultimate is going to go a little wide there, but it's going to make sure that Hyungi is going to be forced to walk themselves back into the members of Team Autoworms. And I think that is going to be Team Autoworms. Should be able to grab this kill here. Buckshots are going to be able to get a lot of damage onto his mind, but a great exclusive able to keep Cinema alive at just the last second there. And this is a great start for the side of Team Autoworms. 3 kills, or 3 points already. Good fear coming off from Saturn, good combo, but Fable's going to be there. Electric shift forward, and I think that is going to be Saturn going down.
Oh, yeah,
they have to just get this kill here. Oh, that kill goes to Autoworms. That's a full point as well. And I think because of the way they positioned for that, they just had to commit to that point, because there's another team that just stole the tree right under the nose. It's going to be Youngju Slasher going to be able to grab that on that William.
I think that is probably by far the longest range I've ever seen a Hanare actually land on a Rio, because that was like the most max range you could ever see on that skill to slow down the Hedgen. Really well done. Curry in a little bit of trouble, using the side steps to get on out of there, but Cinema's on the backside of the snipe down with this.
Oh, they're actually not chasing that.
Oh, I thought that Spirit Arrow was actually going to call it quits for Curry to try running away. But
I thought Autoworms would have been able to secure that with that Spirit Arrow connect, but I guess not here. And Unchained going to be able to find 1. Going to be 2 kills here. Mia San is going to be. Oh, I mean, they are on that Hyejin. Hyejin, one a very, very slippery character, especially having those fears. Can't really chase into that there. And Busan Best will be able to get 1 from the side of Team Slasher. So a lot of points going to be exchanged around here, but you know, relatively speaking, it's definitely a lot more quiet than, you know, some of our games we had this weekend.
It is a lot of picks though, right? This is something that also has developed pretty much throughout the entire course of knockout stages, where the amount of split farmers has increased over the course of this entire tournament. I could have sworn that during knockout stages 1 and 2, a lot of teams were actually grouped up by the start of maybe day number 2, but the further and further we go on, ever since we started watching, I think it was Team Go Back Fish Roast actually, with Im Yohan, Umu, as well as Sakin, they just perma-split farm. We know that much with that roster, but ever since that team disappeared, we just had more split farmers. So I guess in spirit, we're keeping Go Back Fish Roast in these lobbies? With a question mark?
Yeah. I don't know about that. You know, they don't have that Speedy Eva on their team. So.
And they don't have the Yoha just split farming every single mutant camps in existence.
Yeah. I think there's a big difference between, you know, their team and, you know, the teams we're seeing here, but Team Autoworms looks like they're going to be setting up for this alpha down here in Cemetery. There's going to be that rain of arrows. It's going to be used to try to zone off the members of Team Yogi in it, but it looks like they do want to take this team fight here. Autoworms in a pretty good position to just pull it down to their side here, as they are going to be able to drag it first with that.
Oh, there we go.
There's going to be a third party here. Looks like Team Shadow Golden Lights. They're going to try looking for something, but that's just going to give the green light to Team Autoworms. Going to be able to get that completely, basically uncontested there. Ultimate is going to be there for the side of Team Youngju Slashers, Blast going to be the last member alive, going to be forced to get themselves on out. And I think they can just escape here as they are on that Tazia. Going to be able to dash away from this Mai.
Great call from Kyungkwae to just completely sacrifice himself, right? Otherwise, Blaster probably would have had to still deal with Sardabi. This was a nice call. Pretty classic, but nice to see it actually happen a lot of times in practice. Because we know teams mess that up every now and then, and it just gives their teammate who's trying to run away even less of distance to run away in that situation. Great call from Always Inchen. Will still keep their lives intact, but does end up losing too. Blaster still finds a lot of value inside of Forest, though, as the animals are alive inside of the zone. Just a little bit of less math pressure, but you'll take what you can get in a situation like that.
Yeah, 100%. We are just going to go down to our day 3 cycle very, very shortly here. You can see the objectives spawning or being shown on where they're spawning around the map. There's going to be a meteor up there in alley that's going to be reopening. Very quiet game as these teams are just slowly starting to just get their farm, get some items going, get these credits, and yeah, we're gonna jump into our day 3 don't respawn cycle very shortly here, or having to pay those pesky 200 credits as yeah, if you eat those early, you're gonna send you're basically gonna get sent pretty far behind in the
yeah, especially with day 3 about to start too. You don't want to have to deal with falling behind, because it's gonna start accumulating even more and more starting from this point, right? 15 seconds to go. We're about to have Team Matage in the chat, folks. Fable in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get caught up pretty early. Sardabi, no taunt coming out from him. Gun will activate the signature fireball. Look at him just dashing around all over the place, but the problem is there's a third party on the south side. X-Boy is already dead. Down goes Sardabi as well. They both die to the timer. No. For one circle, at the very least. So Tejan Autoarms, for some reason, is the one to lose out on that entire exchange. Whereas Talasi...
That's unfortunate.
What is oh my god, Talasi actually just stuck it. The Lenny ends up picking up the Tree of Life. The fight's going to begin between Unchained as well as Team Kyunggi and 8. A lot of damage. There's a Twins Rush.
A huge spring trap.
The spring trap again. Gino on the backside. He's got nowhere to go. Unchained, man.
Always
every single one of these players.
Always on the ADC. Like, somehow Talasi always hits it, and they just immediately follow up a huge engage coming out from the side of Team Unchained. Spring trap into the Twins Rush. We see it time and time again. And
Daytime.
Running straight. Yeah, they're going to run straight to the hands of Auto Arms. They're feeding them a kill and wiping, but it looks like they recognize they're going to just drop a kill for themselves, get the res safely, but yeah, minus 40 gadget energy for them. A little unfortunate. And a minus 400 this early on in the game is definitely not where you want to be. Looks like Unchained looking for the side of the team. Slasher, they're just in a really rough position here. They're trying to look for a gun, but third party's gonna be here. Oh no, the members of Team Unchained are a little too far forward here. I think they might just get wiped. The members of Slasher are gonna go down. Oh, there's the Twilight Heist. Able to land on 2 members. Last member alive, trying to get themselves on out. And no, Unchained in 8th place once again. They had such a great start, but the games just aren't going their way in game 3 and 4, and only 6.5 points. I mean, that is definitely a lot more than the previous game, but not going to be getting into that checkpoint just yet.
Guess what happened? They fought under the camera, which who had control of it? Busan Vespa. It is probably by far the... Oh, sorry, not Busan Vespa, but Seongnam Rocks. Probably by far one of the easiest third parties in the world for Seongnam Rocks there. Just really unfortunate for Team Unchained, because if that third party happened maybe 2 seconds earlier, Debbie and Marlene wouldn't be that far into the fight. Kenneth wouldn't be that far into the fight, and I think the Lenny also hopped in right before Seongnam Rocks showed themselves with the third party too. So a lot of the mobility that Unchained has, a lot of their survivability tools were gone by the point the third party came in. Just really bad timing for that team. That's been the story of this entire phase though. So Unchained just kind of eating the brunt of it in game number 4.
Yeah, looks like Slasher going to look for an angle onto the side. Team Auto Arms here, great push away from the side. Team Auto Arms here, the Vampire Queen though is going to be able to connect onto one circle. Fable able to get so much damage on this Rio though. It should be able to just get this. Bianca's Gonka's a little too far forward there. Fable going to look for an angle back in. Sardabi actually trying to jump in and try to kill this Rio, but it's not going to be enough. Oh no, that's a disaster for his Team Slasher there, as they're going to lose out on 2 members. One circle Team Auto Arms, I mean, just playing the front to back so well, able to kite back, dodge away on a lot of that damage. It's very nicely played, picking up 2 kills, and they're sitting in a pretty good spot now. Despite them minusing 400 that early on, they're able to get some credits back, able to get some items, and they're kind of back into this game.
It's a really good call, by the way, from Fable. Really strong mental fortitude to actually push yourself in towards the enemy in Mai, while your health bar is that low. Because if you walked further away from her, then you probably would have completely isolated yourself in forest with no way for your team to get the trade back. So really good call from Fable there. It does even end up allowing them to live, so no kill traded on the other side. 2 for 0 in favor of Team Daejeon Auto Arms on that south side, as the rest of the map still continues to move on. Seongnam Rocks slowly moving their way down towards the south side of Temple, where Gyeonggi Innate is waiting for the time being. I don't think console has been taken by Gyeonggi Innate, but Seongnam Rocks is not there to punish just yet. Control will go over towards Gyeonggi Innate.
Yeah, Black Flame Dragon gonna be given to that mine just because, you know, both Gyeonggi Innate, Juno and Zerojin having a chest piece already built, so it's gonna be pretty nice for this mod. Gonna be relatively tanky now despite all of them only having one item. There's gonna be the meteorites gonna be showing up there in Pond. Bori, it was able to be taken. Oh, I don't think any of these players have timer to actually take the meteor, so unfortunately it's gonna have to tank some red and jump over into Cemetery there. Looks like team, I think team, which team is this? Looks like the strongest right now. It looks like it is Team Seongnam Rocks. They look really accelerated in the team. You can see their items. Same with Team Shadow Golden Light, who just got a blood sample on their haze. These teams have quite a bit of items, and because, you know, the rest of the lobby ate a lot of minuses on their credits because they had to res, they're pretty well. They're in a pretty good position to, you know, sort of close out this game.
One of the reasons why triple DPS is considered so high value for a lot of these teams, because in comparison to the standard one frontline that's usually tank and 2 backline damage dealers, you're gonna have 3 people who are able to threaten and actually kill camps or animals instead of just 2 with 1 maybe being able to do so every few seconds. So this is really good timing for a lot of these teams. Busan Vespa though looking for damage output over on the Xenophene, who already ate so much damage. Explosive bullet will go wide. Is this going to be the call out for Always Incheon? Yes, they will, but that's a lot of damage over towards Hyunkyo on the backside, and that's not good. Blake cartridge in, but the Bernice gets traded out. Blaster still alive. He's got the shields. He's got the resets. Unfortunately, Shotgun is going to land straight over on the Blaster. They had good damage output from Seonsar. Dodges out on the SMG burst, but these red sprites are hurting so much. Straight into the steady shot. Down goes Blaster. 2 for 1 in favor of Team Busan Vespa. They are keeping their lives intact, but this is the worst timing ever. The worst timing ever. Seonsar caught out in the corner. That's just not that great, is it? Seonsar goes down in the end. Overall, it's a 2 for 2 down on the south side of the map. One of the kill goes in favor of Team Daejeon Auto Arms.
Oh, what? Wait a second. Flasher. At least they were able. Oh no, they just actually enter a rift by themselves there. I think they actually were able to res 1, so it's not too bad. Looks like Shadow Gold. Oh no, G-Work getting caught by the members of Always Incheon, the team they just killed. And they're gonna wipe here in 7th place. Busan Vespa just not having a good day today. They're in that 8th place position, not only getting 5 points in this game as well. They're just, yeah, it's just not looking too good for the side of Team Busan Vespa. Team Auto Arms though, that's kind of what they needed. They're trying to buy their blood here. Wait, one circle already sitting on those blood shoes as well, so gonna be able to get another blood sample here. Gonna be in a pretty good spot for themselves. Looks like Always Incheon do want to take this team fight though. The blood sample is not yet made for one circle. The chaser is still needing to be crafted, so I think Auto Arms is opting not to take this team fight here. Just all just running away. Yeah, they need to craft this blood, right? So they can't fight. They can't take a team fight without or with a blood in one circle's inventory. So they're gonna craft it, and then maybe they're gonna look for this team fight now. I think, yeah, they're gonna walk back down because one circle is definitely a lot stronger. And I think they're in a pretty good spot here.
You also have to remember that the positioning of Always Incheon is slightly bad because they're the ones that have to push out of beach. It's going to close in about 25 seconds. So it's really advantageous for Daejeon Auto Arms to be in this position despite eating about 5 to 10 seconds of timer, walking from beach into hotel, out into forest. Always Incheon, now it's on your turn to be the ones that force the issue. One circle takes a bit of damage from the Cataclysm.
Fight here because
the damage output.
Yeah, you can see the position of Team Auto Arms. They were kind of trying to like fight while also trying to avoid those cams.
Yep.
Because the second they fight under those cams, you got Team Young Yene who can see everything here, as they're the ones on the bottom side here to have the cams. And I think that's also the reason why Team Always Incheon didn't engage, because they know that as well. They don't want to be in that third-party scenario. Teams have a really good awareness, especially at this level of play. You definitely have to be aware of all these these CCTV cameras.
This is so awkward for Kwangju Slasher. So much time being eaten by this team. That slow from ballistic advantage is just gonna hurt even more.
Is that gonna matter?
Yeah, that half a second will matter for this team, especially if they can't get these timers back. Oh, that's not good at all for those guys. But at least out of that corner for the time being, doesn't have to deal with the team sitting inside of Doc for now. There's an auto arm still positioning against Gyeonggi NA. They still have an idea that always Incheon is there too.
Yeah, it's just really awkward for the side team auto arms because they know there's another team in the zone, just right under them, so they can't really push into this team because they have to be a little careful of the team just wrapping behind them. And I think team auto arms maybe just opting to try to take the team fight early, but no, I don't think they can. They have to just back themselves on out. Maybe just take the VLS, but no, they're actually maybe looking to take this team fight. I don't know, maybe they don't know that Always Incheon is still just sitting in that corner on the top side there.
Should.
Because, yeah, they should definitely know. I think, yeah, it looks like they're just taking the VLS. They were trying to maybe zone away and try to push this team to get some space so they could move forward, but yeah, just thinking and opting to just take the VLS now. Looks like they're okay. They're gonna VLS into red here, but Sagna Rock's gonna be here to maybe intercept. I mean, auto arms is still pretty strong. You know, Fable sitting on that. I think that blood chest piece in one circle sitting on 2 bloods as well here. Cinema getting chunked a little low, but should be okay here. Good poke onto San.
The trap landed, maybe they would have gone for it. I don't know. Explosive Bola still in the arms of Hyungi. A lot of great poke coming from both Satan as well as Hyungi as well. This is going to be a little bit annoying for Daejeon Auto Arms. Even though they have a Celine, they're the ones losing space. And now Curry is threatening on the backside. Great telephoto Kayama placed on the bottom side to cover for this. But they're getting cornered at this point. It's going to be a send from Cinema over on towards the backside, but the initiation goes completely wide. Spirit Arrow completely whiffs. Good damage output from Hyungi. It's going to land. Explosive Bola straight over towards one circle. There's the exclusive invested, but Cinema goes down immediately. One circle on the backside. Can he get a kill over onto Satan? No, he cannot. Fable in trouble. I think it's going to be Sangdam Rocks to have it. Yes, they do. It terminates over onto Daejeon Auto Arms as a team silently sitting inside a dock. Sangdam Rocks is able to corner and execute their plans onto Daejeon Auto Arms.
In 6th place, I mean, they get 11 points, which is not bad, but yeah, a huge find from Sangdam Rocks there, just able to land that Bola. The Bola, as soon as the Bola connected, great follow-up there to just deny one circle, just any damage. And here comes Engage, though, coming out from Slasher. Looks like Sangdam Rocks are oh no, the fears are connecting on all 3 members, and wait a second,
great trade.
He's able to get one, but yeah, it was able to trade before going down. Sangdam Rocks able to get yet another 3 kills and another great terminate for the side team Sangdam Rocks, and it's one of those teams that's on the bottom 4 bottom 4 side, and they're going to be able to get a lot of value here. Always running straight to the hands of the side of Team Gyeonggi NA, but
these rockets.
Sangdam Rocks are here for the third party. They're able to get everything here. There's seconds of the third is going to be used, and all members of Team Always Incheon are going to go down. Kills being exchanged, but from both Gyeonggi NA and the side of Team Sangdam Rocks. Each team getting a couple apiece. Now Sangdam Rocks is going to have to fight Gyeonggi NA here, and Gyeonggi NA didn't really invest too much into that, so they're still in a pretty good spot here. Comes to engage from being 9, San going to be able to jump themselves away. It looks like fight is San gonna look for an angle here.
They have nowhere to run.
Oh, Team Gyeonggi NA, they're playing the front to back, and they don't really have anywhere to go. They are going to be able to trade 1 for 1 though, but the ultimate from this Nadine is going to be invested. The res is going to go through here. Side going to try the space, going to try to get some damage here. Curry is going to look for the 1v1 onto this this mine. They're going to be able to get so much damage onto this tank here, and I think they're just going to go down. Wait a second, Ignite. Oh, get double con. It's going to be enough, but Side denying the Nadine from auto attacking is going to get feared away, and Sangdam Rocks coming out. San on the Hyejin. Back on the Hyejin, able to get such a huge game so far. 22 points. Are they going to be able to make it a 28-point banger?
The classic for Satan, man. He makes this character look easy. I don't understand how he does it every single time. By the way, this is also a Rose Step Hyejin that didn't even make use of his ultimate for that long of the fight either, right? Rose Step is mainly there as the armor penetration you get from the ultimate activation is the main damage dealer for this character, but he didn't even need the armor penetration from it. He just landed everything that was crucial to deny the backliner from dealing damage. This is Satan's Hyejin. I love to see it back. The question is, though, can they overwhelm Team Shadow Golden Light? It's a triple DPS composition again. Really great angle from Sutton to threaten that multi-pronged attack. But for Curry and Hyungi, it's thin corridors for these players up against something like a Haze, a Priya, as well as a Nadine. It's going to be a pretty rough ride for these guys. All comes down to Sutton on how he's going to be able to angle his attack. Chronosphere is not going to help this team whatsoever, and I don't know if the range of this Chronosphere actually stays inside of the chapel. Besides, it's a pretty good bokeh over onto Youngman. Nothing crucial though, nothing significant just yet.
The problem is that triple backline team. I like Sagnum Rocks saying in this little. Oh no, they just used double safety orb there, so that's gonna be that's kind of bad. But the safety orb is gonna go into the hands of Team Sagnum Rocks, and this is pretty good because Sad can maybe look for an eye angle here. Curry looking for an off angle, maybe gonna be able to jump over this wall.
Let's do it.
Oh, here he comes. He's gonna try looking for something here. Fancy is gonna get caught. There is gonna be used, and Curry's gonna take so much punishment here. Sad probably gonna go down and trying to get some damage back. Fear's gonna be able to connect. Sad is able to get 2, but is just gonna jump straight into the range of the Nadine to just get the auto attack down, and they're gonna go down as Shadow Golden Light winning out that game. Not that many points though, only 14.5. Looks like Team Sagnum Rocks able to outscore them by I think almost 10 points there. I think Sagnum Rocks having, it was either 22 or 24 points. A huge game for them.
It's another game where no teams remain dominant in the lobby. Great fight from Teams on the Rocks, but unfortunately it's not enough for Curry because I think the slide step came out half a second too late from the Laura across the wall. It would have been really great to catch out the Haze on the other side, but unfortunately she stepped away from that wall Laura was trying to jump over, and because you have the range limitation on where you can actually land jumping over from that chapel wall, it's a thick wall there. By the way, the fact that Laura can even jump in the first place is massive to begin with, but because you're so close to that wall, your range of initiation is super short. Hayes sees the Laura coming, easy reaction towards that. I think it was more of a miracle that they managed to pull out 2 people traded out in that fight to begin with, because the reaction from from Sagnum Rocks was just that great.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was just so well played from both sides, but I think Shadow Golden Light, again, having that Priya, right? The Priya, I think, is what seals the deal, because when you're playing a dive team like Sagnum Rocks, the Priya will just split away, CC any opportunity you have, like the Laura trying to go in, just getting caught by it. It's just a little hard to kind of play through. So Shadow Golden Light coming out on top there with 14.5 points. We'll have to see how that kind of shakes up the scoreboard, because once again, these teams on the top end of the scoreboard are getting knocked down early. So I think every team here is going to be relatively close at about 40 to 50 points. I think we might have... I don't think we might actually not have any teams going into checkpoint to game 6.
Yeah.
But after game 6, there's going to be quite a bit of these teams, I think, slowly starting to get in.
If we don't have a single team going into checkpoint by the end of game number 5, we can genuinely have a situation where 4 to 5 teams can be in checkpoint after game 6. This is going to be a rough ride for the next couple of games. Is there going to be a team that can dominate for just one game? Right? At this point, you just need one game to dominate, to have that one game of safety net where you will be in checkpoint over a lot of the other teams remaining in this lobby. If you can get that, it's a big advantage going over towards you. And not even just that, just the point differential that you get, right? Because even if you might not win the tournament, point differentials still make a difference when it comes to circuit points. A lot of things are going to matter, but look at that middle of the pack. Gwangju Slasher, Daejeon Auto Arms, Unchained, and Always Incheon split by 3.5 points between all 4 of those teams, while Sagnum Rocks is just barely holding on to a thread by 5.5 to Gwangju Slasher.
Yeah, I mean, they got such a banger game, jumping all the way to first place there. Only going to need 11.5 points to get themselves into checkpoint, which is pretty doable, right? That's not too many points that they need. Slasher, Auto Arms going to need 17. Unchained going to need 18. Always Incheon are going to need 20.5. So these are the other 4 teams. Going to have to probably win out the lobby here. Sagnum Rocks just have to play consistent. Game number 5 to get themselves in that checkpoint breakpoint. I really hope Team Auto Arms, I really hope they don't get into that 62 curse, 62, 63, 64. It looks like it's gonna happen. They could have just a 15-point game, and then like the -3 is gonna matter.
That would be really annoying for Team Digital Orange, but we won't know if that's actually going to happen until Games 5 and 6 are going to begin. Game 6 is confirmed for us, guaranteed, as there is still no checkpoint team in the game just yet, or the series, I should say, just yet. Guys, we're going to go on a break just to catch yourselves a little bit of a breather, so make sure you guys go grab some water, go grab a snack, and go take a stretch. We'll see you guys back here for Games 5 and 6, confirmed and guaranteed for the finals of Phase number 2.
Take care.
You're ready to get in the game now. The last thing you want is to wait. WD Black, performance storage, purpose-built for gaming. SSD speed that obliterates load times. Performance to transform your game. Expanded capacity to store more. Customizable RGB. WD Black. Because the game never waits. WD Black. Drive your game.
이제 진지하게 가보도록 하지. 온 힘을 다해 덤비도록. 탐색전은 이쯤 해둘까? 뻔한 기술은 안 통해. 카이키스크, 훌륭한 사였지. 올곧은 정의와 신념, 그리고 그것을 관찰할 신념. 다른 차원의 인물이 아니었다면 스카우트하고 싶을 정도야. 그 녀석이 좀 본받으면 좋을 텐데. 신뢰란 게 뭔지 보여주도록 하지.
저도 엘페르트 씨처럼 자신 있게 해볼게요. 오늘 너무 좋은데요? 친구들한테 홍보해주세요. 의욕 맥스! 라이브 준비는 중요해요. 왠지 평소보다 더 잘 쏴지는 기분이에요. 앵콜 요청도 문제 없겠어요. 자, 많이 기다리셨죠? 또 M1대로 가는 거 아니겠지? 여긴 원래 세계인 것 같네. 뭔가 좀 다른 것 같은데. 평행 세계니 뭐니? 지금 마시고 취하는 게 중요한 거 아니겠어? 컨디션 최고라고. 어때? 너도 취했지? 조금 더 길게 갈게. 그리고 나도 한국 모바 볼까? 여기 대빵이 누구야? 너냐? 이제부터 여긴 우리 구역이라고! 감히 누굴 건드렸는지 깨닫게 해주지. 내 앞을 막는 건 다 쳐부숴버리겠어. 얘들아 가자! 날 뛸 시간이야! 너나 쳐먹어라! 부숴주겠어! 참냐? 꺼져! 간다! 받은 만큼 갚아주지! 귀찮아 죽겠네. 누구한테 시비 타는지 알고 있겠지? 싸움은 피하지 않는 게 내 신조라고. 여기 모여라, 자식들아! 너 머리가 좀 높다? 내가 좀 짜부라뜨려줄까? 대가리 조심하라고! 천도는 만악을 좌시하지 않.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. Hope you guys had a good one. It's time for the next two games of the finals of Eternal Return Masters Season 9 Phase number 2. We've had a pretty interesting set of games so far. The first four have been pretty good, I would have to say. Pretty textbook Eternal Return coming out from a lot of our teams so far. But there have definitely been a couple that have been halted in their tracks. The scoreboard is way too close for us to call it, where one team has been dominating so far. So super, very excited to see what's going to be coming up. Let's take a look at the character selection for game number 5.
Yeah, we do have the hearts being back on the table, and with the Kadia as well. So I think that's probably what we're going to be seeing from a lot of these teams. Going to be swapping over to that triple range team comp. Both Shadow Golden Lights, Magnum Rocks, and Auto Arms are all going to be locking in. It looks like Kadia Hearts probably going to be rounded out with the one that's not picked yet. I think Shadow Golden Light probably going to be playing that Heart. Auto Arms going to be playing that Lucina, and then Magnum Rocks most likely picking that Kadia. And yeah, we do have Heart being picked by, oh no, Shadow Golden Light going to be, forgot the young man's in there, so it's going to be a Tia, but Busan Bespel also going to be playing that triple back line with that Heart. So Heart's going to be banned once again. Kadia going to be banned once again. Wait, Heart going to be picked 4 times as always. Incheon going to be picking that as well from Luminol. Luminol coming back in.
We've had every single game so far where a character has been banned for 2 games. No failure. That has just been the story of the entire series today. It's gonna once again throw a wrench in the plans of a lot of these teams. You're gonna have Satan not being able to play the hard, Romantic not being able to play the hard, Fable same thing, Luminal the same thing. It is all over the place. This series is already bringing in a lot of stories on what this entire season has brought to the table when it comes to these triple DPS compositions. The mainstays on what these compositions need are very much focused when it comes to these bans. We're seeing it over and over and over again. You're right though, we do have Luminal coming in. Not the character that I really wanted to see him on, but it is kind of what you need to stay alive with a triple DPS composition like this alongside the Charlotte. So there's a lot of sustain, a lot of sustainability on the side of Team Always Incheon. Very deceptive though, right? Because a lot of them are a bit artificial when it comes to your sustainability. It still is going to work. Let's load into game number 5 to see how this is going to go, as school is going to be the starting point of our observers. A couple of people starting out in the gymnasium spawn. Blaster and Sardabi will be against each other for the items.
Yeah, and remember, no team's going to be on checkpoint just yet, but when these teams do end up getting there, they will just have to win that one game to close out the series here. So still, we don't really know how many games are going to be happening for today. Could be 6, could be 7, could be 8. I think 7 and 8 is most likely. I mean, we're guaranteed a game 6 for sure. But I think game 6 is only going to be, at the most, 2 teams going to be in that checkpoint breakpoint.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a possibility it could be more. We've seen quite a lot of points going to a lot of these teams. I know you were talking about the numbers. 17 points for Team Gwangju Slasher and Daejeon Auto Arms. 18 for Team Unchained to make themselves a spot in the checkpoint as well. It's possible.
Yeah,
I think it's possible.
Could be 3. Yeah. It could be 3. Sagnam Rocks can just have like a decent game, and then 2 teams could have, or one team could have a pop-off game, and one team could just win the game. So, yeah, it could be 3 teams, but it's most likely going to be 2 or only 1 team, I think, that is going to get them. We'll have to see, right? Because sometimes there's a lot of kills to go around here. It looks like Slasher is going to get caught here. Gone, trying to jump around here. Able to dash around, blink away. Oh, no. Smoke screen also going a little wide there, but that doesn't really matter. And the way they wanted us to do it just ended up falling. San is going to try to get some damage onto the slope.
Oh,
but
the
tank
speed game
is just so good into these ADCs early on, and they're just going to grab a kill. Sidmon going to try looking for the kill onto Romantic. Oh, no! Not able to find it. Unfortunately, the camera being placed at a really awkward position, not giving him the vision to actually auto-attack the Haze there, and the Haze is just sitting behind that little wall.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit awkward for Curry. We are going to see the figure 8 coming out to try to keep Ing9 alive. He does stay alive, but the third member coming in, Zero Jin, will get taken down. He doesn't have the figure 8 this time around. Down goes Ing9. 2 of the bruisers taken down for Gyeonggi Innate. Alongside the Arda, by the way. We have 2 Ardas in this lobby, but with 2 completely different compositions to support it. One with the double frontliners and 2 of the backliners.
I didn't realize Gyeonggi is playing that double bruiser kind of dive team comp here with the Arda. We'll have to see if they can utilize it with the Piolo on top as well. So very excited to see this pick. Gun jumping in on Curry. I don't think Curry can get away here. The auto attacks. You're just going to get out DPS by the William with those fastballs. On the other side, X-Boy versus Gyeonggi here. And great find. Great second javelin coming out from X-Boy. Flasher able to pick up nice 2 kills here, sitting on 1.5 points already, and Slasher is one of those teams that's pretty high up there, right? In second place with 48 points. So just need to have a 17-point game to make sure they can get to that checkpoint breakpoint. And Auto Arms Fable should be able to get this. Oh, wait a second, the ultimate is able to stall in time. The sniper skills are coming out from G-Work, not able to connect, and Romantic getting the 1-up on Fable. I think, you know, knowing the limits on this heart a little better than Fable does.
Also, the additional attack speed that you get from some of your skills. I think Overdrive was utilized by Auto Arms' Fable a little bit earlier, whereas Pusan Vespa, he used it a little bit later in towards that fight. You have that extra duration, a bit of the burst, the additional attack speed, as well as the attack power. Pretty good. Whereas Gun, he's dead to rights. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to save yourself against that. Although Hyung, you might get traded out. Arda is pretty good at keeping himself alive. He's got his passive to heal back up if needed. X-Boy, not really interested in looking for the fight anymore. Same thing for Zardabi. He just entertains a clean sweep, but misses it and just leaves.
Yeah, not really able to find anything here. Team Auto Arms, though, looks like they're going to be able to find out Team Gyeonggi Innate. Ooh, explosion shot, just not going to connect, as the members of Gyeonggi Innate are going to be able to take that Nimrod's Gate to get themselves to safety. But Youngane, it looks like they want to play for this tree contest here. They are playing this art. If they can find a good Nimrod's Gate in, they're just going to full send it here. And Cinema is going to probably take the brunt of that. But a great kite back coming out from Auto Arms there. And I think that's going to be a nice 2 kills going to the side of Team Auto Arms. Looks like they were able to trade 1, so not too bad for the side of Team Youngane there, because it is going to be a full point going into each of those teams.
Another fight, this time over the Tree of Life inside of the hotel, I apologize. Blaster did get knocked up into the air, but this is pretty early for something like a Kenneth to have enough damage up against the Tazia. Down goes the Kenneth. Osu not going to be able to support that either. Asati going to join on to the fray, but he's a bit late to the party. Janoa trying to keep himself alive, but the full swing is there. Sardabi trying to do what he can. Can you find the kill over onto the Henry? Absolutely not, as Blink Cartridge also invested. But the trade will still come through as X-Boy shows up out of nowhere. G-Work trying to find the kill against X-Boy, an item picked up. Can X-Boy just get out? Yes, he can.
Oh wow, I thought G-Work was in chase. I thought G-Work saw the item. Is like, I definitely want this here, but yeah, X-Boy gonna get out with the item as well from that Wolf, and you're gonna be sitting in a pretty good spot. Looks like Sam Rock's gonna be on the back foot now. Curry, the last member alive. Just have to rat it out here. A lot of points being exchanged, so like you said, there could be 3 teams that go into that checkpoint breakpoint here, as a lot of points being given out to each of these teams to get themselves into that spot.
G-Work still moving around too. A lot of these teams are just kind of on the hovering stages of the force cores. I'm already seeing many of them being bought by a majority of these teams. Some of them Rocks also needs to find themselves a bit of a safety net to buy those force cores. The only problem is, sitting inside of Hospital at the moment, the other team in the zone is going to be Unchained. That's a bit of a rough team to fight up against, whereas this guy just gets destroyed. Romantic doesn't even stand a chance. Ghostlight activated over onto Ing9, but of course, with that health bar, he's not going to be in any danger.
Again, picking up yet another kill. Lumi going to be started by the team there in Beach. Busan Bestman now in a little rough spot here. Just another team coming from the bottom side. And oh, wait, no, looks like Team Sagnam Rocks. Uh-oh, they're going to run straight to the hands of Team Busan Bestman here. G-Work's going to be, oh, they have to respawn here. Can Romantic get themselves up? Yes, they do. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be safe here, but
another third party.
Oh, no, another third party. Yeah, Henry going to go down. I think G-Work, it looks like might get caught here by this Kenneth, but there's going to be another team coming back in, and Unchained going to lose out on one of their members as Youngane picking up yet another kill. 5 points already. They have to be feeling pretty good about that. They are in that 7th place spot, so they need some points here to try to pull back this series for them. One circle is just going to die here, I think, to the Kadia, but the exchange... Oh no, the Enna Blitz isn't going to connect, so there's actually going to be no exchange for the side of Team Auto Arms there, and it looks like they're going to just try teleporting themselves on out.
How did that miss? I thought that was right on top of the Justinia. Well, whatever it is, it's all good and dandy. Xenophine inside of the Rift is going to try to duke it out up against Satan. He has to pop that Peacemaker pretty early. Paradiso inside, the wall is there. Preparation on that spot is perfect. Nicely done from Blaster. It's a great trade over onto the heart, and I think that's going to call it for Always In Chen. Should take the Rift on the left side. Over on the right side, though, Busan Bespa duking it out up against Kyungi in it as one is already down. Zero Jin taken down. Ing9 trying to do what he can, but he is just a lonely PLO against all the DPSs in the world. Down he goes. Arda will be able to find the trade, but I don't know if he has enough for Romantic. Yes, he does not. Down he goes. It will be Busan Bespa taking away the Dimensional Rift on their own side against Kyungi in 8.
Yeah, and Always In Chun coming out with this team comp. I think we've seen it in the... I don't know if it's the group stages or if it's the last phase, but I do remember Luminal on this this heart, because they did end up playing Luminal and Blaster together. And I think it's a pretty good team comp, right? You have the hard ult to place down, and then you have the Charlotte to just top them up the second they come on the hard ult here. Once they're unfortunately getting caught by the members of Team Always In Chun, and Always In Chun gonna be able to pick up another point. And yet another point to one of these teams that is pretty close into that checkpoint breakpoint here. Busan Bestball is able to find Curry here. Jun Harl's gonna blink forward, gonna whiff on that Q, and Curry gonna be able to get that movement speed and that backstep. They should be able to get themselves on out. A key cooldown invested from this Henry, and straight to the hands of Unchained, and yes, they will end up going down. I think Unchained wants to wait 10 full seconds before getting that kill, so yeah. Chagnam Rock's going to be on the back foot once again. They just need 11.5. They just need 11.5.
Busan Bespa on the flip side is actually doing pretty good for themselves. Right behind Team Kyungi when it comes to the total amount of points they have, this could be the chance for Busan Best, but to actually get some good results. Although Romantic being
they're
caught out by
caught.
himself like
Oh,
this,
no.
what is going on with Busan Best? But I swear, this was not intentional, right? I was giving them the good vibes, but they just didn't want the good vibes. I guess just completely split apart at the start of day 3. That's just not classic behavior for an ERM team. That just kind of soaked that on themselves. So. Unfortunate for Team Busan Best, but minus 200 over for their side. Still getting a couple items for themselves too. I just saw the blaster helmet being called for the heart. Still going to be a bit rough eating that minus 200 pretty early on.
Yeah, and they might land straight into the hands of Team Youngju Slasher here. No, the ultimate is going to come down from Romantic. I think he might have cursed them. I think they're gone. They're gone.
Okay.
Okay. What did you do, Shubi? What did you do, man? What did you do?
My contractual obligations are complete. Oh god, it hurts to watch. I'm so sorry. Busan Best Twitter account, I swear. It was not my fault. I tried giving the good vibes, but it just didn't work out. Down goes the Justinia. One circle taken down. Fable and Cinema has to completely book it. The problem is this entire zone is an absolute massacre. Oh, just barely getting out for the Kadia. Holy moly, the first proc of the dice is not a stun but a root. So really lucky for everybody on Team Daejeon Unarmed to get out of that alive. Kadia just barely making it out, but look at their credit counts. It's really, really rough. 25 seconds until we go to night number 3, but that means it's a risk for the Rifts. A lot of teams have been taking it.
In archery, but yeah, Cinnamon, I think you have to play it safe. I think they're maybe going to look to take this Rift. They do have the Kadia to use the dart to maybe check if it's free. I do like that they're sitting here, but Blaster
is so disgusting for this because he knows.
Cinnamon can just E over, I think, and just get in.
Can he? Let's see. Oh, the wall.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
That's unconnected. I think Blaster could have just one-shot him. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With the Paradiso on top of him, absolutely. Yeah. No questions.
Does anyone else go into Rift though? Oh god, Unchained. Oh, it ended. It ended. I think that means Auto Worms got the Rift for free. Yes, they did end up getting the Rift for free. That would have been a little. Wait, was that? That was the Tazi auto attack, right?
What?
Yeah, this is a random auto attack. I didn't realize that would still connect. How far is the Rift here from Lumi Island?
I think it's like very far bottom left. Like if you look on the minimap and you're inside of the Rift, your character model I think shows up towards the southwest, far from the map.
I see.
So it does belong on the map. It's just a different like entity kind of.
Looks like Unchained unfortunately losing out on their Lenny, so another minus 200 for that team. These teams are getting relatively close to checkpoint here. I think all these teams want it, but they have to be a little careful, right? If they go down here, they're not going to be able to get to that checkpoint breakpoint to have that buffer. Auto Arms a little far away. I mean, Slasher having 8 points already. They need about 11 more points. I think they need no, not 90 points, 17-point game, so just 9 more points. Oh, a huge 3-man explosion shot. They're able, I'm not actually able to get any of the members, but Blaster gonna have to use the totem. And wait a second, they're able to dash away. And what? All 3 members are gonna be able to get away here. The sniper skills. Oh my god! Oh, did a blitz! Oh my god! Just barely dashing away. That would have definitely killed the Tazia there. Barely escaping. Oh my god! Always in Chun. I'm surprised they all just made it out there. They all got comboed into the wall, but I think what happened was Shadow Golden Light just chasing too many rabbits, trying to get all those kills, but ended up getting none.
This is crazy. Always Inchin is crazy for this play. Walking back into the same zone that they just had to run away from. Shadow Golden Light knows all about this because of the camera that was placed on the entry into Hotel. The only problem is I don't know where the Kadia is playing. There we go. The Kadia is going to join in on the fray, and now the advantage I think goes in towards Team Shadow Golden Light. Nobody's grouped up on that side, whereas inside of Fire Station, Songnam Rock's in trouble as Hyungi already got taken down. 2 members actually down for that team as the Kadia also goes down as well. Shadow Golden Light and always Incheon. Are we going to see somebody pull the trigger, or is it just going to be pulling others' legs? No, nothing landing just yet, but that's a blink on from Fancy, and Blaster's trying to capitalize on this.
Yeah, so it's not looking too good for this side of Team Sangnam Rocks. They just need 11.5 points, but they're just getting sent farther and farther behind. Dude, I don't think they're going to be able to score too many points now. With the amount of items they have, it's going to be really hard for them to win out on these team fights here. Wickline is going to be spawning here very shortly, though. But yeah, I think Sangnam Rocks is going to have to play for that third-party angle to get a couple more placement points and a couple more kill points. But yeah, they're definitely in a rough spot right now. It's looking really like they're not going to be able to get into that checkpoint.
These triple DPSs struggling in the mid stages of the game actually sets up really nicely for the teams with front to back, right? So Gwangju Slasher are going to have a bit of an easier time dealing with a team like Sangnam Rock. Same thing for Gyeonggi Innate as well. Unchained also, one of our teams that's struggling a little bit. Oh, here we go though. Sardabi looking for a little bit more. Exposure shot is actually going to end up pushing Sardabi away. It's another 3-man Reign of the Vampire Queen. Cinema on the backside, trying to get away as best as he can. There is the wind drone, the gadget being activated. Can anybody from Gwangju Slasher find an additional tag over on? Yes, they can. As Cinema gets caught out by the clean sweep. Sardabi back at it again. Our Luke aficionado showing us exactly why he is a Luke aficionado.
And that's one of the downsides again, right? Of playing the triple range is a character like Bianca just has infinite damage into all three of you, and was able to split the team fight
there goes one circle too.
Played. One circle, no, Auto Arm's not going to be able to get to that checkpoint breakpoint for this game. Only going to be sitting on 52 points. Sangnam Rocks actually got the work line completely uncontested, so they're actually going to be back into it here. Always in Shun, going to look for the side team. Shadow Golden Knight is completely split away, but wait a second, Blaster completely split on that bottom side as well. A lot of damage being exchanged from this Kadia. So much being pumped here. Luminal going to be forced to use that ultimate Blaster to walk in as well. They are just able to get it, and this Xenophine, the healing coming out from the Charlotte right after the Peacemaker ends is gonna be what swings the team fight into Always in Chun's favor. And now Shadow Golden Knight, look at their credits. They don't got anything to their name here, so I think that's gonna be it. They're just gonna have to rat it off for a couple placements.
Dozy fumbled massively. Peacemaker keeps you alive from your health bar falling down, but it doesn't keep you from falling when your timer runs out. Really unfortunate. 1 second left on the heart. I thought she was gonna walk back in, but nope. Right into the red, right into the restricted area. That just goes. I think that was the Kadia that fell down just because of that. Shadow Golden Light missing out on a crucial piece of DPS towards the front, towards the back end of that fight. Will not be able to out DPS anybody remaining on the side of Team Always in Chan. Really brutal for the side. It just means that it gets easier, I guess, for the rest of the teams to deal with this. We have 6 teams remaining, but one of them being a rat going into our final few zones. Day number 5 with only 5 full teams left. It could be a bit nicer. Always in Chun. Just barely catching out some of them rocks at the end of that BLS. Furze, as well as Osu and Talasi. Can they also get through this conundrum? Look at where Gyeonggi Innate is. They have full information on Team Unchained, especially after these wars are done. Are they going to get caught out?
They're going to check. Yeah, they're going to check this bush is the question. Looks like they're probably just going to opt to avoid the cams. Yeah, just walk in the school here. Lenny is by themselves, so they have to be a little careful. Looks like there's a blood sample actually on the Lenny. There's a prominence on them here. And yeah, the side of Team Always in Chan. All these teams are so close to getting to that checkpoint breakpoint. Sangnam Rocks just needs maybe just one. Just needs a couple more kills, and they should be able to get them in themselves with some extra placement. Slasher just needs to... I think they're in the same scenario, just needs a couple more kills and a couple more placements, and then Gyeonggi Innate and Always in Chun probably have to win out this game if they want to get in.
Unchained will finally be able to see that there was a team sitting inside that bush. Unchained not going to be able to follow through as the Nimrod gate is there. Gyeonggi Innate playing pretty passive and for rightful reasons. Look at the items on the Arda as well as the Piolo. Not full transitions just yet in a lobby where we are sitting on blood transitions for a majority of our carries already. Has to be pretty scared about a situation like this. Despite the team being in 7th place, they have a decent amount of points. I believe with this we'll go into game number 6 for the time being with 43 points on Team Gyeonggi Innate. But they still need to do a lot of work.
Ooh, fancy. Gonna have to walk in here. Look at his their timer. Only 12 seconds left. Ooh. Don't know if they got spotted out by that recon drone. I don't know if Always in Chun did end up seeing them.
Oh, here we go.
On the bottom side, Gyeonggi Innate is just gonna get sent on. Looks like by the side of Team. Wait, the third party's gonna be here. Team Slasher's gonna be right here. But oh my God, the Nimrod's is able to get all 3 members of the side Team Gyeonggi Innate away. But Slasher is gonna try chasing it here. Oh no! Clean sweep not gonna connect, and all 3 members of the side Team Gyeonggi Innate are just able to escape.
the zigzag pattern hitting once again, dude, in multiple different ways. We've seen Kadia's do the zigzag pattern. Now we're seeing a Laura do a zigzag pattern with the Nimrod's Gate and tail. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's the power of the Nimrod's Gate, right? They were in probably the worst spot for a third-party scenario, and the Nimrod's Gate is able to get all 3 members, just teleport them all on out of there. So definitely coming and showing why Art is still quite the pick that you can utilize here. Blaster to try looking for the parity, so not gonna be able to connect anything here. Unchained, I think they want to take this team fight here. I think they know their matchup is pretty decent if they can have good targeting, but they do have the Charlotte now, right? The Charlotte ult with the hard ult is going to be a little hard for the side of Team Unchained to play into. I like
they're not even interested in the item.
For Always in Chun not greeting the item, right? Because if they walk back in to try to greet the item, I think that'll give the go-ahead for Unchained to send it there, but that is going to be the weapon. There is the engage coming out from Unchained. They're not going to connect onto really anyone here. Great dodges out from Luminal, actually able to kite back.
Oh no, the fight's
probably
over.
Going to go down here. Wait a second, the damage is going to be there. No, the demo goes down, and that gives the window. There's the light for the Heart to drop their ultimate, and I don't think that's going to... Yeah, Team Unchained is not going to be able to find anything else there.
That's brutal. It's the classic combination when it comes down to the Heart as well as the Charlotte. Getting caught out like that is not the best situation, and also it's so hard for Debbie and Marlene to get out of fights if you use the Twins Rush in. Really unfortunate for Team Unchained. While that was happening, I think Hyungi actually ended up stealing a kill over towards the Justina of Shadow Golden Light. That was kind of funny with the Nimrod's Gate of all things. Always in turn trying to contest for the police station temporary zone. There's the words I was looking for. Whereas we do have another team. Kyungi and Nate is going to be stepping in a few moments, which means we have our double Ardas in the police station temporary zone. This is going to get pretty chaotic. Paradiso down on the ground is going to buy even more space for Team Always Incheon to play around, but now Kyungi and Nate is going to join another fray, and we don't have an ultimate on one of the members for Team Always Incheon. Is this going to do anything to them, though? I don't think so. Timer for Always Incheon is still looking pretty dire. They're sitting on 15 seconds. Kyungi and Nate walking in at the correct space at the right time, but Seongnam Rocks has been pushed away now. 13 seconds left for Always Incheon. They are fighting a war amongst themselves right now. This is really good for Always Incheon, too, though. This is awful, awful situations going across the board for everybody. Timers is now all very similar. Always Incheon is doing really good so far. Oh, here we go. The pull, the trigger has been pulled. Timer on the single digits for everybody inside the zone. 1 second left, 4 people. Oh no! Always Incheon picks up a few, and now the timers for Team Kyungi and Nate. It's not that good, but the combo is there. No, this is not good at all. Peacemaker is there. Timer is so dire. Pop goes the Weasel. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. It's too easy for Always Incheon as we're gonna go into the final zone. Gwangju Slasher and Always Incheon.
And both these teams aren't on checkpoint yet. Slasher just needs 1 kill here. Always Incheon also just needs 1 kill to get themselves into checkpoint breakpoint. So if each team gets 1 apiece, we'll have 2 teams going to the checkpoint breakpoint here. But if it's going to be a clean 3-0, we'll only have 1 team going in.
We've had a lot of trades happening throughout the course of the night when it comes to these final zones. So if both of these teams can at least find it within their heart to give the other person a kill, I guess with the heart question mark, it is possible, right? We've seen quite a lot of those.
Most likely they're going to be able to trade 1, but who knows? If we just see a nice clean team fight from one of these teams, they could just deny the other team from getting to that checkpoint breakpoint here. We are just going to have Seraphine just walking up, getting some poke damage with their little Qs, and Always Incheon is going to walk down, take zone control first on the bottom side here, but might give Slasher like a good window here as yeah, all the way Team Slasher kind of plays these team fights is they're gonna try to look to split the enemy of Always Incheon and just have a more chaotic fight.
Yep, Gon is prepping up his baseballs as well. On the backside is going to be Sardavi, but the focus split is way too far away. Sardavi getting taken way too low, uses a lot of damage, and there we go. Can we find an extra pull? Maybe. Wait, hold on a second. Divine Intervention was used at a weird time. There's the trade, and that's it. We're gonna have 2 teams going into checkpoint. X-Boy, it's fine if you lose now. Everything is good for your team. He's gonna try his best, of course, to find a kill amongst himself, but Blaster is healing back up, and with this health bar, yeah, you're not killing this at all. Nice try from X-Boy, but this does allow Gwangju Slasher to step into that checkpoint territory right alongside Always Incheon. GG's called out though, 25.5 points to Always Incheon, pushing themselves into that first place spot amongst the rest.
And it's Luminal coming in, getting a win for his team. Luminal coin going up for this finals here, and we'll have to see if they can carry it into a finals win, because going into game 6, they're going to be on checkpoint with Youngshu Slasher, and these are going to be our only two teams. Not what I had in mind originally, honestly, but yeah, they're going to come out to play a consistent game here, and we're going to have two teams in checkpoint and a lot of teams pretty close behind. So, you know, going into game 6, if it doesn't end in game 6, we're going to have maybe 4, maybe even 5 teams in checkpoint going into game 7.
Yeah, I think that is a possibility, but that's also assuming that it's going to be easy to lock down both Gwangju Slashers as well as Always Incheon, right? Because those two teams are playing very slippery compositions, at least for what we saw in game number 5. It might change a lot because of the bans that are going to be coming through and also the character releases that will be allowed for game number 6. I just like the way that those two teams played, though. A lot of safety, and for Always Incheon, despite having that chaotic of a temporary zone, I think this team played it perfectly, maintaining their position inside of the temporary zone as much as possible, and even without a lot of ultimates, because they just sent to buying space, still ended up winning out on the temp zone. They actually had the lowest time out of all the teams starting out at the beginning, but maintaining control, cool as ice, holds that spot and wins out on the temp zone. This was just a great game between both of those teams.
Yeah, we'll have to see how these teams adjust to these two teams going into that checkpoint breakpoint, because both these teams are easily recognizable, right? They both play characters that, you know, only their team is playing, so it's really easy for these teams to sort of kind of get teamed on, right? Just because we're going to have a lot of teams hitting their checkpoint breakpoint mark, and then they're just going to look to play Kingmaker to make sure that these other teams that are in checkpoint don't win the game.
Okay, well, we have put ourselves into the pedestal of greatness potentially for two teams that are going to be upcoming in game number 6. It will be Always Incheon and Gwangju Slasher in that checkpoint spot highlighted in yellow, as you guys can see there. Great job between these two teams. And for Team Gwangju Slasher, all the more credit to them, because they did find that one pick, all they needed in order to get up into that checkpoint slot. Good job there. Whereas for Seongnam Rocks, 60 points, 53 for Unchained and 52 for Daejeon Auto Arms. Seeing Daejeon Auto Arms in 5th place spot, not what I expected whatsoever.
I agree. I think just not having a good day today, and yeah, they're gonna need a 13-point game to get themselves into that checkpoint breakpoint going into game 7. Unchained needs 12. Seongnam Rocks only need 5. So potentially we'll probably see 3, maybe even 4 more teams to get into checkpoint breakpoint. Most likely going to be 2 or 3. As we go into game 7, we'll probably have about 4 or 5 teams going into or having that checkpoint spot.
I will also kneel down and apologize for doing what I did to Team Busan Vespa. Guys, it's a part of the contract. It's part of the job description. I have to do it. It's within me. The power I have to call the caster curses. It is part of the job. I'm so sorry. For all the people who are cheering on for Team Busan Vespa, though, this could potentially set up for a 10-round checkpoint. Yay! The lower the amount of points a team has, the longer a series could theoretically go on, assuming they do well for the remaining of the series.
They just have to win out.
Yeah, all they have to do is just win, starting from now on. And maybe, who knows, we'll forget about the beginning.
Other teams can still win, and then when everyone else is in checkpoint is when they start out, and then was when they have to start winning, you know?
Yep.
So
we'll
have to see. But obviously, you want to put fate into your own hands, because you know, you don't want to rely on other teams to stop the other teams in checkpoint breakpoint. So we'll have to see how they do end up adjusting to this lobby, because we're gonna have, like you said, more bans being released and more characters being banned away. And yeah, I really like this dynamic of this lobby. You know, it's it just creates a weird kind of rotation of characters, because some characters are being banned for 2 games, some characters are being banned for 1 game, so it makes it so a lot of these teams can't really operate their maybe comfortable team comp that they practice with. They have to maybe substitute one of their characters for a different character, or just swap up their team comp entirely.
I don't think we've seen a single game where the exact same picks we saw for a lot of these triple DPS comps that came out in game number 1 has come through. Because every single time we've seen these comps so far and the bans so far as well, all of these bans for important characters have been interchanged with each other. Because let's think about this. Game number 1, we had 4 Priya, so 2 games banned there. Cecilia and the Nadine came back by game 3, but by the time Priya came back, we had 4 picks on the Cecilia, so she isn't going to be available until the game that we're going to be watching right now. It's these problems where you just don't have all parts of the puzzle, all pieces of the puzzle whatsoever. You're just mix and matching quite a lot of things at once.
Do we have the Priya, Cecilia, Nadine all unbanned?
And now we do, exactly.
Oh, we do. So everyone, yep, you can see the Cecilias, the Nadines. I think we're gonna go back to the original team comp all the way back in game 1, which is crazy that it's being rotated around like this. Yeah, you can see Shadow Golden Light. Oh nope, Gungi actually not opting to play it, but Sagna Brox is gonna be the one playing it. And I think Busan
Shadow
Best
Golden Light.
Probably gonna be locking in that Priya as well. Oh no, she worked not on the Priya. They're gonna be locking in that Aya. So it's just Sagnam Rocks and Shadow Golden like gonna be the 2 teams rotating back into that team comp in game 1. And because no one else is playing it, I think they're gonna have access to it in the next game as well.
Oh, good lord! All right, well, let's see how this goes. Priya still available on the map unless Fable decides to pick it up, which I don't think is gonna happen. They need a tank. There's the Alonso being selected for the time being.
This was their team comp. That's I'm surprised they actually didn't opt to this Alonso team comp, because this is the team comp that they actually were winning games on in the later half of the knockout stages. So they're just gonna opt back to it. 1 circle on that Celine. And Cecilia actually not being banned away because Fancy is going to be swapping over to that Haze.
Yeah, alright. That means with game number 7 after this, assuming it goes through, do we actually have no ban for the first time this entire series?
Crazy.
Wow,
I think so.
right.
I think it's no bans.
If it wasn't for Heart, we would have had no bans going into game 7, but Heart will still be banned for that game.
2 Priyas, 2 Nadines, 2 Cecilias. Yeah, there's no bans, surprisingly. Oh, there's 2 Williams, yeah, 2 Williams as well, but no bans going into... Well, no bans going into Game 7 because Heart's still banned, but I'm really surprised that all these teams, I think, they're opting to pick their comfort and what they think is working in this lobby, then opting to, play towards that meta, right? Which is why we see Young Hyena just staying on this team comp, because they had a pretty good game in the last game with it, right? They had a 16-point game, so probably thinking, we're doing a lot better on this team comp. We're gonna stick with it and see if we can make this work.
Oh yeah. Well, here we go, folks. Game number 6 is now underway. We finally have a few teams in that checkpoint mark. 2 of them are going to be in there. Gwangju Slashers as well as Always Incheon, looking for the end to the series. And what a story would it be for Team Gwangju Slashers if they manage to do it in this game, right? The past couple of knockout stages that Gwangju Slasher has played in, they always manage to make a comeback at the end of the series. You have to remember this. Yeah. Gwangju Slasher is a team that didn't do well for the first 3 games, and by the 4th game, this team all of a sudden just gets like a 20-something point banger to put themselves at like the 4th place spot, or maybe the 3rd place spot of the entire leaderboard, just to get themselves into the next set of stages. So if they're able to do that again and actually win out on the tournament, it will be the story of a lifetime for these players.
Yeah, and especially, it's been so long since Slasher has had some great success, so I really hope to see this team do well here, especially on a Luke. Like, I think it would be our first ever ERM Luke win for the history of the game. For the finals,
and I'm including quite a lot of old ones as well. Maybe even, oh gosh, I don't even remember during the ERL and ERC days, because Serdabi played a lot of Luke back in those days as well. Pre-release, seasons 3 to maybe like 8, 9. This guy was always in the solos and duos matches playing the Luke, but he just couldn't find any success with it just because of inherently how the character is just supposed to work. Well, let's see how a lot of this goes though. Serdabi gonna find an easy pick over onto G-Work. Gun unfortunately not gonna be able to find one over on towards the Sicilla, but down goes Yunhao. So 2 members down. Gun is gonna get traded out eventually by Romantic. I think that was with the Frey at last, so a bit of a cheat code there for the Sicilla. Still regardless, a 1 for 2 inside of Police Station.
Seven Rocks able to pick up a couple kills for themselves as well. Gonna get a nice terminate actually on the side of Team Unchained. 3 or 1.5 points. Just need 3.5 more to get themselves into that checkpoint breakpoint.
Rocks also in a similar situation as well, right? These guys are these guys want to get it there. Really, the checkpoint is such a prominent spot in these tournaments, because remember, the more teams that are in checkpoint, the harder it is to deny that team from winning, which means you just have a bigger chance of winning to begin with. Luminal in a bit of trouble. He's just gonna face the wrath of the flowers. Down he goes. Centipede, same thing as well. So Wei-Xing-Chun getting a bit of a brunt at the beginning of night number 1. Marcus is the only one alive, and I have no idea where he is, but I think he's inside the research center. Not that much value gained out of the Marcus at this time.
I didn't realize they ended up changing their team for checkpoint. I guess it's because of the ban as well. So it's gonna be Marcus, William, William, and the Nia here, and great kill coming out from the side team Unchained. Go to by Lily though to get Dasu to safety, as the members of Team Kyungane are going to be able to regroup here, maybe look for this Tree of Life contest. Do have a lot of points already being exchanged for these teams. These teams are slowly inching their way closer and closer. Techno Rocks only needing 3 more points to get themselves there, and as soon as they get there, they're definitely going to look to try to play Kingmaker. Auto Arms going to look for the kill on Curry. Curry a little too far away from the team, and Fable going to be able to pick up the farm there, as they are going to be able to grab a nice kill, half a point from Team Auto Arms, as it looks like they need about 12.5 more as well.
If Pigeon Auto Arms only gets 9.5 more points from here, they would be exactly at that 62-point mark.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully that's not going to be the case, but we'll see. Plaster in a little bit of trouble. Nia's Game World is down, but it's still quite early in the game for it to be that big of a difference. Everybody on Team Unchained still alive, but this team has slowed down in the pace of how aggressive they were ever since the beginning of the series. And we can tell, again, trying to shy away from the fight instead of actually looking for it, despite the Nia's Game World being down. But that is a big investment for Always In Chun. Good poke over towards Team Unchained, but Blaster is going to get found out. The question is, can Team Unchained actually finish the rest of this fight? Marcus is pretty healthy. Marcus can sustain quite well inside of the healing plant as well. Urze doing what he can. Can he get the knockup? Yes, he can. Down goes the Marcus, just barely with the trumpet call. Centipede doing what he can too. Will get the trade over onto Furze. Centipede on the backside. There's not that much damage left on the side of Team Unchained. They're slowly backing away. I think the fight has been won for Team Always In Chun. Unfortunately, Osu at this point in the game just doesn't have the damage to deal with this.
Nia's Game World though.
Nia's Game World out again. Parry out, but straight to the wall. It's too easy for Centipede at that point. Nicely done for Always In Chun. Will secure a couple of kills, plus Tree of Life going into favor.
Centipede is playing really well on this Nia, and it kind of reminds me of the Letty, you know? That Spring Traps, the Nia's Game World point sync, it's like the same thing. You just have to hit that onto the right target, and you just do so much burst damage there. Always In Chun able to pick up a nice 2 kills, grabbing the tree. That's huge for a team that is trying to play for the win here, getting those early objectives. Looks like Auto Arms unfortunately did end up getting caught by the side of Team Kyungane, getting a nice kill for themselves, and probably securing that Tree of Life in Hotel. So teams are slowly starting to trade out on these objectives and these skills. Busan Best was sitting on 6 already.
Wow.
This is really, really good. And exactly what they need, sitting on the 8th place spot here. Hopefully. I'm sure they'll be fine this game. I'm sure they'll be fine.
No, he's already set the death flag. Guys, it's not my fault this time if it happens again. For now, we're going to take a look at what happens inside of Hospital, as we got 35 seconds until night number 2. Furze and Talasi straight away from Osu, but Osu is joining from the backside of the fight. Way too much damage over on towards the Kenneth, though. Down he goes, despite the Diamond Shard proccing for that Kenneth finally at the end of that fight. Nice dodge away for Talasi on the point sync, but it's still a bit of annoyance trying to run away from this situation. Pull back in once again. Pitcher's Mound not going to be enough. Talasi is a Lenny, though, is slippery enough to get on out of the fight.
Yeah, too many little arcade drops there, I think, for the Nia on the floor. And if you just let the Nia set up like that, just 1 point sync is just going to delete your HP bar. That's exactly what happened to the side of Furze there. So a little unfortunate, but it is going to be Team Always In Chun winning that one out, and they're going to be able to grab that objective as well, that alpha.
Absolutely.
Easy meteorites for them, and they're going to be sitting in a pretty good spot now, right? Able to win all these objectives, get their buy-ins. They are sitting pretty comfortably accelerated in this lobby.
Okay, here we go. Busan Vespa inside of the Dimensional Rift fighting up against Team Songnam Rocks. It's triple DPS against triple DPS, but one side has the Henry, the other side doesn't. Chrono Field is good. Down goes the Cecilia. I think that's going to be it for the fight. Hyungi goes down, and once again, Busan Vespa giving us a little bit of hope. It's going to be 3 additional kills going in their favor. Of course, just a phase 1 bonuses, so 1.5 points going in their favor, but still a Mithril into the hands plus the Dimensional Rift 1 out. Nicely done.
See, not cursed just yet. Not cursed just yet.
Yeah, keep talking,
Big
buddy.
guy is gonna get caught out though by the side of Team Auto Arms, but looks like that Nimron Skate or just PLO in general is a little slippery over the side of Team Auto Arms. And oh my god, Ania's Game World once again just deleting Kyungi, teleporting here in Hospital. X-Boy versus Saturn here. There's Arena Vampire Queen is going to connect, and it is going to do so much damage. And it's actually going to connect. Saturn tried to blink away out of the Arena Vampire Queen, but just getting hit by the tip of it. And Slasher going to be able to pick up another kill for themselves. So both these teams that are in checkpoint having a pretty good showing so far, able to get these objectives, able to get these early game kills, getting themselves ahead of the lobby.
Cecilia's toes stepped in the Reign of the Vampire Queen. I don't know. But either way, I mean, Cecilia dying exactly as the man, the myth, the legend shows up in chat. I think there's a correlation. All right. 15 seconds to go until we're going to hit day number 3. White Lily has been hit. Zerogen sent completely to the moon for some reason. That's not exactly where he wants to be, but Fable is the one now in a little bit of trouble. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Nice trade over onto Fable, but he will get rezzed. Ignite in a bit of trouble himself. It's a Nimrod gate to get on out of there. Luckily, Jinauer also died right before the turn over into day number 3. That's going to call it the end of free rezzes for everybody on the map, unless you take the Rift or risk it, because this entire day so far has been completely dominated by teams walking into Rift and seeing another one after night number 2. The risk is massive for that objective right now.
Yeah, if you saw Rivermatic's inventory, they had a Mithril and a Meteorite in their inventory, and you can see the credit counts as well. They're sitting in a really, really good spot for the side team who's on Vespa. They have so much credits, so many items already. And yeah, they're looking pretty set up here for this game. You do have Team Unchained though. Maybe gonna look for the side of Team Sangnam Rocks. Team Sangnam Rocks still need about 1.5 points to get themselves into that checkpoint breakpoint, but opting actually not to fight the side Team Unchained, as Team Unchained looking a little stronger. Oh no, they're gonna go back in to get test for these mutant bears. Looks like no item for the bears. It's gonna be that extra gadget energy, but no teams wanted to risk their life for it.
Kind of interesting that at least the gadget points are picked up for the ones walking into Temple though, because it looked pretty free. The other team left entirely. I guess it is what it is. Here we go. Alonso's going to send it at the beginning of the fight. We do have the Echoes of the Earth coming down. Magnetic Field is pretty good. Fable pumping out the auto attacks. We'll be able to find one and doesn't get traded out in the end. But health bars on the side of Shadow Golden Light looking pretty solid. Unfortunately, same thing for one circle. Passive auto attack not going to be enough to knock down Dozy, but it's already a 1-for-0 trade. I don't think it's going to be enough distance for one circle to chase on through, but single digits of timer for Dozy. Does he have a safety drone? He does. I think he's trying to go into the research center. Yeah, he does. 2 seconds left on his timer, just barely at the cusp of 3. It'd be a bit rough for Dozy. I don't know how he matches and groups back up with Fancy, because even Fancy's sitting on low timer. They're following through on this.
It's very smart for Team Auto Arms actually to cancel out on the res in research, and they also just repositioned for this quick line, or not this quick line, but this Omega down here in Cemetery. So very heads up play for the side of Team Auto Arms. Do like it, as these other teams, there's going to be Team Aojincha and one of our checkpoint teams here going to be contesting for this Omega down here in Cemetery. Faster is going to walk up, but is really susceptible to just getting pointed out by this Alonso here. But Aojincha gonna slowly start to pull Omega into their favor. Who is gonna take it here is a question though. Fable still on that heart. Celine is gonna try to get some poke damage, try to maybe zone off the members on the side. Oh, but there is the Nia's Game World. Cinema getting a little too greedy, trying to get the item, but just gets blown up by Xenophine here.
Yikes. You have to really be careful about that, because the problem with Nia's Game World is the damage comes from the other side. Nia can pick and choose the place where those pieces go down. Shield doesn't even matter at that point. Real unfortunate. Kyunggi also going to lose out on a couple of members. These ballistic advantages going to tag over onto Zerojin, but his health bar is not low enough for execute damage to really matter. A couple of extra kills going in favor of Team Busan Vespa, and I don't want to say it, but they're giving me a little bit of hope. And now that I've said it,
now that you said it,
timer's ticking. Time's ticking.
9.5 points for Busan Vespa. They're looking really good here. If they can win out this lobby, get maybe a 20-30 point game, they're gonna be back in the running for sure. But yeah, right now it's not looking too good for them because remember they're in 8th place with only 23 points, 20-point difference between 7th and 8th place. That's not even counting the teams that are in checkpoint already.
Let's take a look at what this lobby status is looking like too. The biggest problem is 2 Williams on the 2 checkpoint teams. They are so turbo accelerated in the pacing, and Youngie gets left for dead. Although the Free is still alive. Oh, actually, Daejeon Autoarms decides to jump in on this fight instead. Oh my God, no, not like this. That's the worst possible situation that could have happened. Just losing one member might have been okay. Send one person in. Fable said I want the kill. He doesn't even get it, and then uses the jump pad over. Loses 2. Sungnam Rock still alive though. What on earth just happened to Daejeon Autoarms?
They're in checkpoints. Sungnam Rock's now in checkpoint. Just gonna have to look to try to ratio the checkpoint teams here. But yeah, Autoarms just getting a little too greedy there, trying to look for that extra kill. But the members of Team Gyeonggyeone were there for the third party at the perfect time. A little unfortunate there. We do have Team Autoarms just minusing 400 credits. Not where you want to be, especially when you're playing a team comp like this. You kind of need this Alonso to be really tanky to soak up a lot of that damage. But now Alonso probably just going to be homeless for the whole game.
This is real awkward for the entire lobby because, again, the ones that can most likely stop Always Incheon and Gwangju Slasher are the ones falling behind. Whereas look at the pacing of those two teams. Williams fully built up on the side of Always Incheon and Gwangju Slasher. Gwangju Slasher probably even has a Burgundy built on top of that as well. Everybody should not be fighting amongst each other. And for Team Unchained, they're looking for a fight against Always Incheon. If they can knock these members down, a lot of this lobby will be happy and thankful for this. Really good fight so far. A Luminol on the backside, signature fireball down on the ground, but the Nia's game world is good. Never mind, Blaster dead. Down goes Luminol. How does Team Unchained do it every single time? 2-0 in favor of a team who's been silent the whole game. And is of course against Gwangju Slasher. Always Incheon is gone. 1 out of our 2 checkpoint teams eliminated from game number 6.
Oh no, it's just so unlucky. You know, random TP, you kind of have to pray that you don't land on a team, and unfortunately they do. Looks like the Luco is just full second here. Unchained, maybe they could get another one to force TP into another team. Unchained gonna seal, or Slasher gonna seal the fates of their adversaries there, and Always Incheon just gonna have to pray that these other teams are gonna be able to shut down Team Gwangju Slasher.
Unchained seems more confident having less items than having more for some reason. I don't know what it is. This exact same composition with way less items. We're playing way more. The items having more items in the past couple of games. They were playing way less aggressive than this one. This is really weird. The line is going to be secured by Team Gyeonggyeone. Daejeon Autoarms in a little bit of trouble as the magnetic field is going to get cancelled out on the backside. Zerojin putting on a lot of damage. Cinema is going to get taken down, and now one circle in the whole heap of trouble. He has to run away by himself. Daejeon Autoarms in and under pressure.
I don't know where one circle is gonna go because they have to get back into the zone here. Has a blink, but can they make it?
Safety drone? No! His heals right at the edge.
-1-2. Only 2.5 points this game for Team Autoarms.
Bruh.
That is a disaster. Not gonna be able to get themselves into that checkpoint breakpoint. Sungnam Rock's already in. Gyeongggyeone's about to get themselves in as well, getting that wick line. Unchained in a pretty good position as well. Busan Vespa, obviously a little too far away, but should be able to get a decent amount of points for this game.
Now it's 61 points for Daejeon Autoarms that they would have been in the game for. Really unfortunate. Okay, here we go. Osu sending it really early, but now the problem with Debbie and Marlene is going to show up once again. She's in the back ends of the fight, but her health bar just doesn't exist anymore. First, can you somehow turn it? One more auto should be enough. Ying9 does get taken down. The healing plant making it possible for her to live. No, just barely not enough. As the Lenny completely books it and tries to keep her life intact. The only problem is it's about to turn into day number 5, and she doesn't have the kiosk to call her members back. Credits are there, but not enough utilities and resources to actually use those credits.
Yeah, Lord is really good at, you know, killing these kind of bruiser, brawly characters, and Gyungi just able to just have really good targeting, right? Just instantly killing the Demo. Demo gonna go down before they're able to really do really much there. You can see the credit counts for the side team Unchained. I'm surprised I actually decided to take that fight because Demo almost having that blood sample buy-in. I think maybe if they had the blood sample buy-in, would have been able to turn the fight around, but they're not able to get it there.
What would they have gone with it though? Because you already have the Leviatine. Are you looking for red
Basically
shoes?
red
at that
shoes.
point?
Yeah.
I don't know if a red shoes would have been enough to turn that because Debbie and Marlene said the twins
just died instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
problem I
I
talked
don't
about
know.
earlier.
We do have Team
Colossus.
Slasher though. The William on 2. They're sitting on 5 bloods already for Slasher. They can actually potentially win here.
Okay. Hey, Talasi, what's your plan? Where are you gonna go? Towards the south side. I do see that Shadow
Archery.
Goldenlight is waiting around for something like this to happen. They do notice that a team has res right around the Lumi. Are we just planning on sitting inside the bush and just waiting this out? I do like the call, but this is a bush nobody really checks into. And if they do, it's usually with a recon drone.
Yep. Team Busan Best also really strong, but the problem with Slasher is they're kind of all in, right? They use their ultimates down, they get third party, they're just gonna go down. They're really strong, but they're easily able to get to 3-peat, and every team knows the only team left alive that's in checkpoint is gonna be Slasher here. So I think Team Slasher gonna have a mountain to climb, as I think all these other teams are probably gonna give the zone to Busan Best, would be most likely to contest for this team to just go down here.
Everybody should also know which team Kwangju Slasher is. That Luke is a very unique pick.
Luke, Bianca, 2 picks that only Slasher plays, so they should know that Slasher is in checkpoint here, and they should know which team exactly is Team Slasher.
Sometimes the bane of being a one trick that is infamous in the region is this right here. X-Boy on the Biancas, Hardabi on the Luke. Oh wow, what a surprise. I wonder who these two are. I wonder which part of a team they're gonna be a part of. Yeah, Kwangju Slasher is in a bit of trouble. The more teams are remaining by the time we get into temporary zone, the worse it's going to get. But I'm not entirely sure if it's the #1 thing in the minds of a lot of these people. What is
they know?
No, they definitely know.
Though.
You hear the footsteps though. You guarantee.
No. Gangnam Rocks knows, but I don't know if they want to send it because of their items.
I
don't know.
They don't know yet still. Oh my god.
Young don't know. Young don't see them.
Oh my
Maybe they do.
God.
Rox knows for sure, but Rox I don't think wants to send it because they want to be because they're in checkpoint already, right? So they want to just stay alive so they could shut down Team Slasher. They want more teams. They want more teams alive as well, right? They don't want to wipe any teams because they need all hands on deck to stop Slasher. But wait a second, Rox, I don't think they know.
This is awkward.
I don't think they know where Slasher is. If Slasher just holds the zone now, I think they'll be in a really good spot now.
Yep. Let's see if anybody inside the school is able to do it. They'll have to invest the gadget points to VLS into police station, but I think we're having a fight between two inside a fire station. Look at this. Down goes one. Songnam Rocks is down to 2 members. Their timers are not looking good either. Gyeonggi and 8 investing some resources. They're being pushed out by Kwangju Slashers. This is not good at all. Advantageous for Kwangju Slashers. Looking for a kill over onto Satan. His timer is not being sent, but the credits are just not there. The lives are not there. Health points depleted. Kwangju Slasher, all they have to do is hold, but Shadow Golden Light is gonna put a stop to this. 3 teams inside the police station temporary zone. Can Kwangju Slashers win out on this, or is this just going to be game over for everybody else? Shadow Golden Light is doing exactly what they should be doing, just holding onto the zone, using up all the resources on the other side. They see Shadow Golden Light, they see Kwangju Slashers, knows where the resources are. They need to start the fight. Here we go on the backside. Tazu getting taken down. He is going to get taken down too. A lot of ultimates invested, and down goes Gun. William is dead. Third party comes in from Shadow Golden Light. They know exactly what the situation is going to look like. I don't think there's enough damage left on the side of Kwangju Slashers to knock down the entirety of Shadow Golden Light. They've done it. We're going to get a game number 7 most likely.
Gyeonggi did their job, but the problem is Gyeonggi they're not in checkpoint. So I don't think this was actually the correct play from them, because they did deny this team from getting into checkpoint, but they're not going to be in it themselves, so they're not going to have any opportunity in the next game, right? Only 13. They needed 15? No, they need 16. He's off by 3 points there, so
I mean, you could still do it. I think you still can. TTK for this team with the Bianca is relatively low, but let's be real, Shadow Golden Light knows about this, and their timer is actually pretty bad. Hold on a second. I know Shadow Golden Light has a few gadget points left, but Gwangju Slashers has no idea. They're going to send the Reign of the Vampire Queen down on the ground. Sanctuary is out, and there's no way to stop this. There's no way to stop this. 1 second, Yeoman is dead. No way. This is how we're going to go about this. Gwangju Slashers, one with timer. They have no idea. But it's timer. Gwangju Slashers goes into the final zone. It's the hopes and dreams of Busan Vespa.
It's a triple range with no counter to this Bianca.
Oh, wait, they do have the Henry, though. I think this is the one big crucial part about this, because Henry can nullify the damage output of the William, right? You can kind of deny the Bianca from playing exactly the way that she wants to, and if Sardabi makes a big mistake and goes in on the zone, Chronofield can completely split the entire fight apart. The only question is, with the Cecilia and the Aya, do you have enough damage to kill the Luke? I don't think you do unless you land everything.
The Luke is going to be really hard to kill, and the William's going to be there as well. They have to look for an angle maybe on the William to kill, so they can just all focus onto Luke. But the problem is this Bianca is going to be such a wrench into the triple backline team, and all look at the damage going on. Romantic. Oh, wait a second, the damage though is gonna be there. The gun Green Rocket is gonna come through, and oh my god, I think that's it. Gwangju Slasher getting a clean 3 kills, and they're gonna be our phase 2 winners. Oh my god.
The story, the Cinderella story of Gwangju Slashers as they take away the final game of the night. It's gonna be an early night for you and me, my friend. 6 games to call it. Gwangju Slashers, after a brutal run through the knockout stages since number 4, they will take away the trophy for phase number 2 and declare themselves a day 2 contender, most likely, for the season finals. Congratulations, and my goodness, what a story for that team. Seriously, I set it up perfectly, and I'm so glad that they ended up winning like this, because ever since knockout stage number 4, this team has struggled through the beginning stages of each individual part of the series they played in. But then by game 4, they wake up and start playing like absolute geniuses. It's the same story here today. Games 4, 5, and 6. Oh my goodness, Gwangju Slashers plays like a madman to push themselves out of the bottom 4 into the first place spot, going into checkpoint as one of the first teams in there to win it out in the end.
Yeah, what a crazy showing from them. Just, winning that temporary zone and then just coming out. I mean, I think their team comp is just so favored into the side of Team Busan Vespa, right? They have that tank Luke that's so hard to kill, great engage coming out. Bianca just so good into a team comp like Busan Vespa because they don't have any response to this Raven the Vampire Queen, right? They don't have that hard ult. They don't have anything to kind of deny, like a Celine to deny the Raven the Vampire Queen from pushing through as well. And then the William is just there to, kind of zone away and just finish the job, just do the cleanup job. It's just such a masterclass coming out from Slasher, and I think that's gonna be our first Luke ERM win.
Yeah.
I think crazy Luke winning an ERM. Tank Luke of everything. Tank.
Oh, I'm so happy for Sardabi, man. I'm so happy for this man. The story of Sardabi in these Eternal Return Korean S-tier tournaments is so melancholy at best. This man is a Luke lover, man. He plays so much Luke to the point where I genuinely think he is by far the only person with at least 50 to 60 games of Luke in ERM or ERL, ERC, S-tier tournaments. Let's just chalk it up to that alone. No other Luke player has even remotely come close to the number of Luke games he has played on the stage. Every single time he's been denied a actual tournament win with this character. He's won before with other ones, but never on the Luke. So glad that he's able to actually win one with this character in tow for his team. And he actually did carry the fight, right? Getting that jump on towards the Cecilia, that really called it. There's no damage on the side of Team Busan Vespa to kill the Luke. And that's exactly what happened. Maybe just barely get him down, but by that point, Henry was dead. There was nothing they could do to save the Henry.
Yeah, the Rain Rival Queen came through, and then it's just easy for William to just finish the job there. And not only is it a Luke win, it's a Bianca win. When was the last time Bianca has also won I think it's been like 6 seasons almost. I think the last win was probably in like season 3 or 4 with I think Magnani coming out winning on the Bianca. But yeah, coming out on top, Youngju Slasher in first place, a dominating performance from them, 90.5 points.
3 million Korean won going over to that team today as well, huh? A massive victory for Team Gwangju Slasher. They're going to have a feast tonight. A very early night as well. So, maybe if they have work tomorrow or if any of the players have work tomorrow, you can have a good dinner tonight before you go. It's going to be a celebration for the players on Gwangju Slasher tonight. And I think with this, they should guarantee themselves into day 2. You get a lot more circuit points for phase number 2. Gwangju Slasher in day number 2 guaranteed is going to be very exciting. So really great result from this team. A bit shaky on the performance at the beginning of the series, but if they can kind of tone that down and make sure that the beginning of the games are going to be good, I think Gwangju Slasher can be a solid contender for actually winning even the season finals for season 9.
Yeah, and it's going to be no 3-digit point total just because of how fast we ended it, right? The second they got into the checkpoint, Gwangju Slasher was able to win it out here. So just very, very well played. And yeah, you can see the bottoms half. Busan Vespa in 8th place, Auto Arms in 6th. Not where I expected them to be.
Not at all. It was a rough ride today for pretty much everyone in the lobby, actually. Let's not downplay how competitive this lobby was today at all, right? Because the fact that we have Daejeon Auto Arms sitting in 6th place today, with that amount of points to begin with, and a lot of the teams right above them were also hovering around the same 60-something point mark, goes to show you that every single team today played productively. So it wasn't even like, Daejeon Auto Arms had a bad day or anything. Everybody just played good. Outside of Busan Vespa, where we just, let's
100% though. Everyone, just had a really consistent game. The point totals were really close. We saw how close it was, after game 3 and 4, right? So all the teams were hovering around 30-40 points. But then, it just gave the window an opportunity for these teams to slowly start to inch away and take it home. And Slasher was able to win it out in that basically 3v6 final zone and just, come out on top.
Must feel really good for these players, because the last time the Gwangju Slashers has found success like this with any of the team compositions that they were able to bring to the table, because another thing that you have to remember about Gwangju Slashers is that this team does not play standard for the most part, right? We saw the composition they just played. It's not one that you would normally expect a team in ERM to be playing. It's one of those that you might maybe expect Knockout Stage 1, Knockout Stage 2 teams to be playing. Bianca, Luke, what the heck, and then the William to boot. It's not what you would expect, but they win it again alongside their victory back in season 5 or season 4 with the Arda double frontline composition they used to boast. Very unique at that time in comparison to everyone else. So this might just be the strategy that Gwangju Slasher has to go. Come up with your own plan. It might be unique in comparison to everyone else, but just do it better than everyone else.
Hey, you know what they say, just play your own game.
Don't fix it. Yeah, play your own game. That one works too.
Play your own game. Play your own game. A lot of people will have to adapt to you as long as you're playing well, right? That famous saying of someone doesn't fear a person who's practiced 1,000 different punches, but if you just practice one thing, 1,000 times, that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. A true master is just one person that practices one thing 1,000 times. Exactly, you're correct. And that's the way that it feels like for Gwangju Slasher. So again, congratulations to a team that we really did not expect coming into this series to be the winners, but it is the result that we got anyways. This is the reason why Eternal Return Masters is so exciting to watch. You have no idea what happens until the actual end of a series super. Super, though, that is the end of the series. My god, it was a fun ride for the past couple of weeks, but there's still one thing that the players in chat wants to get, right? We got the good old off-air coupon right there. SUQBZK77896 for you guys in the chat. Type it in for the common season fragment voucher times 5, not times 5. What the heck is that? times 5 alongside the extra drops token, which I've been using quite well because I need to get a couple of levels in that Guilty Gear pass. I haven't been playing too
Oh, you
often.
use the drop tokens for that?
During the no, so what ends up happening is I use a drop token on the drops boxes, and maybe if I get
MP, I see.
event
MP,
MP, I
and
use
then,
it for the levels.
I see. I actually just bought out like last night or
Oh, you did the
was it
entire
last night?
thing?
I bought out like 13 levels. Just
Oh,
because,
you were that behind on it?
yeah, I've not been playing much.
Yeah, me
so-
too. I get it. I understand the pain. It's the reason why I've actually been playing ER during the evenings, just like a couple games in norms, just to fill out the dailies. So I
I see, I
understand the
see.
pain. Yeah, I get it completely. It's just a bit of a safety net for me to use these drop tokens on the event MP. If I can get it, then the levels bought for the Guilty Gear Pass is definitely worth for me because I want that Elfelt Aya skin by the end of it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I did try it out the other night. It's a pretty good skin. You know, I've been playing the Jacko skin as well. I do think that one's really good. And yeah, I mean, I think Demoleron did a great job with the collab, and I'm excited to see future collabs that Demoleron does end up doing.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you a question here. Did you? I know you have the Dylan skin because I saw you on stream with it. How many boxes?
It was just up to like the 60, I think. Just the one where you got like 100, and I was able
Did
to
you
buy
get
like the whole
anything
shop.
else from the collection, or did you only just buy the Dylan
Yeah,
skin?
I bought out the whole shop. With,
Bought out the whole
with
shop.
50.
Okay. You got lucky. I had to use 70 for the entire collection. I hit one box that had 100 coins in it, but other than that, it was like 20s and 30s at most. So I got maybe a little bit unlucky. 70 boxes in total for me to open everything and get everything in there.
I mean, $20 more. It's still unfortunate, but you know, I did kind of high roll, but I didn't high roll as much as like other people because I heard some people got in like 30 or like in like 40.
I know.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you just have to hit that 100 coin box a couple of times. It got pretty close. I know a lot of people were saying somewhere around an average of 50 boxes in order to get the dial-in skin, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
also with the hit.
Yeah, with the 100.
Yeah, I got the 100 box, that 100 box in the first 50, and then you get the 100 coins for turning into 50 tickets, after opening 50 boxes. And I just barely made it in there. So that average of 50, I think I got right around that average and then missed out on the next 10 boxes in order to finish out the collections. But you know what? I did finish the collections. The emote for collecting everything is also very cute, and it's also sparkly. Can't complain about it.
Yeah, I actually haven't used it, but I probably will equip it like later tonight or something if I do end up streaming again.
It looks pretty good, so I definitely think you can. All right, so, well, all of that is out of the way. I'm actually just waiting for the KR site to finish the interview they have with Gwangju Slasher, because I'm actually excited to see a little bit more into the circuit points for the actual teams. How are you feeling, Super? Are you feeling tired yet, or because of the early night, you up to wait out a little bit more?
You know, it's, yeah. I mean, we finished in 6 games, so I'm still a little energetic here at the very end. 6-game banger by Youngju Slasher. Just, dominating performance from them, and big congrats. We'll definitely see them, I think, in phase in the finals for day 2 most likely, just because winning out in a phase 2, I think they get like 700 points. Well, we're gonna see very shortly here because looks like we are gonna have the circuit point total coming up in I think about a minute from now. So
this guy's looking to the future again. You're cheating, man.
I got the insight.
I've got the insight as well, but I'm trying to make sure that I know how to do production correctly. So it is what it is. Korean side, at least for the 10-second lead that I have on my clean feed, they're clapping over there. So maybe the interview is over soon. Once the circuit points come up, we'll have an idea of how teams are going to be distributed. 1st to 4th place teams for each of the circuit point spots is going to be determined to go straight into day number 2. And then the 5th to 10th place teams are going to be placed into day number 1. Now, you might think, what about the 11th and 12th place teams? They're going to go straight into LCQ finals, so they're not safe yet. You don't have to play through the hellish spot that is LCQ qualifiers, but you still have to do the finals and then win through the double checkpoint format, which we'll talk about when we actually get there next weekend, by the way.
Yeah, and everyone else got to play through the LCQ qualifiers, so it's even worse for them. So we'll have to see which 12 teams had a good showing here for the circuit, and it is going to be always Sean, Auto Arms, Slasher, and Sangnam Rocks going to be our 4 teams making it straight to day 2. We got Youngie N8, CNJ Esports, Busan Vespa, Overpride, Shadow Golden Light, and Rise Gangwon going to be making it to day 1. And unfortunately, or fortunately, Unchained and Mirror Gaming,
fortunately, I guess,
into LCQ. I mean, they don't have to play through the qualifiers at least, right? So there's that going for them.
Honestly, with how Team Unchained played throughout the entire knockout stage number 6 and finals, I think they have a very solid chance of actually making 100%. It to the finals. This is a very aggressive team, and double checkpoint format is one that actually does kind of reward you for playing very, very aggressive, right? Eventually, the lobby is going to go down into 7 teams, and by that point, if you're still in the lobby and you're in checkpoint as an aggressive comp, you have 1 less team to worry about, so way less risk for you playing aggressive to win out the game.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have to see if Team Unchained can make it out of relegation for LCQ. They don't have to play into the qualifiers at least, but these other teams that just aren't in the top 12, so any team that's not in the top 12 will be playing in there if they want their last chance to make it to the season finals for phase, or not for phase 2, but for season 9.
Indeed. Well, when we're talking about LCQ, unfortunately the schedule is very tight this season because of the slight compact schedule that we've had because of all the holidays as well as Super Cup in between phases 1 and 2. That means we're going to have our LCQ actually happening next weekend. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a brutal weekend for you and I. Next weekend on Sunday, it's going to be right here on the Eternal Return channel once again at 3 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys are here for that because we're going to be able to see both team, what was it? It was not Windrunner, it was team Unchained.
Unchained.
And what was the other one?
And I think Mirror Gaming. That was
Mirror Gaming. Thank you. I believe you're correct. Mirror Gaming, we'll see them in the finals next week. There's going to be qualifiers, but we don't stream it here. I believe the Korean side might be streaming it every now and then. I don't know if they're going to be doing it on their official channels. There might be a couple of streamers that handle each of the groups.
Exactly. Yeah, usually there's one official one for one of the groups, and then everyone else, like all the other groups, are streamed by just streamers, which unfortunately I don't think we'll be able to find on Twitch anymore. Because most of the KR streamers moved over to
GGG or Soup. Mm-hmm.
But you should be able to see one of the groups if you guys want to keep up with that. Should be on the YouTube side for the Korean Eternal Return channel.
Yep. So mark your calendars. It's going to be a fun time, at least for the finals. If you do watch qualifiers, it's going to be a pretty hectic one over there. I think there's going to be like 4 groups. And, oh, wait, no, it's going to be 3 groups because there's only 6 spots left. And then from there, only 2 teams will move on into LCQ finals that we're going to be watching right here on the stream. So it's a pretty rough road ahead for the teams remaining outside of days 1 and 2 of Eternal Return Masters. Well, all right, that's all the logistics out of the way. And now, Super, you know what time it is, at least when it comes to me. And for me as well, it's been a bit of a long time coming, but I do have an announcement for all of you guys in the chat. I know it's been a little bit of a short date today, so I guess for me, it feels not that bad to at least spring this on you guys. I have a little bit of time to play around with. I'm not that tired right now either, so a little bit of an announcement, and this is not going to be pretty good for a lot of you folks if you guys have been around the Eternal Return scene for a while, competitive or even just like the casual side, maybe even on the scrim side as well. But unfortunately, this season will be the last season that I will be an official caster for Nimble Neuron. I'm going to be retiring from casting after the season finals for season 9 is over. It is going to be a little bit of a tough time. I'm sorry, Super, but this is something that this is something that I've actually been talking to Super for a long time about. I've actually been talking to the good people at Nimble Neuron about as well. I'm leaving on my own terms. I've been on the Eternal Return competitive scene when it comes to casting for about 5 years now. It's been quite a long time since I started doing this, and I think it's time for me to lay up the coat. It's time for me to retire from the basement. It's time for me to move out, maybe look for a little bit of a greener pasture, actually touch grass for the first time in a long time. So, just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of an announcement, at least for now. Remember that I'm not gone just yet. I still have LCQ as well as the season finals that I'll be here for. Just a little bit of a heads up for you guys as well. Super will not be here for season finals, so I'll be here with somebody else during that time. So when it comes to me and Super being together, it'll be LCQ the last time that you guys will see me and Super together, and then we'll figure out what happens for the season finals. But just as a little bit of a heads up, I will be done after the season. Now, that's not to say that I might not be on call, right? When you're on,
you might see a special guest every now and then, you know?
Exactly. They're like, Shuvi, we need you to come back right here and cast. And I'm just like, well, I got the weekend free. I have nothing else to do. I'll do it. You guys might see me back on cast here, but I won't be showing up as often, unfortunately, for the Eternal Return Masters scene. So I'm going to do a little bit more of a thing probably in the next couple of weeks, whether it's going to be personally or maybe at the end of season finals. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do there. But for now, I don't want to call it for too long because I do want to get some sleep after this anyways. Just do know that this will be my final season, and we still have a little bit of fun time remaining ahead of us, so do be excited for that at the very least. And then after that, it's all going to be on Super to take the reins most likely, and when it comes to Eternal Return Masters. So
I'm very sad to see you go, Shitty, but I mean, you've been at it for how long? Like
5 years
10
now.
seasons?
Yeah, no,
that's
even more
crazy.
so than that, because I've been here for the entirety of pre-release
15
plus
seasons.
after 16, 17, 18. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, a well-deserved break for sure. You know, you've been at it for just so long here.
Yeah.
So
It was a lot of fun times, and I'm going to definitely miss being on cast, but that's why I'm going to spend the LCQ as well as the finals, spending the time of my life casting for you guys. I had so much fun, so I want to say, first of all, for you guys in the chat as well, thank you so much for the support all this time, and I really do hope that you guys are here for LCQ and the season finals to continue supporting both me, Super, whoever's casting for the finals, and Nimble Neuron all the way along. Eternal Return Masters is such a fun scene, so I hope it's going to stay alive even after I disappear. But yes, I see a couple of questions in chat. I will most likely be still playing Eternal Return. I just kind of have to worry about my personal life from now on.
ERCS Shubi coming.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a bit of a sight to see, right? Maybe I'll make it further than LCQ this time around. I don't know.
ERCS, you know, I'm down. I'm down.
But yeah, I don't know what my plan is going to be when it comes to Eternal Return in the future, but I will definitely still be around in the community. I will also be laying down my position as the scrim director for people who care in that front. I'm going to be putting it in good hands most likely in the next couple of weeks. So just kind of stepping back a little bit from the Eternal Return community, just giving myself a little bit of breathing space while I figure out what to do with everything else about myself. So yeah. All right, well, I didn't want to really end it on that note, but that's the way that I was going to do it to begin with. I've been talking about doing this announcement with a couple people from Nimble Neuron for the past, month or so, because they knew about it way ahead of time. So, yeah, again, it is something that I decided on my own. Don't be mean to Nimble Neuron about it. Chippy and Chizu are two really, really good people, and even the Korean side of things, I'm probably be talking to them every now and then anyways. Those guys are really, really good people, so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I don't know. I'm sad, Shubi. I'm sad.
Still, well, we have one more cast between you and I, and then maybe you'll cancel your plans for finals just because you want to be with me. No, just kidding. You've already
Unfortunately,
planned
my
that.
ticket
Yep.
is already booked, so I can't.
That trip is already planned. But guys,
I've already down $700 there, so.
Indeed. Cancellation fees goes crazy. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, off of that note, that is going to be the end of phase number 2. Once again, thank you so much for making us a part of your lives for the past couple of weekends. We're still going to have way more Eternal Return action coming to you in the next couple of weeks, especially tonight as well, as we have ERCC Finals that is going to be coming up. So make sure... Is it not tonight?
Is next week is
it next week?
semifinals, and then the week after is finals.
Ah, there we go. Yes, okay. So I forgot one word. It's going to be semifinals today. So make sure you guys are
No.
going to...
Semifinals is also next week.
Okay, dude. My schedule
Semifinals
is
next
complete.
week. Semifinals next week, and then finals is going to be the week after next week.
What the? Okay, well then you're just gonna not have that great of a time next couple of weekends either. Well,
yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. So
I guess if that's the case, then this is gonna be the end of Eternal Return competitive for this weekend. But you guys already know what the schedule. Next weekend, LCQ finals, and then what is it, ERCC semifinals. Either way, we got a lot of competitive coming up in the next couple of weekends, so be excited about that. We'll be back right here on the Eternal Game channel next weekend for LCQ finals. But until then, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Once again, thank you so much for making us a part of your Sunday as well. We'll see you guys for LCQ. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week too. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.